Yes, Graeme, please God, continue, but by God we will come back to this.
Of course we will.
Jason Voorhees is a staple of this fucking podcast from now and forever.
As he should be.
Oh, do you know what, he's actually in the studios with us now.
Right now?
Do you know what, you can't hear him because he just like sits and he's waving over there in the corner. I was going to say, is that, do you know, we went that entire discussion and I'm like, is Jason the
That's him, bro.
Like, fucking bro, iconic corners thing.
You know.
Was brutally blown up by a firing squad.
You know he was.
Was going to Manhattan sewer. Like, did go to hell and was brought back by Freddy.
And been to space. He's been everywhere.
He's been all over. He's international. He's a fucking. He's not even international. He's a fucking. What do you even
interplanetary?
Call that? Interplanetary icon, Jason Voorhees.
Hell yeah.
Ghostface could never. Ghostface is just a bunch of white guys.
You know.
Spoilers.
Probably.
For at least one of the Scream
Might
movies.
be a woman in the next one, I don't know.
It could be.
Could be.
That'd be bold.
Probably still a white woman though.
I thought Jenna Ortega was a Scream at one point, but she's the one who's getting scrumped.
Yes, getting screamed.
You're gonna get screamed.
Oh.
That's the quote from Scream. It's screaming time.
Ooh.
Right, oh god, aye. What's next? Graeme?
Next up, Ewan,
Give me
is
something, for God's sake, please give me something grounded in reality.
another Netflix find. A big one of this year, which landed its lead actor a big role, Rebel Ridge.
Rebel Ridge?
Yes, starring Adam Pierre.
I didn't know you watched this.
I did, well, because I seen a clip from it, and then I saw, it might have been either a reviewer or like someone from the movie like speaking on it, and I was like, man, that looks like a good time. Okay. And it was coming out soon, or it was already out, and I was like, I'll just like stick that on one night, and it was really good, really like classic kind of thriller. Like we've got the plot, we set it up like in the first 10 minutes, and then like that's us, we just roll with that.
Okay.
And it's really good. However, Adam Pierre was really, really good in it. I could see why he's going to be Jon Stewart.
Oh, he's got that sort of character about him?
You could definitely see that kind of in this. He's a military man in this.
Right.
And Jon Stewart, if I'm not correct, is like a military guy.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, so I can see the through line there. Really good. Really recommend watching that.
You see, it's a thriller, so it's not like scary, but it's like
No, it's
tense.
like intense. Kind of like.
I don't know if I've ever seen Adam Pierre in anything, but he just seems like a really good, strong, respectable actor.
Yeah,
so
well,
I'm kind of keen to.
He's sort of like, that's the first thing I've seen him in.
Okay.
He does seem to have just like appeared. Like, I don't know what else he's been in.
Name and I knew his face, but he's sort of now just hit the big sphere.
Yeah, like he's been doing like his work slowly. He's built up, and now he's here, kind of thing.
I feel like Rebel Ridge was his big thing.
I think so.
Because
This
it was
is
right
probably his
after
breakout.
this is when we get Lanterns.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, 100%.
And then I'm wondering, like, it was really close to this that you get Lanterns, so I'm wondering if he would have got Lanterns anyway.
Maybe. Well, they had this, obviously, Mufasa. If whatever you think about that, he's in that.
Oh god, he's in Mufasa the Lion King, isn't he?
Yeah, but they seemed to move that pretty fast when he was getting buzz from this. It was like, man, makes perfect sense. Jon Stewart, get him in.
Do you know what? I mean, especially just say, the character works there. Like,
yeah.
Maybe James Gunn seeing Rebel Ridge, he's like, oh god, Aaron Pierre was quite good in that, and he is literally playing like a Jon Stewart type Pierre. Like,
basically,
this is pushing him over the edge anyway.
Fine with that.
Fascinating.
Absolutely
That was good.
Next one, I'm going to skip one. And I'm
going to skip one?
Yeah, I'm going to come back to it after you do your one. And I'm going to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, right, because
the original.
The one that you're skipping, I presume you have more than nothing to say about it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so the original Texas Chainsaw.
The original Texas Chainsaw, yes.
Okay.
What do I say about this? It does feel like gore for gore's sake at times.
Okay.
But it's like, it feels really amateur, which I quite like. What are you laughing at here?
No, I'll get to it. You just keep talking.
Okay. It feels really amateur at times.
Okay.
I really do like the kind of crazy family setup and how we like uncover like the little bits about them.
Right, okay. I didn't realise it was like a family.
Because I thought it would be almost like a haunted house kind of thing, where we just arrive at the house, like fucking Leatherface is there, and like we're just trapped there for the full movie.
Yeah,
but it's a bit more spread out than that. There's like murders happening in the south, and the house is like kind of near it, and these travellers are just kind of going through, and they end up just like kind of caught up in it.
Okay.
One night, and like Leatherface is chasing them through like the woods and shit. They get back to like Leatherface's gaff. There's like dead chickens everywhere.
Oh, great. Love it.
There's like a weird room full of bones and feathers. They get knocked up and like locked in the fucking.
They get knocked up.
Knocked out. Sorry, and locked up in the like the fucking ice fridge, whatever.
Okay.
They get like put on the meat hooks and shit.
Okay, fucking.
And there's like a fucking really like their dad's up there, but he's like 95 and like can't move.
Leatherface's dad.
Yeah, and like they bring them down and like they like try to fucking cut up someone in front of them, like cannibal, as obviously.
People, aren't they? They're cannibals.
Yeah, it's just fucking insane. It's a crazy film.
It sounds.
I don't know if you could watch it.
It sounds
because there is like viscera in it, but like not like. It's pretty bad. Yeah, there's like loads of gore.
Well, I never was planning on watching it because I knew it was like Massacre's in the name. Like I imagine it's just like a violent movie.
True. It's played like this is literally a real thing that happened.
I've heard that. Yeah, no, I've heard they really try and lean into that.
Like at the start, it's like this is real events, whatever.
It sounds like pretty insane.
Yeah.
But does Leatherface get blown up by an FBI sting operation?
Fucking hell. It does not, I'm afraid. It does get...
Well, alright, we know who the real horror icon is.
The ending's like quite cool. I don't really know, like, it's maybe just like a cool visual like thing, and that the heroine like escapes on like a truck in the back, and like her face is covered in blood, and she's like laughing maniacally because she's like escaped Leatherface. Yeah. And Leatherface is in the middle of the road swinging the chainsaw like a fucking psycho.
He does all this weird dance. You can get that in Fortnite.
There you go. That's the fucking dance. Fortnite.
The dance that...
I suppose that's how iconic it is.
Go on Fortnite and buy the emote to do the famous swinging a chainsaw dance after eating people.
Yes.
So Leatherface survives on that. Like,
yeah,
just gets away, but like,
yeah.
He will.
Leatherface survives. I'm sure. His brother survives, who's like more, who's like more civilized, like can actually like speak to people, and like tries to like lure them into the house to cannibalize them. So I think the whole family survive, except I think they all live.
Even the 95-year-old dad. Like,
he's just like in the gaff sitting in the chair.
God damn.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was anything that like Texas Chainsaw was about.
Well, you thought Jason was just a guy who killed people in a forest.
Well, yeah, but at the same time though, that is a thing that happens at least in some of the movies.
True.
Especially the first few.
Definitely.
Whereas like with Texas Chainsaw, I had absolutely no idea in that.
Right. You just know Leatherface as a concept.
Leatherface is just a guy with a fucking chainsaw. Like I presume he just kills people with a chainsaw.
Basically.
But like I was so. First off, like the idea that there was an entire family, like I've not seen a fucking thing on here of there being more than one fucking even remote villain. I thought family. It was just Leatherface.
The second movie's like kind of Hills Have Eyes.
Well, I used to confuse the two.
Right.
I used to think that they were the same thing.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is funny.
Well, I mean, there is a family. I've not seen the second movie, but there is like a family, and Leatherface is in it. But I don't know if it's like the same family. Yeah. Might just be like Leatherface is there, but it's not the same Leatherface or something.
It's the adopted family.
Yeah, the second film like is wildly different, to my knowledge, than this one.
Have you seen? So you've not seen that yet, though?
I've not seen that one, no.
Is that something you might approach it later? Or
probably.
How were you with the first one?
I was enthused enough to. I'd like to watch it again. I'd like to do like the commentaries and stuff and like see what they're saying. Like Toby Hooper's like speaking on, because Toby Hooper's like has made some good movies like Poltergeist and stuff. Like,
it's not the same guy in Poltergeist?
Yeah, it's not just like Texas Chainsaw.
Bro
cooked a bit.
I also thought that too. Like Texas Chainsaw seems like the one where like one guy probably just that was his movie.
Yeah.
But if you tell me it's the guy in Poltergeist, that's fucking weird to me. But like, all right, talent.
Aye, what we got here? Let's see. Poltergeist. Yeah, that's probably the only other like most well-known one. He done two. So I guess it's at least the same director. And he done Salem's Lot, but that was the 79 Salem's Lot, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
but
Salem's
like Poltergeist is like iconic horror movie.
Yeah,
Poltergeist.
100%.
So
when's that get like a weird remake?
Up, man.
Sorry?
That's already the head one.
Really?
Yeah. But Poltergeist fucked me up as a kid, man. I like it's got like a scene in it with a toy clown on a chair. Terrorised me as a child.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Fucked me up, man.
I've Poltergeist was one of those weird ones where I used to think it actually was one of the tamer ones, but then
I think it actually is.
Well, I think it just uses very specific imagery very effectively. Like
man, it's got the whole
sticks shit with you.
It's got the whole scene where they're building the pool and it's raining, and then like people start rising up out of the pool.
Oh.
But it's like it's just like the frame of the pool, so it's like just a mud slide basically, and then like people are coming out of the mud. Yeah, it looks so good. But yeah.
God damn.
That would fuck someone up.
That would, Christ.
They're here.
That's getting me fucking,
they're here. Classic line, yeah. The kid, the daughter's like there here because she can like fucking communicate with the
Yeah.
poltergeists.
I actually, I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I get confused with they're coming for you, Barbara. Like,
They're coming for you.
be careful up the there. What is that fucking? There's one where it's like something about the stairway can be treacherous. I don't know. Fucking shout out
I'm lost.
to Katja, the drag queen. She would know this. There's a quote from one of their old comedy videos. Be careful on the handrail. The stairways can be treacherous. But then she immediately goes, "They're coming for you, Barbara."
They're references things.
Oh God. Well, speaking of iconic horrors,
Yes.
Agatha All Along.
Agatha All Along is now.
Yeah,
We'll speak
but
on that here.
we're here actually.
Okay.
Agatha All Along wrapped up before the next
Movie.
one of the next movies that we have to talk about.
Did
Although
it?
you've got one for it. Yep.
Damn, I was late to that.
You
That's
were, you
crazy.
were like, no, you were. I mean, much like every fucking TV show.
That's
I
honestly
grab
true,
you
yeah.
by the fucking throat, I throttle you, and I go, "You got to watch this."
That's true.
There's a show that's going to come up very soon, Graeme.
But I'm in the process. I've at least watched bits
You're in the process.
Yes.
So I'm a bit late to the. No, I can't hold it against you. We all watch things at different times. But you at least did watch Agatha All Along this year. So
Yes, we can kind of comment upon this.
Yes. So yeah, peak MCU. We're so fucking back.
Not quite there, but
I think it's very good.
I think it's good.
I think you gotta watch your fucking mouth.
In this
because
house,
Rebecca will fucking drag you to hell.
that's fine. I understand.
Like, you're gonna be down there, and I warn you, Freddie will not be pulling you back.
And like, I want to love this. The magic shit's like my jam. I'm into it. I just like,
I keep looking to Rebecca for like confirmation.
I just don't know. It was just like okay. Like, I didn't hit me as like much as I wanted it to. Well, I was immediately in the back foot because I'm like, why is Agatha getting a show?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but this
why does she deserve a show of all the people?
in fairness, like you gotta. In fairness, you're Mr. Oh, we should be like how comic books are just like random fucking disconnected stories that all
Facts, man.
factor back in and out of each other.
And this at least justified its existence for me because it was at least good.
Well, yes, it was good. I think Agatha All Along was very good, and I think it was much more of it was very much like a why are we doing this, and then when you watch it, you're like, oh, I get why we're doing it now.
But we have to have Wiccan, man. We have to pop him in.
Yeah, this was very much concerned with like we gotta push forward the magic shit in the MCU.
Yes.
We gotta touch on the Wanda thing.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta like address getting her sons in because we're obviously the moment their sons were introduced in WandaVision, it was always gonna be like, alright, they're gonna have to come back now.
Yeah, like
we're
what we
doing
doing
a
with them?
fucking Young Avengers situation. We're doing a champion situation. We gotta get the kids in.
Come on.
And
Speed that
like
along.
I guess, yeah, with Agatha being so runaway popular, they're a bit like, well, why don't we just use her as the segue?
I suppose
And I didn't know
it
what
can work. It did work.
Literally, I'm not sure how it was going to end up, and then it just ended up being really good. I think what the power of Agatha All Along was someone had a very good idea,
Right.
and they just stuck to it
Okay.
because it's like a kind of. I think it's quite a tight story in terms of like characterization, themes, like plot progression.
Right.
And
I was sort of like have an episode or two outside the Witch's Road, and then we're like on the road.
yeah, pretty much they do the necessary preamble.
Uh-huh.
You essentially have establish Agatha's situation and get her out of the, like
In the first
rescue her
episode.
from her like post WandaVision thing.
Yeah.
An episode to just get the team together and introduce the cast,
Uh-huh.
and then you're on the Witch's Road and it's like a trailer episode.
That's it. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, perfect. And I think a lot of people said it's one of the finally one of the first like shows. I'd say it shows Disney Plus like Star Wars on MCU or branded shows that feels kind of TV enough because it has things that are structured around the format of a TV episode and not just being consistent end on things that get cut off randomly.
Yes. I feel like Moon Knight felt like that at times, like towards the end, I'd probably say, or like in the middle somewhere.
I would agree.
Moon
with
Knight
that,
felt like that, but Agatha maybe is the closest because it is sort of like we're doing a trial and episode, that's it, and then that's done. And every trial had like its own visual like look.
Like, playing footsie
they're
me there, sorry.
That's okay. Like they're in the house and they have like modern clothes, and then they're outside the house and we're doing like the fucking 80s hippie. We're recording the song
Yeah.
trial, stuff like that. Everything looked a bit different and it was quite nice.
It was great diversity, great visual, sort of like beautiful practical sets.
Yeah.
Miniatures, modelling. They were like, we're going to make this shit happen.
We're going
gonna do
to make it.
prosthesis. It was shockingly like well put together. Like it kept surprising you with like, oh, by the way, this was all like practical. You're like, oh, well, that's cool.
The demon was practical.
Yeah, it was practical. Then a guy looked up in there.
Based, man.
They just kept doing things that made me go, oh. And then you have just like some really cool and interesting characters and performances. I think the incomparable Patti LuPone, Broadway icon, you know.
That's the old one, right?
Yes, that's Lilia, the divination one.
She was based.
Yes, well, like she had every potentiality to be as good as she was because the actress Patti, like, do you know Patti LuPone?
Not really, Ewan.
No.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Patti LuPone is what I just said. She's an incomparable Broadway legend. She's got this exceptionally fucking like powerful voice. She sings like a fucking demon. Like,
Oh my.
she's got such a great personality.
She seemed infectious in the show.
She was literally probably one of the most breakout originals to the show, at least. I mean, obviously you're kind of there for Agatha. You love Agatha.
Yeah.
But like they introduced like fucking Patti LuPone playing a crazy fucking divination person. But then everything bends back around.
Right.
They keep planting the seeds of like her being a bit crazy, but then in her final episode,
She's sort of like utter things, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
you're like, okay, she's crazy. She's sort of getting visions because she's a future seer, and then they actually like, no, everything she did was for a purpose.
They fucking like spin it about a wee bit. She was like a woman caught in time, kind of thing.
I think that was massive. I think that's one of the strongest, just in terms of just well written and fucking.
It was a solid episode.
Crafted,
Yeah.
like
That may have been the best episode of the show.
I think it's probably the best episode of the show, definitely. I think, I'm not trying to say it's some supreme, but I think out of all the MCU TV shows, it's one of the most powerful examples of just, like, how good it can be. Like,
Right.
I'm sure there's other just all out and out better quote-unquote episodes. I just think if you had to put, like, sit me down and look at all the MCU TV stuff.
Right, yeah.
What's some of the best moments? I'm like,
What's
alright,
like genuinely like Ozymandias level TV?
well, yeah, but it was, I don't know if I could fully
It's
compare
not
it.
that level, but like, yeah. Like,
What is the MCU TV so bad so
Yeah.
far? But well,
Aye.
that episode of Agatha with Lilia is completely like it's
It's
this
up there.
beautiful cyclical narrative. Like has an entire character arc woven deeply into it.
yeah.
Ties up everything for the show, and then everything is like from the start you've got all the little narrative nods and the little like okay, this is based on like fucking like slasher movies. This is based on like fucking Big Little Liars for some reason, stuff like that. And then you're a bit like, oh, okay, it's kind of like WandaVision when they're doing the references, and then the finale is like, oh, did you notice it was like WandaVision because of the references?
Oh my.
So I think it was brought together expertly as well. But when I say expertly, I think that's in comparison to other worse things.
Right.
It's not like it did anything outstandingly like
In its field.
never been done before. But it set things up and then knocked them down like just so cleanly and
Yeah.
so directly that I have to give it credit. Especially
That's kind of what I'm landing. Like it's done all the necessary things to be good.
yeah.
I'm just thinking it's good. You're thinking you just enjoyed those things and the actions the way they happen better than me.
Pretty much. We've had this happen a couple of times where we just gel with it a bit more.
Yeah.
But this one, at least, it's just very hard to pretend it's anything other than like just very well crafted.
Yeah.
Again, especially for an MCU property at this time. There's a Disney Plus show at this time. The last Disney Plus show was fucking Secret Invasion.
Ooh.
So it's like if you think about
Well,
it,
that had a vision. It was just like middled by like 10 other people. I guess this at least has one singular thing happening.
I couldn't tell you it had a vision. Secret Invasion.
Well, I'm just guessing. I know.
You would hope someone was doing
Maybe.
something. I mean, remember that guy fucking hated doing it and was a dickhead. So
Suppose
maybe it had a vision. It was a bad vision.
we'll need to wait till Armor Wars to truly know.
Jesus, because Armor Wars is definitely coming out.
Or like Ironheart,
Well, at least that might actually come out.
and that's
It's just
made.
3
That's
years
done.
too late. Aye. Do you want to hear something funny that's going to be a lead-in for something to talk about later?
Oh,
Ironheart definitely should have been out by now.
I agree.
Like, see when you watch What If Season 3, there's 2 separate episodes that make you go, I should have seen Ironheart by now.
Right. Like more than in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Aye,
Like
yeah.
there's one episode that's entirely based on like, man, you know this about Rainy, you know that about Rainy. I'm like, fuck
No, I
off,
don't.
no, I don't.
Aye, like I've not read the comic. Like, what do you
Like,
mean?
I feel if I'd seen the show and then that episode happened, I'm like, right, well, I remember seeing the show and that's what
Right,
they're
yeah.
referring to.
Okay.
But
Man.
there's another episode that also has the villain of Ironheart in it.
The
It's a
Hood?
bit like, yeah, I guess that's not really a spoiler because you fucking have a brain. The Hoods and the Cowboy episode of What If.
Okay.
And again, it's a bit like, if I'd have watched Ironheart, I'd be like, oh, that's
He's
the
got
Hood
guns,
from Ironheart.
didn't he? So like, yeah, makes sense.
Well, pretty much, aye. Although, funnily enough, this Hood doesn't use guns, and I'm not going to say any more than that for a fear of spoilers.
Bro.
But it's, again, for like, I mean, maybe for folk who know who the Hood is and know Marvel, but even then, on an
Right.
MCU continuity, you're like,
Who's that guy?
The Hood?
Like, he's here?
What's he doing here? Like, that's a weird pull.
Weird for us to introduce him in this
For
property.
people who don't really know comics at all, there's like, oh, by the way, the Hood's in this one. You're like,
Who?
The Who, be like.
The Who? The band?
Literally.
Who are you?
Anyway, so that was a tangent.
Aye, I will say I didn't see the twist really.
As you didn't see it coming, or you didn't rate it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Like I didn't see that. Oh man, Billy constructed it all.
Yeah. I mean, I get full spoilers that like essentially this fucking boy breaks Agatha out his spell.
Mm-hmm.
We get revealed about mostly the middle way through that boy is actually the reincarnated soul of Billy, like Wanda's son Billy, inside the body of like another boy who maybe died.
I feel like that's fairly obvious.
Yeah, it seems like he died in a car crash, but
no, I mean like that was wicked. Like you probably could have guessed that.
I mean, see for the moment the show get revealed and they're like, this character, we'll just call him T. We're not going to tell you his name.
Aye.
I'm like, cool, it's a magic show. That's wicked. Like, all right. Plus, you've cast Joe Locke, who's like a very famous actor now. So, that's wicked.
He's big with the gays.
But at least the reveal of Wicked still felt like a cool setup, like, especially when they elaborated the backstory type of thing.
Right.
Because with Wicked, it's about like we know he's going to come back, but it was really just interesting how they handled it and like the identity crisis side of stuff. And it kind of rests on a lot of the comics quite well, where they go into more of that. But yeah, the second reveal, which was that the Witch's Road was never real. It was actually a construct of Agatha trying to like trick people into draining their powers. But Billy's reality warping powers passed in by his mother made it real.
Yeah.
And it's Agatha seemingly knew from the start because one, obviously she didn't make it, but two, she's like, okay, we're doing movie references. Where have I seen that before? Fucking Wanda, cunt Maximoff.
Oh my.
Bitch Wanda. That did jump me. People were theorising this. I was looking at all these series. Some people like, maybe the Witch's Road isn't even real, and like Billy's made it. I'm like,
genius.
What?
Genius deep cut.
what, really? What?
Those people, big brain.
And the whole season, I was literally like, when did Agatha actually do the Witch's Road? Like, I was like, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. And then obviously by the end, I'm like, oh, she didn't because that was never real.
Yeah.
That's one of those things I'm saying about how everything just came back really expertly. I feel
huge, man.
I was really happy with it.
Pretty good show.
Okay, you don't need to love it, but it's just we need more shows like it in terms of just being well fucking constructed and directed.
Way more Agathas than like any more Echoes for me.
Yeah,
but that's only because I didn't like it. But you get my point.
But like if Echo had been given the time and the much more sharper like vision, because like Agatha had a very specific aesthetic and audiovisual goal,
right?
And it was a unique one. Like Echo obviously flirts with like exploring Choctaw culture and like lived experience in like ASL situations, but there's also nothing that really differentiates it otherwise.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that's the only thing that's really different than all the other ones.
I mean, if you took out those aspects, it's kind of just like a Daredevil type show.
Yeah.
Whereas like Agatha stands the fuck out. It's full magic.
It's the magic show.
Wizard of Oz. It's got strong striking colours and wild fucking visuals and shit. So like that's why we buy clear vision. Like you had a vision of that was a distinct vision, a formed vision,
different to like anything else in the space.
You had the time to explore it. Like Agatha was like what 9 episodes, so it's at least 2 or 3 more episodes than Echo. And I think I said if you even gave Echo like 1 more hour of footage across all of its episodes, it might have done better.
Maybe it was cut, bro.
Maybe it was cut. I mean, they just had to get that shit out, bro.
They did get it out.
But I mean, at least, again, if they just keep doing more like it, I mean, you're getting Deadpool moving in and Agatha. Yeah. You're like, do you know what? Like, the MCU can still just make good fucking things.
Like, do you know what wasn't a fucking awful year like it has been before? W.
Genuinely, I mean, even Echo, which you didn't like, I mean, it's not as bad as Secret Invasion.
Exactly. Well, it was a bad time, you know.
We were having a really bad time.
It was a bad time to be alive.
Literally. You're talking like fucking Thor 4, Secret Invasion. Even stuff that I liked.
I'm glad we came out. Honestly, I'm glad we made it.
We came out the other side. Daredevil's like a 2 month.
I'm ready.
Fantastic Four.
Hopefully it's good.
Captain America 4.
Stings.
No. Can't all be perfect, can we?
Yeah.
Right, you said you wanted to say something for now.
The substance.
The fucking substance.
The substance. The substance.
The substance. The substance.
Yep.
Okay. This is a movie that I've been banned from watching.
You can't watch this movie.
I can't. Well, I'm not allowed to watch this movie.
What reason though? Like,
probably because I leer too gaudily at Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore, who are very pretty in this movie.
That's definitely the point.
Well, Demi Moore's very pretty for at least a portion of this movie.
True.
I've seen stuff. No, yes. So apparently this movie has got very bad body horror, very extreme body horror.
Does I think I think it's like a satire,
But it seems
but I'm
to have
not really sure.
Every little clip I've seen of it seems to be a very oversaturated film.
Well,
And I don't mean that in terms of cause, I mean that in terms of content.
it's played quite straight for like 90% of it, and then the end seems to like jump the shark and go crazy, which is where I think it was always a satire.
Well, because you get that ending and you're like, okay, we're always going to this. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think it seems to be a bit much, it seems to be it seems to talk about excess a lot. It seems to be a very excessive
beauty,
like unrealistic standards and stuff like that.
Standards for oneself. If you could, would you take the substance? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
You should know I've already been taking the substance.
What?
I'm taking the substance that makes you young on the beach that makes you old.
The beach that makes you old.
And I've become functionally immortal.
That's what we like to hear.
Okay, you watched the movie. You and Natasha watched the movie. What did you think of the substance?
Man, that's the problem, Ewan. I don't really know what to think.
The
The movie ended, and I was like, what did I see in front of me just there? Like, I just saw it, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything going in, and that's probably better.
Yeah.
Because if you know things, like, you might... I don't even know. It's just insane. I was not ready for what I saw with my eyes. It was crazy. It was a visual experience, let me tell you.
It seems to have a very great visual language.
It does.
I see little fucking compilations of like cinematography and that.
Mm-hmm. Like, all the dance sequences, they were great. It feels very, like close. Like, I feel like all the shots are close-ups or, like, mid-shots.
Well, yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to, like the whole excess thing.
Mm.
I keep seeing this scene where... is it Dennis Quaid? No,
Dennis Quaid, yeah, eating shrimp.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one where he's eating shrimp, but also the one where he pure confronts Margaret Qualley in the hallway and she's like obviously having a breakdown.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
you need to smile. And
Yeah.
it's like the most uncomfortable close-ups ever. Like, please
Yeah.
pull the camera back.
Do you know why she has to smile like that?
Specifically why she has to smile or why she's uncomfortable?
Why she's uncomfortable smiling like that in that scene?
I don't exactly. I kind of presumed she was like, fucking, you need to go back in the pod or some shit.
Yeah, what happened is Demi Moore tries to kill her.
Just after
tries
that
to,
point?
like, unsubstance.
Right.
Doesn't go all the way. And then Sue, like, awakens and, like, kicks her ass. And then she goes back to the fucking gala or whatever it is. And then she starts, like, deteriorating, like, her fucking teeth fall out.
Right.
And
Okay,
she's
so
like-
I can't smile because she's fucking losing teeth.
Literally, yeah. Her ear fell off.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, it's weird.
That's where
fucked
shit
up.
gets really weird, yeah.
I you know, it's funny because, yeah, I've heard people talk nothing but joy about this movie, but no one's ever actually told me what is the good thing about this movie.
I don't really know. It's just crazy. I couldn't tell you. Like, I guess it's trying to make comments on the beauty industry and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I guess its
again,
commentary is pointed and clear to me, at least. I mean, there's obvious things.
yeah, but it doesn't give me, like,
Especially in
a
relation
better
to, like,
reason. Like, it
how
doesn't
we're
give me an
treated.
answer to what it's trying to comment on.
I
At
think
least
that-
in my experience.
I guess as far as I can see from my limited exposure and sort of reading about the events of it, it's like it's kind of essentially just like it's fucked up how we treat older women and like
Yeah.
beauty industry. It's fucked up how we treat women in the beauty industry.
Fair.
It's beauty standards are fucked up.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up?
Great movie. 5 stars.
Would you like to take a juice that makes you grow a young person out your spine?
Please. Please, no. Oh, man.
5 stars.
3 for me, but, you know,
That's fair.
it was alright.
What did Natasha think?
She really liked it. I don't know what she gave it, but she was big into it.
I'm curious. I didn't really ask her opinion, but because, like I say, very few people have actually specifically told me why they like it. They've just told me they like it.
She might be able to, like, articulate it a bit
Some
more
people
than me.
also, I have a lot of friends who just enjoy the craft of it.
I'm happy just watching a movie and being like, that was cool to see.
Yeah,
That's kind of one of these, I guess.
totally fair. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh, dude, it's got cool Cronenberg body horror shit. Cool.
Like Monstro Sue or whatever was
Monstro Eliza Sue.
That's it.
Eliza Sue or something. I keep seeing people like are very verbose about that. I know you have to put that. That's the name of the character.
Sorry.
Capital M,
It is,
capital E.
Yeah. Really cool physical, practical, like, costume design. That's
I
awesome.
know I've actually seen at least a little bit of that.
Yeah. It's an absolutely horrific thing to look at with your eyes, but it's great.
God, that was so specific, direct.
Sorry.
It's an absolutely horrific thing to look at with your eyes.
It is, bro.
Mate, speaking of an
That's the
absolutely
point.
horrific thing to look at with your eyes.
Smile 1 and 2.
Was that what you were at next?
Yeah, I'm going to skip 1 because it was awful.
You were just at Smile 1. I thought we were at what I was at next.
What are you at next?
See where Agatha is?
Yeah, that's where we are. That's actually where we are, yeah.
Joker, Folie à Deux.
Joker, Folie à Deux. The movie that we thought would be cinema and is not cinema.
Well, you thought it would be cinema.
I did. I had hope, man, that it would be like peak. And people are saying misunderstood masterpiece on the streets.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're not right.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Because what's funny is that both you and me have completely different perspectives on Joker, and we both hated it.
Yeah, aye.
Like, it made no one happy.
Aye.
This film, Christ on a bike. This is...
Have we talked about this? We must have.
I actually think we directly avoided it.
That's fair, I guess.
I can't recall saying anything about this. I can't recall... I don't know what to say about this. I don't like talking about it.
Yeah, I don't think it committed to the musical element. I don't think it committed to...
Christ, that's the issue you're leading with.
It's one of them. It's just one of them.
It's just funny. It's like the first thing you have to say is they didn't really undercook the musical element a bit, and I'm like,
definitely undercooked.
But you're not wrong either. Like, yeah, they did undercook the musical element.
The best bit of the movie is the trial. That's 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
Like, if we had more of that, I'd have been more interested. I'm not sure if like I think like the character assassination of Joker a bit is like, I don't know if I'm getting that or not. I forgot a lot of the movie because it was forgettable.
Yeah,
which is also a point against it.
Well, do you know what makes it forgettable? I read a review going in, and maybe this colored my opinion, but I feel like it summed it up really well. That one of the first immediate issues with this movie is that it is just a sequel about the first movie.
Right.
Like, most of this movie just spent like discussing and reflecting on the events of the first movie.
Which, like, if you're saying that to someone pitching the film, I don't think that's necessarily bad.
Not inherently, no.
Exactly, it's just how you're doing it, but this obviously doesn't work.
Well, I think the problem is, though, it's essentially not really doing anything of relevance with it.
Mm-hmm, right.
Because the only thing it ends up concretely saying is, I mean, character assassination is maybe too severe, but it's literally like, man, the first movie did happen, didn't it? Is Arthur a fucking psycho? Or, unless, Joker?
Audience, you answer.
Did you become Joker?
Did you become the Joker,
or
were you just playing it up for vibes?
Oh, maybe I'm not the Joker. Oh, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I see, we're talking about me staying awake after laughing at fucking Jason. I'm getting tired talking about Joker.
We could just skip it then.
No, like, I have to narrow down, though, like...
Why? I think we all wanted them to be the Joker.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Right, so Joker 1, we come out of it, and, I mean, I have sort of issues with some of the ways that handled its subject matters, but... Essentially, it is like at least a formed fucking thing. It's a fucking one-man day situation. Guy becomes a fucking maniacal killer figurehead guy.
Yes.
Like fucking full Batman, full Mayor's Thomas Wayne. Well, not him personally, but...
Yeah.
Joker 2 is essentially like, okay, so now the Joker's in prison because of that. And Harley Quinn's also a character. She really likes the Joker.
Uh-huh.
And she's always talking about how cool the Joker is.
Yeah, I love the Joker.
And then when he's not the Joker, she's just not happy about it.
I'm not into that. I don't like it when you're not the Joker.
And he's a bit like, oh, am I the Joker?
I could be the Joker for you.
Or am I not the Joker? And some people are like, you just don't be the Joker. And some people are like, oh, just do be the Joker.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm getting
his lawyer seems to be like, yeah, but your Joker's like an other personality. Like,
yeah, bro.
Chill, bro.
You're crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's how they get you off the hook on this one.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think they just sort of... I mean, it's an interesting concept in theory, but it's just... I don't really know what I'm wanting out of it anymore. Like, why are we doing this and why are we talking about it?
Right.
Like, the musical stuff, it's completely half-baked. They just sing songs sometimes.
Yeah, it's not really like got a massive point. I guess it's because that's how they bond together in the first place. Like,
that's maybe. Probably the only thing that works for me, yeah.
Sure.
Like, it's not like a musical where like they fucking sing in the viewings, which is funny because Todd Phillips had that fucking interview when he's like, this isn't like a musical, and this one, the people are like singing the fucking things that they're not saying, you know, they're singing about their feelings.
Yeah.
It's like, Todd, that's literally what a fucking musical is.
That's literally kind of what the point is. That's what they do.
And also, they don't do that in that movie anyway.
Nah, they just sing like covers.
They just sing show tunes.
Yeah.
What is it? I think what it is because and then there's the ending, which I don't even care. I'm saying spoilers out of courtesy. Like, then the Joker gets stabbed to death in prison.
Yeah.
That's just it. Like, he basically at the end goes, actually, I don't want to be the Joker.
Yeah. Peace out, bye.
And then they kill him because
the actual Joker killed me.
Literally. Like Harley Quinn's like, I hate you because you're the Joker.
Yeah.
And then some random guy's like, I hate you because you're the Joker.
Aye.
And then he dies.
It would have been much better if at least Harley killed him.
Definitely.
Like, that would have been
bleeding out on the steps.
Just a better ending.
Definitely.
But we didn't get
that.
And
I will say, I do think it was a bold idea to, if we are going to redo the actual Mad Love, like actually loves the Joker Harley Quinn, to push it further than just like an unhealthy, like just genuinely abusive relationship, and have it be like an equally insane, obsessive Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Who is like fucking like awfully into the Joker. Like
Right.
she's like obsessive with the Joker as a concept. So I think they were trying something interesting with it. Lady Gaga does well enough as well.
I think the performances are alright.
Yeah, I mean, Wacky's like he does good with what he's got. He's just got fucking really nothing, because what it does feel like is the movie just kind of feels like miserable. It feels like Todd Phillips didn't want to make it, even though he fucking insisted he did. It feels like
some sort of spite make.
Well, pretty much. It feels very much like, oh, okay, you guys fucking love Joker, you really want a sequel, but everyone kept telling me how like the Joker's like a fucking Nazi or something, and he's like a fucking like Antifa icon or whatever. So this movie's just gonna have him be like, we're gonna constantly hammer home that like Joker's not cool, that Joker's like a loser.
We don't like him.
He's just gonna die anyway.
Because that's what's gonna happen to all you, stinky Joker fans.
The fucking credits roll. I'm like, right, what was the point?
I liked your first movie, okay? Why you give me this attitude?
I had issues with your first movie, and I still don't like your attitude.
Fact, man.
You deserve the attitude less than me, but I don't even think I really deserve the attitude, quite frankly.
No one did.
You could have just no made a second Joker.
Oh, I feel like it made $1 billion. They were like, greenlight that shit immediately. Get him back. Get Joaquin back.
Well, this is a bit like
Gaga.
the Squid Game situation, where it's a bit like he seems to have claimed that he had an idea, but I'm like, Jinky did, or Jinky just was given that much money, and he's like, fucking fine, whatever. I've got a fucking truckload of money, so I might as well just give him something.
Squid Game, by all accounts that I've seen, like justifies its existence because it's actually good as well. Season 2.
Well, that's fair, but the guy who made Squid Game like hates it.
Yeah, he doesn't want 3's not happening. I hope not.
Well, 3 is happening.
They'll make season 3.
Literally this year.
Season 3.
He somehow insists that like getting Squid Game season 3 this year. It's the third and final season though.
Oh well, fucking hell, guys in the trenches dying.
Like guys literally giving interviews like, oh, by the way, see the how I created?
Yeah.
Just loathe it.
Well, I mean, I would loathe my creation too if I created something commenting on like the disparate distance between rich and poor, and how crippling debt could literally force you to give up your bodily like autonomy, and then they just literally do that in real life in front of you. Like there's the Mr. Beast games happening right now. There's the Squid Game actual games on Netflix
right now. They're just making fucking Funko Pops of like people who like murder people.
Aye, and there's like people literally sign up to be on the game shows that you made about the show.
I think something fundamentally broke in me when Netflix did like the Squid Games.
Aye, like that's actually in the dystopia now.
How fucking dense can you be?
Like, read the room.
Like, what are you fucking talking about? Every single thing in that movie is do not do this. And
literally.
You're like, we could do it though.
We could do it though. Wouldn't it be
Don't
fun?
worry, we're not going to actually kill folk, but we will constantly dangle money over poor people.
We will fake kill them.
Well yeah, we'll also fake. Like, is it not funny? Imagine they were dying for real.
Oh, isn't it funny when the blood pops off and they like fake die?
Like, oh god, cool. Imagine they were actually getting murdered. What do you think about that? Takes notes. But this would be really funny if they were dying for real, wouldn't they? Write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
So yeah, I suppose that guy is also suffering all around him.
That's crazy, man.
You could say Todd Phillips is maybe suffering, like he's getting constant fucking barrages of like responses to Joker 1.
I don't know what bro does next.
Hopefully not another fucking DC movie. Give us like Hangover Part 4.
He can't do that. James Gunn's got him a million miles away from it. I don't know how Andy Muschietti has got another movie because The Flash happened, but it might be because he was already signed up to do it, maybe.
Well, either that or...
Because, listen, they lied to us. The Flash wasn't that good. Like,
that's true, Graeme, I'm sorry to say.
But they had to make some money.
Well, that's what... I mean, Andy Muschietti was obviously the 7th millionth director. So maybe James is like, actually, Andy, I respect you for coming on and just fucking getting it done. It might have been fucking dog shit, but I mean, it was never going to be good because we went through 17 directors, and also Ezra Miller has torn a bloody path through Hawaii. And Andy Muschietti is like, James, I can turn this into a product that you can sell.
Please.
And he's like, thank
me the chance.
Andy.
Thank
maybe
you.
Andy's like, bro, I'll fucking salvage this and get it out your way, but you're going to give me something.
Like, let me come back, please.
Let me come back and actually go on something.
Let me cook.
Did you get asked for Batman, or do you think James was like, well...
I don't actually know. I don't know, man.
I need to know what James saw, and like, unless it was this contractual obligation, what James saw in Andy Muschietti
to give him Batman.
Yeah, to give him Batman,
but not even just Batman. Batman and Son.
Yeah, literally.
Like, this is like serious Batman. He's been about for a long ass time.
What the fuck has Andy Muschietti done?
Movies.
He's definitely been in movies.
That's why it's also interesting. That is why it's also interesting. We just don't know what's going to shake out with it.
We don't know. But you'll never guess what Andy Machette's done otherwise.
Go on.
It Chapter 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. Man, good movies. I guess kid actors, that's why we've done it. Perhaps.
I mean, he seems to be a horror guy. Like my man.
Batman's along horror lines.
Fiero Shifley. You could, but I feel like if we're going to do a horror Batman, it's still going to be the Brave and the Bold, like with fucking Damien.
Aye. Yeah, you're right.
It's going to be like fucking like 30s detective Batman and not a Batman who's been active for 15 years.
Yeah, bro.
What?
What?
Andy Machette's Batman who's fucking a geriatric? No,
Sucking Chinese meal.
That's it. Sucking Chinese meal. Get your hands off my Batman. Aye, well that's as much as I care to say about Joker anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking just an embarrassment. And it tries to be pretentious and it's trying to say it's got a point and you're like, alright, what's the point? You're like, ha ha. And then he does like a fucking jerk off gesture. Like,
Yeah.
this is the point of Joker 2. Like,
Aye.
alright, thanks, Todd.
Look at me.
I'm
so cool and smart.
Don't worry, Todd, you don't need to make another one. We don't want it.
Facts.
Right.
Next up, Ewan. Are
you on Smile now?
I'm on Smile 1 and 2. Now, I rewatched Smile 1 and I like Smile 1. It's like a fine horror movie. It's got a cool wee premise. It's a bit different. Smile demon and stuff.
I heard a lot of things about like when it came out. It was like, as usual, like with horror movies, something pops up out of nowhere, and it's just a really solid premise with some good scares.
Yeah,
7 or 8 out of 10 makes good money at the box office. Smile 1 seemed to be that.
That's what you're banking on. Based on a short film, I was told.
I've received that information too.
There you go. W for the short film person, I guess.
We'll have to see it.
They probably got a big payout. So the Smile demon works in like if you're possessed by the Smile demon. If someone sees you commit suicide, possessed by the Smile demon, you will then become transferred. Like
the Smile demon transfer to you. It pure preys on trauma, does it know? It like targets folk who are like have fucking trauma, though. Does it know something like that as well?
I might be definitely the lead in the first movie is kind of that.
Aye,
but
I feel like
the
it's
second
coming after
movie's
us
just
she did watch somebody kill themselves, but it wasn't like the Smile demon. It was just like she watched that happen, like a mum or something, was it not?
Yeah, aye. The second movie is just like we're obviously following a chain. So the person who sees the Smile demon at the end of the first movie is the first person we see in the second movie. I really like that the opening
of the second movie is just like a resolution of the chain for the end of the first movie, directly.
And I mean, I enjoyed Smile 2. I have like issues with it being like overtly jump scare heavy.
Or was it a little bit more reliant on just like Ooga Boogas?
It was, and it wasn't. When it was like too much, I'd say. But like some of them were really effective. Like there's a scene where the lead is in our hotel room and the Smile demon appears as her like dance troupe.
Oh, I think
and there's like 18 of them or whatever, and they're all moving as singularly as like a spider through the hallway, and it's fucking really disturbing, but it's awesome to look at.
Aye, that's
as well.
To me, I'm not watching that film. Thank you.
I was like squirming in my chair the whole time seeing this movie because it's so unsettling.
Would you say that means it was actually a success there as a horror movie?
Definitely. I got a 2 from me simply out of like anger and spite and hatred. But I actually like enjoyed it, probably.
That's fucking amazing though.
Yeah.
Like, Smile 2 could be like the best horror of the year at that point because it just elicits such a fucking ferocious reaction.
It could be. It's certainly in that conversation with Longlegs and a couple coming up as well. I will say this, I'm interested enough for a third one because the end of the second one's fucking bonkers ludicrous insane.
Yeah. I do like that there was no, like, I feel like if it's not even a spoiler.
Oh, absolutely
because every bit of the marketing was just like, oh, by the way, like the Smile Monster's going to like go on fucking like global.
Yeah, like literally a singer in a concert.
Like, or fucking live shooting bazillions.
Yeah.
And she's just, the Smile Monster's going to do that and it just does it.
Facts. So, fucking how we're doing that.
Smile 3's just like fucking like Smile Zombies, like fucking like 20 days later.
They've maybe written themselves into a corner with it because like what do you genuinely do with that? But man, let them cook. Let me see.
Bro, this is where you get your Jason X. Like it's the far future and everybody's a fucking Smile demon zombie.
Yeah, like I'm here to see that. I'll be a bit.
What did you think of the actual monster in that? After we're talking about like the prosthesis and the substance of that, you know, because
it's wild. They use it. It's literally only in a scene in each movie. So it's not like
was that the first one as well?
Yeah, it's right at the end.
First one actually.
It's not like obviously in the second one it's like on a fucking concert stage, so you can see it a bit better.
Yeah.
The first one's in like a dark house, but they use it really sparingly, and that's obviously quite effective.
I saw a behind the scenes image of it, and even that fucking shook me for a corner a wee bit.
Insane looking, yeah, it's crazy.
I guess it's a bit like, where did this come from? You know, a little short movie that jumped into like two fucking...
Well, that's it,
especially like if you're telling me that the Smile 2 is actually crafted in such a strongly horrifying way.
It is, yeah.
Like,
just like that image, someone smiling, and it's not like a fun smile, it's
it's
unsettling,
like
disturbing.
Troubled, like forced, aggressive, stretched, you know.
And then
wide enough that it looks like it hurts to do.
You hire Jack Nicholson's son, and that's a W, because he can smile, that guy.
I forgot Jack Nicholson's son was in the second one, yeah. He does just look like his dad. Like, we're just remake The Shining with him in it. Like,
yep, and we could, probably.
We probably could. We could do Dr. Sleep there now. Like, fucking...
Oh, great time.
Sure there was another book. Fuck it.
I think there actually is, Ewan. There you go.
I'll ask him my phone, Stephen.
Get one.
I'll get him on the blower.
Blow him up right now.
Blow him up right now. Mr. President, we've got the FBI on tap, and we have to blow up Stephen King.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Stephen.
Graeme, they got him.
Oh, shit.
Some other news, Graeme, they got him.
Fuck, bro.
But it's alright, because he does just reconstitute.
Yeah, he would.
We didn't kill him with a ceremonial dagger.
Fuck. Yeah. Stephen King would have a ceremonial dagger.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, Stephen King does have a tie to Friday the 13th.
He does?
In Takes Manhattan, one of the teachers gifts one of the graduating students a pen, allegedly from Stephen King.
Oh, wow.
That he used to write one of his novels.
Arcane Tome?
There you go.
What novel?
I don't know it.
One of the good ones?
Probably. It's probably like...
The Fog?
Might have been The Fog. I quite like The Fog. I quite like the movie. The show was actually quite good, but I think only got one season.
Oh, really? I didn't know the show was good. I know it's like a weird... Sorry to say, but
it's a weird one to say, yeah.
I didn't know the show was good.
I quite liked it. Well, I had a good time.
I feel like the thing is, because Stephen King's obviously so nice and easygoing with his rights, that like sometimes you do get a bit of choff.
Oh yeah, you've definitely got the chance of getting
especially when you're doing TV shows. But I guess a TV show's like a movie. Like if you're going to do a horror, it's going to be a bit easier to get a grasp on. Plus, Stephen King novels are not so deep that they're particularly uber obnoxious to adapt. Unless, I guess, you're the fucking Shining.
I suppose, well,
no,
Shining...
not deep, but I feel like, you know, it's very easy to transition it all.
Well, yeah, it obviously has been a few. 11/22/63 is my favourite. That's only had the TV adaptation, which I quite enjoyed, but it's definitely skimming a lot out from the book. It's quite liberal with what it cuts.
For a fucking TV show as well? I thought Stephen King books weren't that long.
The Stand's had a lot, and that's probably like his most well-regarded novel apart from it. Yeah,
I would agree.
Or you've got Under the Dome, that had a show that had Hank Schrader, the boy.
That was Stephen King?
Yeah, Under the Dome, yeah.
AMC's Under the Dome, I remember AMC's Under the Dome.
That's a good show, by all accounts, to my understanding, so...
Seems quite good. I think I was like catching glimpses of it, because I think it must have been on alongside like the recordings I had of like Arrow and the Flash.
Yeah. Man, Simpsons Under the Dome, I suppose.
Fucking bro, is the Simpsons movie an adaptation of Stephen King's Under the Dome?
I think that's a reference to it, but honestly, I don't know.
That has to be. You know, there's a really good joke they cut for that movie. Do you remember in the Simpsons movie they turned on the TV and it's the Dome Depot guy?
No.
They turn on the TV and they've got an advert for like a guy who's like selling like dome polish.
Right.
Like, oh, we've opened a new shop, we're selling dome fucking wipes and dome polish. It's down here at the Dome Depot. Dome Depot. I used to love watching the special features in the Simpsons movie, and there's a cut scene where instead of that joke, it would be like the news with Kent Brockman. He's like, oh, we're going to go over to our farming correspondent, like Happy Gilligan, like Happy the farmer for our weather report.
Yeah.
And it cuts this farmer, and he's stone-faced miserable, and he's like, there's no wind because of the dome.
Yep.
All the crops are dead.
Yes.
That's
goodbye.
That's literally it.
That's so funny.
That is a fucking elite tier joke. I'm so annoyed they never put that joke in.
Why
actually,
did they cut that?
Like seriously, like top
That's
fucking
funny.
level joke.
Man, the Simpsons do know what it's doing.
Yes, they do. First of all, and I was a bit like, okay, I had to backtrace it to Jack Nicholson's son. Okay, Wait, was it good then? Was Smile 2 good?
It actually, you know, all jokes aside, it was a good movie. It was better than Smile 1, and it edited on it and made it bigger and better. I'm just like angry at it for making me scared a lot, I guess.
I feel like I don't think I've ever seen you so profusely affected by a film like this.
Oh yeah, like I don't think I've squirmed as much at a horror movie since I was like a young man,
I can imagine
a young boy.
You'd be angry because you're such a horror pro and such a horror capable and knowledgeable.
I enjoyed and didn't enjoy the experience because I said this when we saw Nosferatu. I was like, I don't really get scared at movies now.
Okay.
I need something like truly crazy to do it, and I guess that is Smile 2. and it might be because a lot of the scares, like it was 1, 2, 3, like it was fast after one
so you
another.
didn't really get a lot of space either.
Yeah, that might have been it. It was just like, right, bang, heart rate, bang, heart rate,
Too
heart rate,
much.
heart rate. You know, it was
Too
crazy.
big and too loud. Too big and too loud.
Yeah, that might be what was happening. But a lot of the setups for them were really good. Like I say, that like kind of spider fucking dance troupe one was crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of them were set up really well. It's just that they were shocking and scary a little bit.
They were a bit scary.
Bit scary, you know.
What have you got after Smell here? Because the one at the end of that row is my next one.
Man, Venom 3.
That's, yeah. Is that Smile 2 next to Venom 3?
Yeah. Oh, that's Friday the 13th. I went through all of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I
They were like
appreciate-
skipped in, obviously, but
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Okay, so that actually does mean we're at Venom 3 Last Dance.
we're here, the last dance.
Holy fucking shit. I can't believe it. Now, for the record,
That's
I gave Joker 2 1 star on Letterboxd, which might be the lowest I've ever reviewed a film on Letterboxd.
Damn.
What did I
A
give
moment
Venom
for history.
3, The Last Dance?
Well, I gave it 3 because I love Venom.
You fucking do love Venom.
I think it's great, man.
I gave
Great
it
time in
2.
the movies. 2, so we're not a mile away from each other.
It's...
I just enjoy these movies, man.
Yeah, I think if you just take, like, the performance of Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock in Venom,
Right.
you can run a mile with it.
Yeah.
And I've never been all the way alright with them. You've always liked them more
Yeah.
than me. But this one was, like, shocking.
A trilogy of declining quality.
Oh, definitely.
The first is most
Look,
definitely the best of the
Venom
three.
1 was like, okay, that it was mid, but like at least I had a really good performance. Venom 2 was a bit like, oh, okay, that was a bit weird and bad. Like, what were they up to?
Why are we doing that?
This one was truly shocking.
All the way wild, batshit insane.
It was just bizarre and nonsensical.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, characters just appear and disappear with fucking very little introduction or elaboration.
True.
And just like aspects of this film just sort of happen.
Yeah.
Rhys Ifans shows up in this movie.
And he's not the
He's
lizard.
not the lizard. He's
Shockingly.
a hippie who wants to see aliens.
And in fact does see
And
aliens.
he sort of just stays in the plot until he does in fact see aliens and is
Yes.
saved by Venom.
Love it, man. Based.
Like, okay. Like Venom goes to like Vegas and has a dance party with Miss Chen.
That's probably the wildest thing in this movie. Like, why is that happening?
Not just that, but because it was like, here Venom, please do not become Venom to have a dance sequence because we'll get immediately
Attacked by
hunter
the
killed
fucking...
by the literal the super murderer.
Yeah, by the
And he's
Clintar
like,
fucking killer.
Eddie, you literally, I just really want to have a dance. You're like, Venom, please at this moment in time, we cannot do the dance
Yeah,
because
they'll
we'll get
fucking-
hunter killed by the fucking
They'll
Clintar
see the
killer.
codex and they'll fucking lock in.
And he's like, I'm just going to have a dance anyway. And then they
That's
get
his Chen, come on, look,
hunter
listen.
killer with Miss Chen. Miss Chen's fine at least, but the hunter killer, the Clintar killer, just, I love that you said that.
Sorry, man.
The Clintar killer.
The Clintar killer locks in, grabs Venom, back to
This
Area
movie
51.
literally does just start. We're like, I am null. I would like to stop being imprisoned.
Yes, please.
And I will send my space dogs to go do it.
Yes.
This is Venom 3, The Last Dance.
Get ready.
And it's like, oh my, like, Null's just in this movie?
Null.
Like the King in Black?
Him. Necrosword.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then he's not in the movie.
And then he's not in the movie. And then he's in the end credit scene.
When he's just like, oh, I'm very upset about it.
Rah.
Bah.
Yep.
And he
Played by Andy Serkis.
Played by fucking Andy Serkis, whose this appearance on the list is much weaker than his previous appearance on this list.
Absolutely, yes.
Not really any fault of his own though. But
True,
I mean,
it doesn't really have a lot of time to impress,
well,
I
he
guess.
himself was like, yeah, I don't really do much. I don't really have a lot to go off of, so I just fucking did it for the paycheck, really.
Fair. I mean, we'll never see Null again, probably.
Yeah, probably not.
Unless MCU decides to adapt Peak and brings it
I
in.
feel like the MCU could swing around down the line.
I hope so, but there's a lot of moving pieces to know.
What were Sony thinking?
Oh, it's a big swing, bro. I can't lie. It is truly the last dance.
Look, what were they thinking? What was going to happen?
Well,
like, they're not going to use Spider-Man in these films. Is fucking Kraven the Hunter going to fight Null?
they definitely knew Hardy was done after this, so I don't know what the plan was for 4 if we got there.
Well, they definitely were just going to probably pick a new host. Like, Hardy's done.
Yeah. Are we gonna get Dylan in? We're gonna have a secret son up here.
Flash Thompson, just do Agent Venom
We
there.
could have Flash Thompson pop up,
Because, like, Venom does just survive this movie. So the whole gist of this movie is fucking Venom dies at the end.
Rip the boy.
He sacrifices himself to, like, stop the dogs, but also destroy the Codex, which I think he has now. Like, apparently when a symbiote and a host combine,
It creates like a DNA codex
the host
in the
dies
spine.
and the symbiote revives him. It creates a DNA codex in the spine, which apparently has never happened before. Which when I first saw the movie, I was like, that's stupid. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, it's less stupid than I originally thought, because like,
and
it's
I'm
possible,
fairly certain that's not exactly how it works in the comics.
Well, it's definitely not how it works in the comics, but at least in the movie universe, it's like, I don't know how much they specify, but like, for example, like, there's not many human symbiote like hosts. Maybe it's like that special DNA
There's like maybe
matching.
3 or 4.
Like, you know, there's probably been many symbiotes who've resurrected their host. I think the problem is the movie, I think, just states because you resurrected your host.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's done because that has to have happened at some point throughout history before now.
Right.
But like, if you
symbiote must have landed on Earth before this.
or really, like, it's just like, again, I don't think the movie specifies it needs to be a human host. So surely a symbiote has bonded with literally anything else in the entire galaxy.
Right. And then why are we not going to that planet?
Pretty much.
Right.
But I guess, like, the implication I'm having to take is that it was because it was a human specifically. And to be fair, the movies did establish, I think as early as the first Venom, they established that, like, humans are particularly good for the symbiotes.
Yeah, like, rats are getting fucked up by it. Like,
pretty much, yeah. If anything, I don't know how Venom was able to successfully, like, morgue a fish. Because...
And a horse.
And a horse and a frog.
Man, maybe they die, like, immediately afterwards.
Bro, do not look behind us. There is a dead horse in the road.
I'm sorry.
No animals were harmed in the making of this movie except a frog, a fish, and a horse.
Oh, man. Fun fact about that. In Friday the 13th 1, just fully kill a snake on screen.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Just... That's what you done in the 70s, wasn't it? Like,
just fucked up a snake.
Just kill animals on the movie.
Just fucking killing animals straight up.
That's
mental. I can't believe they just don't make them what they used to, mate.
They just phoned up a snake wrangler, were like, bro, can you bring a snake? And then they killed it in front of him.
Do you know who that snake wrangler was?
Who?
The fucking bounty hunter.
Fucking Duke, bro.
The fucking Duke. What's his name? Loquacious Duke.
Crichton Duke.
The
boy.
He just would be a snake wrangler.
He looks like it with a hat, I'm telling you.
Fuck, I guarantee he does. I had to find the fucking bounty hunter from
Knuckles. Cuckles.
So yeah, like, Venom dies, and they're very sad about it.
So sad about it that we have a musical number.
Well, yeah, like, the plot of the movie is like, we gotta get to New York because Venom wants to go to New York.
We need to see the sights, bro.
Yeah, like,
before I die.
They basically, like, are wanted by, like, the government because of the events of Venom 2.
Right.
And, like, because of the symbiote, they get, like, the fucking Sector 17 or whatever.
Area 51.
Area 52, actually. Area 51's, like, decommissioned mind.
Oh, sorry.
Or is it, like, Area 11 or something? They have, like, a second...
One next door.
Underneath Area 51, there's another area that's about the symbiotes.
That also has the symbiotes,
like, it's just had a bunch of symbiotes.
Yeah, we've got them all.
Like, oh, bro, we've always had multiple symbiotes, and I'm like, are you fucking joshing me?
Bro, no, we're serious.
Fucking Riz Ahmed was struggling to have, like, 3 or 4 symbiotes in the first one.
We've had them all the whole time.
And you've got fucking, like, Toxin and fucking Lasher in here.
Just vibing. Speaking symbiote lore to you. Fucking
Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's not Baron Mordo in this movie.
True.
Is just a guy who's, like, angry at the symbiotes. Juno Temple is like, I'm a scientist. By the way, my little brother was killed in a fucking lightning strike.
And now I, like, can't use my arm. Is that it? Yeah?
No, I thought she could use her arm.
I don't know. Is there something like she gets hit in the arm by the lightning strike as well? Is that
I think it pure scars her.
Alright, that might be it.
I think it's just the fact that they're like, hello, my name's Juno Temple.
Yes.
By the way, when I was a little girl,
my brother was struck by lightning.
We were just outside in fresh air, and we were told, don't be outside in fresh air, you might get killed by lightning immediately.
And it happened.
And then it happened.
Backstory.
That's resolved much later when she gets fucking hit with like a lightning symbiote. And like,
yes.
She's like, now I have become the lightning.
Ooh.
The Flash. Aye, so they're like angry at him as well. So they're like, I have to get to New York because I just have I know like a judge there that can like, I can blackmail to clear her name. And
let's go, boys.
And it's like, so I want to see the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yes, I do.
So they're like, let's just go to New York because that will resolve the problems.
Of course. Why not?
But it doesn't. They get shanghaied into going to Area 51 to deal with the aliens.
Bigger fish to fry.
And they deal with the aliens. Venom dies, which destroys the Codex.
You know.
Which
ultimately destroys Null's plan.
Yes, like Null's like, bollocks. Now there's no Codex. Shit. There's never going to be another human whose symbiote revives them.
Damn it.
Even though Venom also didn't die because early in the movie they grabbed a bit of Venom goo.
There's a little bit of Venom goo hanging about.
A little bit of Venom goo hanging about. And at the post credits, they reveal that like that little goo's back. He's jumped on a fucking fly and a cockroach, and he's out
Hell
there.
yeah. Man's chilling, vibing.
But meanwhile, Eddie goes to New York as Memories by Maroon 5 plays.
Here's to the ones that we love.
And we get a very somber montage of Eddie just being in New York.
Yeah.
Like unfazed by the events of Venom 3: The Last Dance until he goes up to see Statue of Liberty and he's like, I'm really going to miss you, buddy.
Man, they just filmed his holiday in New York.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we having a fucking somber montage to fucking Maroon 5?
Why not, man?
Like, who recorded this?
Why not, bro?
Why did no one stop them from doing this?
Tom Hardy just really likes Maroon 5.
It's just so uncanny.
It's kind of weird, but you know what? I think it's actually on brand for Venom.
I don't know.
To just do something wacky and crazy like that.
I think it's at least funny that it went that crazy about it.
Yeah.
Like, Venom 1 was a bit mid overall in terms of tone, but like Venom 3 has absolutely no fucking tonal consistency.
I have no idea.
I'm getting so much tonal whiplash, I'm literally breaking every bone in my body. Like, I'm hitting tonal G-forces. And, you know, it does make it unique. I hated it.
Okay.
But, you know, it was unique. You know, there's like 5
fine,
million
you know.
symbiotes in this, and they just sort of come and go.
True, but it's certainly not the worst Spider-Verse movie.
Well, that's Madam Web.
Exactly. And we've already cleared that one.
It's true. I gave Madam Web a 2 as well, but I think... Oh, no, I don't know, actually.
Man, he wants to give it 1.
Well, I respect a lot of the absolutely out-of-pocket, off-the-wall bullshit in both movies. I think Venom... Oh,
Which one do you like more? And we know it's not Morbius.
I feel like I'd probably say Madam Web.
Damn, man.
Just because there was just so much more memorably stupid and funny shit in that.
Okay. I'm open for either of these discussions to happen.
Well, I think Venom 3 at least is constructed better than Madam Web. Like, for
Right.
example, the villain of Venom 3 doesn't just speak in ADR the whole time. Like,
True.
Madam Web's get funny for a lot of reasons.
I was certainly more entertained by Venom.
That's fair, well, you at least had that. We had that through line being connected to Venom.
Yeah.
Like, they just do turn it out. Eddie Murphy,
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Brock. That's a different movie entirely.
Jesus Christ.
Eddie Brock, like Tom Hardy, Venom, like all that situation. They are like a guaranteed win through line. Like, they're all just great themselves. It's just the scenarios that they're put into
are just schlock.
Increasingly fucking confusing and irrelevant. And just baffling.
Bro, he saved all those dogs in the first one. Like the first scene.
He did save all his dogs in the first scene. He saved fucking Risa fans' like weird fucking hippie family.
That's true.
The little boy like fucking liked Venom. Venom pops out and he's like, hello.
He's like, oh, chocolate.
Thank you for giving me chocolate.
Oh.
The little boy's like, don't worry, Venom. I'm completely nonplussed about seeing a fucking sloshy oil head growing out of a man.
But it's okay. Like, Eddie Brock was cool. He's like
Eddie
sound.
Brock was cool. I guess Venom's cool because he liked my chocolate. And he didn't say thanks.
And he's with Eddie, so, you know.
Do you know, yeah.
Based.
That scene always like fucking made me laugh at that, but I actually don't think the context is even that bad, really.
Yeah.
Kind of when it's doing to them.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
You want to go? Me?
I think you've probably got another swath of gaps.
I do have a couple for you, Ewan. My next one is Look Back.
Oh. Is that the Beatles one?
The Beatles one? No.
No, that's what the fuck am I thinking about? But no, that's the Chainsaw Man guy one.
It is. It's based on the another one-shot manga by... We talked about this last year when I'd read it. If you'll recall, listeners.
Yeah.
Based
I
on...
read it, but I listened to the podcast. Me.
What is his name? Fujimoto?
Yeah.
Fujimoto, yes. This is the animated adaptation of his manga, I guess. And it's just a sort of like chill little tale about these kids that grow up to become like mangakas themselves. Just kind of chronicles their journey in good moments and bad and sad moments. And I thought it was really effective. Just a kind of one-to-one of the manga. And the art style, the animation was really good. It was sort of... It felt kind of rotoscopy in places, which I quite liked.
Yeah, every time I've saw footage in a trailer, it gets weirdly smooth at some points, but I don't even hate it, actually.
No, I quite liked it. There was points where it was kind of jaggy. That's what I mean. Like, it felt like the frame rate was like dipped or weird or something. But that was quite cool. I quite liked the visuals of it. I would just think it was a good adaptation. I quite liked the manga anyway. And this was just, again, that.
Well, you saying it was pretty much like a one-to-one?
Pretty much. I think they expanded it a little bit. Maybe a couple scenes changed or like extended. But for the most part, it's pretty good. Yeah. Would recommend. It's quite a short one. It's only like Let me see. 58 minutes.
God damn, I didn't realise it was that short either.
Well, yeah.
Just nearly a fucking hour. Like,
just lock in, boys, and do it. Come on.
Fucking bro, we do need to lock in.
What are we waiting on? You looking at what's next here?
Yeah.
Man's trying to see.
I'll jump in very quickly.
Go for it, pop
You
on.
watched like a fucking modern animated masterpiece.
Oh my. A classic animation
Rebecca
masterpiece.
watched The Addams Family 2 from 2021.
What?
Did you know there was an animated Addams Family movie?
I did know.
Did you know there was a sequel where they go on a road trip?
I don't think so.
Well,
Did they go to a beach?
They are at a beach at one point,
I think
yes.
I might have. I remember maybe Wednesday in like a swimsuit or something. It's black and white. Does that seem right?
Yes, and I'm not sure I'm happy that that's what you remember.
I just remember that in like a poster.
Yeah, literally the poster is like that. It's an entirely green poster. Like, they're all fucking like...
There you go.
And let's be clear, this voice cast, Graeme...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
it's
fire, yeah.
Oscar Isaac Gomez, we're never going to get that ever again.
He should be Gomez.
Chloe Grace Moretz, Wednesday. Nick Kroll, Uncle Fester. Snoop Dogg, Cousin It.
Oh, that's inspired, by the way.
Bette Midler. The villains played by Bill Hader.
The Bette Midler?
Genuinely.
Love it.
Like, the first animated one was really, actually, shockingly good.
Yeah.
It was not perfect by any stretch, but like, I remember when the trailers were coming out and it kind of just looked like it's
we're just doing the Addams Family again, yeah.
And it ended up being actually kind of interesting because it really acutely captured the best elements of the family themselves.
Right. Is it the Hotel Transylvania people?
No.
Man,
I feel like this was
like that. The designs look like that.
Well, you would think that's actually the original designs of the Addams Family. The Addams Family were originally a little cartoon.
Right.
And that's literally what they look like in the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
But you got to give them points for adaptational closeness.
Go for it, yeah.
I think this was made because of Hotel Transylvania. Like, okay, we want to do a funny, spooky movie too.
And
like, what's funny and spooky and kid friendly? Oh, Addams Family.
Cool family dynamic.
I actually don't know who it was that did this. Let me check. The second one just was not as good. It was like I don't know if it was ever in the cinema.
I might guess that because where's the third?
I was gonna say it was definitely like it. Metro Goldwyn Mayer. What?
Man, people cook
MGM
animated movies sometimes.
It felt like a direct-to-video sequel.
And that's basically what it is.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. Nothing engaged me. The main plot is like Wednesday starts to think she's no part of the family because she's like getting older and she's occasionally not being miserable.
That feels like a Wednesday thing.
Well, yeah, the musicals get the same plot.
Okay.
But the musicals really... But that's a little bit more interesting because she's a bit older and her main thing is that she has a boyfriend now who's like a regular fucking guy.
Just a normal person.
Just a normal fucking guy.
There you go.
This movie sort of sidelines it by having like a fucking tech billionaire like decide that notice how smart Wednesday is and decide to fucking trick her into thinking that he's a biological father so that he can patent and sell all of Wednesday's inventions. And the Addams Family are like, man,
what you doing to your daughter?
We need to go on a road trip
right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Nothing to do with that. That whole thing with the father, that doesn't come up till later.
Cool.
They're just like, man, would you know what we should do to get Wednesday back on side because she's sad.
Trip.
Just go on a road trip.
Just fucking
And there is some good, solid, funny moments of just the Addams just being about on holiday and just being in places. And it'd be stuff like, we're going to go to this place. Or we're going to go to that place. It's funny because we're in this place. Or like, we're at Niagara Falls. Let's talk about how funny it is that like people fucking fall over barrels and die or something.
Lol.
It was largely forgettable. Not too bad. I mean, I don't know. It felt like the level of quality I expected the first one to have been.
Okay.
But I'm also not that disappointed because I don't really know how this movie happened. Like I said, it was like the first one I guess just did well enough that we're like, we might as well just chuck out a sequel. But I don't even know if this one got to cinemas.
I fucking probably did.
It was 2021. Was that still COVID era?
That was still COVID.
So maybe it was just a fucking direct to streaming thing.
I don't know. It was tail end, so it may have been in. I don't know.
It was fine. It was mediocre. It's whatever. I don't hate it. Right, the next one I think is yours.
My next one is Gladiator 1 2.
Oh really? Okay, that's my next one as well.
Well, there we go. So Gladiator.
Am I still getting fucking up the posters because some of these are Freddy and Jason movies?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine, fair.
Definitely.
Gladiator 1 and 2. Right. Okay, Graeme.
Brother.
So I never watched Gladiator.
Yes.
And you were like, we're going to watch Gladiator.
It's
we're going to watch
cinema.
Gladiator 2. And I mean, yeah, it is cinema. I thought Gladiator 1 was exceptionally good.
Yes.
I gave it a 4.5.
Absolutely banging. 4-star movie for me. Love to see it.
I'm a big fan of historical fiction. I've said this. I like a period piece.
Yep.
But this one also had the added benefit of fucking fighting and swords and blood. And
Based.
also Rome. Which
The
is
great
very
Rome.
cool.
Based Rome.
Rome's very cool.
Beautiful.
I think all men
To
love
see.
Rome a little in their heart.
I think so. You know, it might be my Roman Empire. Gladiator. It could be.
The Roman Empire might be a Roman Empire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just I think everyone in the movies firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah, aye.
Like we're all just
Russell
in
and
it.
Wiki, fucking
That's yeah.
like I try every single one of them.
Fucking
Jackie
Julius
pops
Caesar.
up. Julius Caesar.
He's not in it.
He's not in it, no.
Fucking Marcus Aurelius. I mean,
Marcus
yeah,
Aurelius.
the other cool Roman guy.
Who is it that plays Marcus Aurelius again?
It is Dumbledore, but it's the
Michael
first
Gambon.
Dumbledore.
Aye, we had a fucking full-on argument about this.
Yeah.
And I read the cast list, it was Michael Gambon. I'm
I
like,
was like,
fuck
bro,
me.
it's him. Like,
Oh, it was just, it was a really compelling, I mean, a compelling narrative that peppered emotional depth into it, but I mean, it is deceptively simple. It's literally just
yeah,
like,
aye,
guy gets fucking spurned and betrayed, and his family killed, and he's out for revenge.
out for revenge.
And he sort of is constantly forced to survive a situation turned against him, and it's how he turns that situation, like, you know, he becomes the gladiator,
Yes,
builds up his legend,
he's a Spaniard.
you know, and then what he does going forward, you know, how he
That's it.
sort of uses that to affect societal change.
And we're dressed up with like pithy sayings and speeches, and it's beautiful.
We've got these beautiful fucking sayings. Fucking, what is the thing about honour?
Honor,
Aye.
strength and honor.
Strength and honour, yep. Or like fucking, the one about dying.
The one about dying.
Aye.
The one about dying.
The one about dying.
I'm lost.
I forget the sayings, I feel really bad. But I mean, it's just cool.
Oh, do you mean the speech at the start when he's like geeing up the troops?
No, because I think well, it might be the one that started. He gives it to the gladiators towards the end as well.
Do you mean in Gladiator 2?
No.
Okay,
He definitely, fucking Russell Crowe definitely has like a quippy quip about dying.
right. I remember the one in the start when he's like, if you wake up and like see the field of reeds, fear not, for you're already dead. Like that kind of thing.
It
Like,
might have been that, probably. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all cool.
It's
the
all
point.
cool,
I'm
yeah.
sorry I can't remember it right now, but it is all cool.
whenever they speak in the movie, like they're saying something awesome.
Literally. Aye. And I really love it for that. And I thought it had just a very competent and nice start to middle to end type of thing.
Definitely. It's a blockbuster film.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Blockbusters is the right one for that. I mean, this was Ridley Scott's peaks. I
We're-
think one
we're
of his sort of
we're
top
in there.
levels.
He does seem to have like a hit miss thing going on.
At least
This
it
is a
does-
hit at least.
It does feel like he's trying to just do shit he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether he actually wanted to do Gladiator 2 or he was
I
like,
think
maybe,
so.
maybe I'll just do one that'll know make me money.
Yeah.
But like he'll like do fucking like an alien and like a Gladiator, and then he'll like fucking I don't know what to do the last duel, and then it's
Yeah.
pitched awful, or like I guess it's I don't know.
I don't know.
Saw it.
Maybe saw it. Like Gladiator 2 seems like it's been in the works for a fair while. We just couldn't really get it happening yet.
That seems like a possibility. Yeah.
And then it just sort of came together and we had it now.
Yeah, we do have it now, and it was bad. No.
Wow, man. It was basically the first one.
Yeah, I have got a full star grade below the first one, but I did really like it.
I put the same. I hit 4 again.
But it is, yeah, it's basically the same as the first one in a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Like fucking Gladiator gets like scorned and his fucking family die and he seeks revenge.
There's like a slight like reversal. Like Paul Mescal's character's not exactly Maximus. He's sort of like the villain of the bit for a while, and it's almost like Pedro Pascal's played as Maximus because we see him actually not being an arsehole.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Like Pedro Pascal's the noble Roman soldier.
Yeah,
who,
exactly.
Like, likes his niceties
Who
for that.
actually like revered Maximus.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but then it's about the perspective, like based on the information we're given, like technically you feel for Paul Mescal,
Yeah.
but like I saw Gladiator 1 and technically Pedro Pascal's the cool guy, and then they both sort of reach a plateau. For all the marketing, I knew they were going to fight, but I actually thought this movie was going to be more about them fighting. But
Right.
the movie's essentially it's Gladiator up to a point, but then they dive a lot deeper into the political side.
Yeah, there's a lot more political like subterfuge in the second one than there was in the first, and not to say that it's obviously not important in the first. It's just taking a back seat.
Yeah, aye. It's more just like an inherent change, like what these actions are having an effect. Now Rome's in a lot more of an unstable time. Like they've got, like even though the emperor was killed at the end of Gladiator 1, Big Wacky was taken down.
Like the Republic didn't fully return.
Yeah, we didn't commit enough to the Republic,
Yeah.
and these two new twin emperors rose, and they're even
dicks.
crazier. Like fucking Joseph Quinn and the guy who Craven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Fucking just weirdos. Fucking the Craven the Hunter guy's got a monkey. Joseph Quinn's just like
That monkey,
little
bro.
idiot. That fucking monkey, bro.
That fucking monkey was acting.
He was an actor.
Do you know who was acting in this movie? Denzel fucking Washington.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I was sort of holding towards, because I'm like, the major differences are, they step on the political stuff more because it's real that Paul Mescal's guy is fucking Lucius, like
literally
fucking son of Maximus, and the lady, why can't I remember her? I can't remember the name of the actress. Diane Lane? No, it's not Diane Lane.
Let me get it for you, bro.
Why the fuck? I feel bad about that. This is a fucking renowned actress, a powerful part. Connie Nielsen. Fucking Connie Nielsen, who's exceptional as well. I couldn't remember for a minute there.
Of course.
Son of her character, I was going to say Hippolyta there. Connie Nielsen and fucking Russell Crowe's son, but then also he has like a legal claim on the throne and everything, and like there's just a lot of civil unrest, so that's a big deal. The other big deal is Denzel motherfucking Washington, who drops in, gives a fucking certified fucking 10 out of 10 performance.
Absolutely.
I mean, Denzel's another one. Although Denzel isn't, to me, like Raph Fiennes is. Denzel is like, I mean, they all had prestige. But like, Denzel wouldn't just pop up in a movie. Like, oh, Denzel's in this. He's really good. Denzel's in the movie. You know Denzel's fucking coming. You're sat there waiting to get to Denzel, and he shows up and he fucking demolishes it. You're like,
that's facts.
As expected. Thanks for that, Denzel.
Thank you for like giving me this
You get the Presidential Medal of Freedom this year. I'm like, I fucking didn't know I didn't have that.
There you go.
Like, the guy is fucking empirically based.
Yeah, he is so based. I think he's incredible. He's sort of in that position in his career now where I think he said this. He's like, I'm only doing it if like I fucking really want to do it. Like, I done that Macbeth movie. I really want to see it.
I actually would like to see that too.
And he's like, I'm just doing shit I want to do now.
He's just out here like just shit. Leaking the existence of Marvel films.
There you go.
He's like, oh bro, see, after like Black Panther 3, I might be retiring. And they were like, oh,
what?
There's a Black Panther 3 Denzel. And he's
You're
like,
in it?
Alright, for legal reasons I have to apologise. Ryan Coogler, I'm sorry I revealed the existence of Black Panther 3.
Well, you know, I started like theorising and cooking sidebar here when this was like said, because recently there's been rumblings recasting of T'Challa.
Rumbling, and I'm not fucking happy about
perhaps
it.
Denzel
can't be T'Challa.
Man, why the fuck not? Well, I think recasting him now is too late. We should have done it for the second one if we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. How can we recast him now? He's like literally confirmed.
I mean,
dead.
if you want to give him like a fucking alternate universe variant, like,
I suppose.
But then that means Black Panther 3's a fucking multiverse movie.
Aye, and that means like, when's it coming out? Like,
literally.
After Secret Wars.
Does anyone even want to see that? Like,
I don't know. I'd just rather us have Shuri now. Like, we're kind of committed to it.
Like, let's just commit to that.
Aye.
But I'd be fine if Denzel was like a fucking. I mean, again, I don't want to be a full multiverse movie, but if you were like, oh, by the way, here's like intergalactic empire
or whatever.
Oh, okay, T'Chaka's a good shit as well, or like just any of the ancestor type ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be one of the ones where they kind of just make him a weirdly like offbeat character, but he's just really interesting, like Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah. Because
like Forrest Whitaker, I was like, oh, he's going to be Black Panther. And he just ends up kind of being like a guy.
Yeah, like another like African like warlord guy. Might be cool.
That pretty much, but like another tribal leader, like
you
know, like Wakabi.
Like M'Baku.
Who's Wakabi again? Is that
no idea?
Fucking.
I'd need to watch these again.
Get Out.
No idea.
Dio Kalua.
Oh yeah, right. The Rhino tribe.
I wasn't telling you to get out.
Right, yeah.
I think that's Wakabi, maybe. But yeah, something like that.
The Goat Okoye.
And I'm Gladiator 2, so he's like the sort of the fucking slaver, but again, he's just got a more extended role. He's a lot more involved in the actual activities, and he has his own political machinations.
Yeah, he has like goals he wants to achieve.
And by the end, he is like the villain because he's so fundamentally against the system itself.
Well, he understands the system and is going to use it to his own gain.
Yeah, he wants to ascend from nothing essentially. I mean, he was a slave, I believe. Did they don't really? He was a slave who won his freedom.
Or at least a gladiator.
He was. Yeah, he definitely won his freedom in the Colosseum. And he's like, I'm going to upend the system. Like, I'm going to manipulate my way up to the top. He manipulates his way into like the emperor's inner circles.
He's basically there.
Literally turns his way against them. Essentially supplants them.
He has the full. He literally controls the Senate, basically. Because he has the emperor and he can do what he wants.
100%. The only thing that really stops him is just like the loyalty of the people. You know, there's the people loyal to Maximus, the people loyal to like Pedro Pascal's character, whose name I forget unfortunately, and the people who are like they're loyal to Lucius because he is just a well-known commander. Well, no, not really actually. He was a well-known commander of the people that the Romans were killing, but his name carries the weight and he like speaks with Maximus's words. So like the loyal people of Rome come out to fight, but then they do have that really good ending of like Denzel and Lucius like fucking face off.
All like in the The entrance to Rome.
Yeah, the entrance to Rome, like the fucking, the two sons of Rome fighting each other type of thing.
That was a really cool
Cain and
ending.
Abel.
And the big shot, like
No,
of the
Romulus and
battlefield
Remus.
and everything was very, very effective.
It's very effective and just a very cool, brutal fight. Lucius does get him, takes fucking Denzel out.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, bro, Rome, like all years last no fight, like the people coming from Rome to fight the loyalists, and then the loyalists, we need to like rebuild the dream of Rome, but even better this time.
Yes.
Which was, I guess I'm a bit like, okay, we're just going to do the ending of the first one again, but we're really going to do it this time.
We're really here now.
But, I mean, it's still, the new stuff was good and interesting and new, but I guess, I think just a lot
retreaded.
was retreaded. I said in my review, and I kind of can't remember exactly what I was referring to, but I do remember feeling this emphatically, which was some things kind of just happen in the middle. There's a period in the middle where things just keep jumping from like step to step, and there was a couple of just information points that I was missing, especially about Lucius. I remember being a bit confused as to how like Lucius, like he was sent away.
Yep, at the end of one.
At the end of one, because they just were like, okay, someone's gonna probably come and kill you.
Yeah.
And then he sort of, I can't remember how, but he's separated from his protectors. I'm like, how does he go from like that to like being across the sea and hating his mother? And then, like, you can make reasonable assumptions.
Like hating the mother, I think that's fairly obvious. But
what do you think though? Because I never
that
really,
like it feels abandoned by her.
See, I was like thinking that's the reason that I should be believing in, but then he was old enough to understand what he was being told.
Yeah, but
I guess
he's maybe under
the
under the assumption that like she'll get me eventually.
I suppose once it's put, see, this is happening. So all this is like, I suppose. Like these are logical.
10 years later, it's like I've soured on that idea. She's fucking no left me the bitch. Oh my god, I hate her.
Yeah, I guess I feel like some of these ideas could have maybe been better elaborated on.
Yeah,
there was more. I wish I could remember what else, but there was more than just that.
Right.
But at least they're not horrible because I can, with a modicum of thought, I can fill in the gap successfully.
Yeah.
I've complained on this podcast about much worse things.
True.
Things that just have logical leaps that I'm like, I don't know,
Aye.
If I'm filling in the gap, I shouldn't have filled in that gap, or like you've left too far.
That should be.
You've not given me enough to fill it in myself anyway.
Aye, that's an illogical jump for me.
I think maybe on a second watch, I'd maybe bump this higher. Honestly, I'd maybe put it up to like maybe a 4. Leave Gladiator 1 at 4.5 and put it up to a 4.
Okay.
Can I just quickly say, in my list, I've got Agatha All Along again.
Man, just watched it twice. Loves it. Absolutely loves it.
I think I only put it where I did because I thought I'd forgotten.
Maybe you put it when you started it and then when you ended it or something.
That's completely possible, Graeme.
Or when I
because
ended
in my letterboxd it shows up after what we're talking about.
Okay.
But I mean, it was still good. It was. I just want to say with Gladiator 2, it was like especially after watching Gladiator 1, it was like, okay, Ridley's doing that type of thing again.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful spectacle.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking all the arena shit, the sea battle in the arena. Like, fuck historical accuracy, which is cool. Fuck you.
I mean, he's never really been fussed with historical accuracy to my knowledge.
I don't need that. I like certain things, but if you're gonna I'm gonna take liberties.
Did you see Napoleon?
I didn't, but I really want to. Did you?
I've seen it, yeah.
Was it good?
I thought it was okay, yeah.
See, I'd like to watch Napoleon. I fuck with that when it's like I'm gonna take complete liberties just for the fucking joy of it.
Yeah.
For the spectacle of it, and I'm like, cool. I don't need you to be slavishly devoted if you're going to turn around and go like, what if they were just able to flood the Colosseum and do boats in it?
How based would that be?
Like that, that would be based.
And the Romans would fucking do that.
I think the Romans would if they could, yeah. So it seems logical. It's ridiculous, but it seems within their mandate.
Definitely, my man.
What have you got next?
I've got Hellraiser.
Come again?
Hellraiser, and this is the 2022 kind of sequel, reboot, whatever the fuck it is, Hellraiser. I was really excited to see this movie. It's a Hulu film that we never got on Disney Plus, but I was under the assumption that is how that would happen because that is what normally happens to the UK plebeians on Disney Plus.
We just get American Psycho on Disney Plus because of Hulu.
There you go. But of course, it did not appear there. So this is after 2 years. I just bought it on Amazon eventually and watched it.
Yeah, just fuck it. I'm just going to watch it.
Do you know what? Really enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Really enjoyed it, Ewan.
Do you know, we've not talked about Hellraiser a whole lot, but you have been like a Hellraiser guy.
Yeah, I am. I've only seen... This is the third one I've seen. I have seen 1, 2, and this one. There is a whole bunch in the middle that are like... I think most of the time are just dealing with Pinhead, who isn't really like main guy. He's just like one of the guys of the Hellraisers. Do you get what I mean? He just obviously is like the poster child kind of thing. He's the most marketable guy.
What like are the Hellraisers? I know there's like a puzzle box.
The lament configuration. It's actually really cool what they do it in this movie. It's a box in the first one. You solve the puzzle. You summon fucking Hellraiser, the demons, and
which is Pinhead.
Yes, he's like their leader, and they are explorers in the far reaches of experience, and they've got such horrors and sights to show you, and they're just BDM cult guys. They really like
they do just look like BDSM cult guys. Yeah, that's what I was sort of gleaning from it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So the explorers are the outer reaches of experience.
But they're doing it to you, like congratulations on solving the puzzle box. Yes. We are now going to BDSM on you.
Yeah, so most of the people in the movie, like in the first movie, the first person you see with like the opening scene is the person who becomes Pinhead.
Okay.
He's like solving the lament configuration, and like most of the understanding you get from the people that are doing the things is because they've experienced all life has. They're like so rich, they've ate all the foods, they've fucked all the women, they've done all the drugs, and they want like something else. So that's what they're like seeking. And they get like this fucking demon people, and they're like, oh my god, I can like do this, and then that's how they summon them, and they're like, right, we're gonna give you this experience that's like so intense and like extreme, but it's like that's what you're after. You want more.
Okay.
This is what this is, kind of thing.
Right, I see.
And the first movie is like really insular and really small, kind of focused on Frank, who had the box before and has like come back as like a fucking skin man. And like wants to get the box back again, basically. And the Pinhead, the Hellraiser people are like trying to catch him, and that's just like the first movie. Basically.
Why do they not want him to get the box?
I think no, he wants the box for like power, I think. And his like wife's involved. I've not seen it in a wee while, to be honest. There's a lot like I could be missing here.
That's fair. You can go back to the new one then. You've given me enough context where I can understand.
That's like not where the interesting shit is. Okay. The interesting shit's in the second one, Ewan.
Oh, okay.
When like we go to like the fucking Hellraiser like plane.
Right.
So, like, when you summon them, they, like, appear through, like, a fucking crack in the wall or whatever.
Well, yeah, I have a bit of information on this because Rick and Morty did a parody of Hellraiser.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, they did, like, you solve the puzzle box, you go through the crack in the wall, they really love to do torment on you.
Basically.
They love like a fucking torment BDSM dimension.
Yeah.
I'm shocked how much I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Oh, yeah, I get the reference.
But, like, I guess Rick and Morty never established what was going on there. So that's why I was a bit like, what is the point of Hellraiser?
Right.
But okay, I get the human experience thing is like actually okay.
Right.
I'm jiving. So they go to the Hellraiser dimension.
Yep. So that's in the second one. They kind of expand the lore more, and that's like Leviathan, which is like fucking Cthulhu mystic epic outer god thing.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
That's what like Leviathan is.
We do love to see it.
So that's like Uber based IMO, and you like see it. It's a big like fucking painting shot or something. It's insane looking, and it's just like a big maze, fucking hell world.
I'd like to see this for myself.
It's so based. In that one, it's like a big doctor who's like got the configuration. He's trying to like make deals with them and shit, and he's like getting people killed for them, and then he's trying to get like more power. He wants knowledge or something. And that's the kind of plot of that one. I don't know what happens in the third one. That's kind of like a Takes Manhattan situation where like Pinhead's like out and about kicking shit up.
Pinhead takes Manhattan.
Kinda a wee bit.
Pinhead goes to the Hellraiser dimension.
But this one is, well, I'll just start by saying like I really like what they did with the lore.
Okay.
If you like in this one, and again, I'm not
like a
really
sequel,
like.
Then? It's like a soft reboot, like.
Yeah, like it's not mentioning like characters or anything. Like that really does that.
I suppose. But it also does it like
the previous movies.
Restart it.
No. But what they do with the lore in this one, I really liked, and like I say there, I've not seen all the movies. I've not read any of the tie-in books.
There's like comics and shit. When I looked up pictures of Leviathan, there was a comic book.
Mm-hmm. Well, Clive Barker, the creator, he wrote the book and then made the movie.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
But the book's like obviously the brainchild, and Clive Barker's like into like BDSM subculture and like all that shit.
Culture, it seems like.
Yeah, like he's a big into that, so it's kind of his scene, his vibe. This is like his baby basically, and I'm glad it's like kind of back, but they've obviously not made anything in 2 years, and I've not heard anything about it coming back. But I really like this one.
Potentially a re-arriving.
Yeah. So in this one, there's like some rich fucking business guy who again just like has experienced everything and wants more, so he summons like the fucking Hellraiser people.
Of course.
But in this one, the box is kind of expanded upon, and it's got like a bunch of different configurations, and the lament configuration is like one of the configurations. So I think there's like 8, and they all have like different meanings.
Okay.
So lament's like nostalgia kind of thing, and there's like a bunch of other ones, I can't remember their names, but they do like a bunch of different like looks and stuff. So one's like a pole, one's like the wee box, obviously. There's like fucking daggers and shit. And what happens is after you solve it and it pricks you, you like summon them and they come and like claim your soul.
Okay.
And it's like a woman pinhead. This one, it's not like a guy pinhead.
Well,
So I guess that's why it's different.
All the configurations for Hellraisers, or is it the configurations for like different people?
No, well, they always summon like pinhead
Okay.
and like the crew.
But
and they come and get you.
What, how are they differentiated? Like, what's the difference?
So after you complete all the configurations,
okay.
you summon Leviathan.
Oh, okay.
And it grants you a wish.
Fucking Christ.
No, you pick which configuration you want to do, and that gives you like the experience, I guess. So the end of the movie is like we have now done enough sacrifices inadvertently, and we've like killed the bad guy with the sacrifice, for instance, to summon Leviathan and get the wish. And she picks the lament configuration, which leaves it like the box.
Okay.
And it's like, oh man, you actually like beat us. Like, we don't fucking like torture you with that one if you choose that one. Because it's like you lived with like, you've chose to live with like the experience you've had with us now. Like us chasing you and like fucking killing all your pals. Like you're lamenting on that now.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that's what I took from it.
That's
anyway.
your fucking prize. That like you can just live with that, and we don't have to come and chase you and kill you. No, we don't have to give you even more.
Yeah, but
thanks, guys.
So apart from like the cool visuals, like seeing all the pinheads, well, like the women pinhead was cool. All the other fucking Cenobites, that's what they're called, you, not the Hellraiser people. The Cenobites.
The Cenobites.
That's the names. I forgot them there. So all the other Cenobites, seeing them, they were cool. They're always really, really weird visual people. The actual just normal visuals. Obviously, seeing Leviathan again was pretty cool.
I can imagine.
I
saw the pictures. He's just like he's like an Evangelion, like angel. He's like. And a fucking obelisk, like.
Oh, who do you see? Let me see.
Well, when I googled Hellraiser Leviathan, I just kept seeing like a pyramid.
Oh yeah. Ubermensch, God thing.
Literally, like.
Yeah, aye. The like rich guy's house like becomes like a cage almost, and that like.
Is that the painting you were talking about? By the way?
Yeah, that like details the Cenobites, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like looks like the configuration of the box.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
That's like a cool visual thing.
Aye.
And this big like fucking skylight opens up like when Leviathan summoned. But yeah, most of the stuff I liked was just the lore stuff. A couple of the kills were interesting. It's like just as fucked up as it has to be like a cool Hellraiser movie, I suppose. Stay on brand.
Hellraiser in general has just always been a bit like, what?
The acting was good. The performances were alright. I quite enjoyed them.
You'll have to see it. I always felt the Hellraiser movies, like, I don't know if you can substantiate this, but they always felt a bit more like self-funded, a bit more down to earth, a bit more like this guy's vision, like Clive Barker, like.
Certainly the first one is like shoestring budget. It's like in 3 locations. Most states in a house. There's one scene where you can literally see a guy in a dolly behind the guy. Oh, like, Jesus, nice. Great time. But it's like, it is just like an amateur movie. It's his first movie ever made. And you can tell that it's amateur and like fun.
But this vision though as well. Like, did Clive Barker do the newest one?
No. Okay. No. But like I'll say this, in the first one, it's got the regeneration of Frank is like literally pool of blood becomes like viscera, skeleton, muscle, sinew, tissue thing. It's crazy.
How the fuck are they doing that?
And it's all practical. They just like construct it.
Bro.
I don't know how they do it.
Just reconstruct a human.
They just do like full practical effects for this like insane regeneration scene. It's fucking insane.
That's a bit mental. Jesus Christ.
It's great. You might throw up watching it, but it's great.
Yeah, I definitely won't watch it, but like
100%. The second one, obviously, bigger budget, like you saw that, the painting kind of thing there. It's much better visually, and like it's bigger, bombastic.
Nice to try and understand this franchise. I've just genuinely never understood it.
I'm kind of on the journey now. Nat saw this and quite liked it, and I was speaking obviously like, the first 2 are like really good.
Yeah.
If you like this one, and I would like to watch the fucking other 8 or whatever it is that's in it, and see what the lore does. I don't know if I'll read the books, but like certainly I can at least do the movies.
Yeah. Man, fucking fair enough.
Bro, Hellraiser, love to see it.
Hellraiser, raise some fucking hell.
Raise some hell. Great cover song by a cover song. It's actually a song for the movie. Ozzy Osbourne, I think it is.
Oh my god.
For Hellraiser 3. It is Ozzy Osbourne, yes. What's next for you, Ewan?
What's next for me? Wicked.
Wicked. We spoke about that already. So see
Very
episode,
long and
people.
interesting episode that completely flies off the topic.
It does. I derail it at the end completely.
But I think it's a great discussion, though. I'm really happy with that episode.
I'm looking forward to going back to my car and the drive home and listen to it again.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost at that bit. So
nice. That's cool. I'm very excited to listen to this episode again when we're talking about Jason Goes to Hell.
My God, I'll have it in loop.
Yeah, same thing we said in the episode. It was good. It was fun. Magic cinema. Cool practical effects.
I'll take that.
I love a musical. Cool that it came out in this sort of cinematic climate.
Right.
You know,
where musicals don't exist.
You know, musicals don't exist and people hate them.
True.
Here's like an unabashed musical that everyone just seems to fucking love. Like,
make a good movie, people like it.
Pretty much.
Insane.
I really liked it. I'm excited for the next one. Well, we might even come back and have more to say about it, obviously, when the second one comes out.
Probably, maybe. Might do a rewatch or something, I don't know.
At least the episode we did was very thorough, so I'd recommend that one. Plus, that's not too old. That's why I'm even less willing to talk about that one.
Definitely, yeah.
It feels like what we said, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, next up I've got In a Violent Nature.
Did you watch that?
I've watched that, Ewan.
What do you think?
I thought it was good.
Did you just watch scary, violent movies?
Yeah. Well, this one I really... This is given... So, The Presence is a movie coming out this year, and it appears to be from this perspective of the presence haunting the family.
Yep.
This is basically that, but it's Jason, and we're following the POV of Jason, the killer. And Jason's like literally an accurate comparison.
Well, I suppose
basically
it's a big
Jason,
hulking guy, isn't it?
Literally, that is it. I actually think it doesn't go as far as it could with that idea, but it's certainly a good starting point.
Okay.
The plot's pretty threadbare. It's just a hulking guy. You find out that he was killed previously and buried with this locket from his mother, and that's what fucking keeps him at rest. Obviously, some fucking hikers find the locket, grab it, go sell it or whatever. Yeah. That reawakens him, and then it's just you behind his back, basically the whole movie, watching him fucking plod around, murder some people that are fucking in his way, try to get the locket back.
Plod around.
But the kills were insane. He fucking literally folds someone in half and kicks them down a mountain.
Well, that is repugnant to me.
It is gruesome. And there's at the end of the movie, the survivor escapes to a road, and luckily someone's coming, and they pick them up, and it's literally for the next 10 minutes to the end of the movie, you're just sat in the car with them, and you're like, man, is it going to fucking appear again? You just don't know. And then it just sort of ends after that, leaving you in fucking a tense cliff edge for 10 minutes.
Oh my God. So you don't even know if the guy's just going to appear?
Well,
I'm thinking it does. They actually appear.
It doesn't. Well, it does get the locket back, so I'm assuming he just went back to sleep. Back chilling.
Fair enough. Aye, good on him, as he should.
But yeah, I think it didn't go as far as it could have maybe, and there's certainly some more room to play with the idea, but it was a good idea. I quite liked it.
That's totally fair. Was it scary?
Not really, and I think because you're in this perspective of the killer, it's not as scary. It does drip from his perspective sometimes, for a kill, for instance.
Okay.
So it can give you a bit of a jump, I guess, but
do you see what the guy looks like as well? I'm not saying
no. I don't remember seeing his face at all.
I guess I can peg this as a horror movie, but then I'm I suppose how horrifying can it be if you're seeing if you're actually from the perspective of the killer?
Well, that is probably what would maybe knock it for some people, but I just thought the idea was cool.
It's a very interesting idea.
It's probably been done before. It's just not something I've ever seen, and I like the idea. I think we could iterate a bit better.
Yeah, it seems like it was just a good experiment.
And if the presence is what I think it is, that's a cool continuation.
Yeah, cool iteration.
It's a different genre, but it's similar kind of vibe.
Yeah. Oh, nice. We'll love to see it. I was thinking about watching it, but I guess if it's violent, gory, I don't want to watch a man get.
Well, that one kill you definitely can't watch.
But I mean, it's just I'm glad to know it was a successful experiment. I need to watch some of these other first-person movies, like Hardcore Henry. I need to watch. Did you ever watch that?
I've not seen that. No.
That's just first-person action movie. I need to watch that. Now I'll quickly back out what I've got here because we can't actually talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's the fucking penguin.
It's the fucking penguiny. El Penguini.
Peaked.
Fucking cinema.
Aye, just so good. Just so good.
I mean, from what I've seen, it is genuinely some of the best TV I've seen. It's certainly up there with, for instance, Better Call Saul, something like that. It's up there on that level.
I would say so. It's probably one of the best TV shows I've ever watched in my entire life. Just to politely say something so So out of pocket.
Yeah, but it certainly is that good, and I've not even finished it yet. I might have anger love for it, like they kill Vic or something, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing this for? Stop this to me.
Man, you're like that invested in people like Vicky. You're just like so affected by the characters.
Yeah, well, I think
smile again.
I think Vic has the potential to fuck me over because I genuinely don't think he's cut out for this life. You know what I'm saying? Me and Oz are on that.
I was gonna say, you're fucking the way you said that to me, the fucking eyes you give me. You're like, I just don't think he's cut out for this. Like,
yeah, me and Oz are on that.
You're a good kid, Vic. We're gonna get what we deserve. Oh, I can't do
Deserve.
the voice with my throat like this.
He's dying, my struggling, bro.
Oh, that fucking sliced like knives.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I don't need to go into specifics anyway, but like, you need to finish it before we can maybe talk more about it.
Definitely, man.
But yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna be good. Manny's Batman.
Man, you.
Like, you're going 2 for 2.
Colin Farrell.
Farrell's
Back again.
Predictably good.
Obviously.
Christine Milioti and Sophia Falcone. Unexpectedly good.
I knew she had the sauce.
I knew she could act. I knew she'd be good. I just didn't expect her to
Have
take it
as
over
much
so
sauce.
completely.
Fair, yeah.
Like every time Colin Farrell's not as good as she is, it's just as good.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they do a scene together, you're like,
Fireworks.
whoa,
Bro, let's dance.
like so good, so good. So it's like literally The Sopranos, just with like fucking Batman places and names.
Man, I should just watch The Sopranos then.
We probably should.
Fuck.
I mean, it's like a good, solid crime show. It's got a good fucking plot drive, a good class struggle, a good fucking
Whoa.
like fucking rich lore, like the license and the styles of the rich and the famous. You know, like Sophia's like fucking complications with her fucking rich and manipulative father and the expectations. It just everything just adds to it, and that's as much as I'll say about it for fear of both spoilers and also precluding maybe a better, more nuanced discussion when you've finished it.
Absolutely.
Because the finale is fucking devastating,
For
bro.
fuck's sake. Why are you saying
it's
this?
a complete fucking event. That
Why is
finale.
bro saying words like this to me?
There's just situations in that finale that I'm like, what?
Wow. Okay then. Well, I'll bring it up a bit then. My next movie, Carry On. Another Netflix banger, if you will.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like, for some reason my brain was like, what, the Carry On films, like Carry On Camping?
No.
Is this the one with Taron Egerton?
This is Ewan.
So you've watched it, good, okay.
I've watched Carry On. It is pretty much phone booth in an airport with a TSA agent.
Okay.
But that's cool. That's a cool situation to be in.
That's a cool situation.
And Taron Egerton is great in the movie. So is Jason Bateman
I've heard
as
both
our
these things.
man in the ear. You know? Voice in the ear.
I don't know what the plot of Phone Booth is, so I actually don't know what you're referring to.
Okay, well, phone booth is Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Like media manager, business
Penguin?
mogul guy, is like a bit seedy and like evil. Ends up in a
Like the
phone booth.
Penguin?
Ends up in a phone booth. Gets a phone call from Kiefer Sutherland, who like finds these. It's kind of like Saw almost, right?
Okay.
And his motivations is like finds people that are evil and gives them a chance to like fucking confess their sins to their loved ones or whatever and like repent. So Colin Farrell's like cheating his wife and stuff, fucking duplicitous to the people he's dealing with, and like owes them loads of money or whatever. And he's got like a fucking sniper trained on in the whole movie.
Oh my god.
And that's the movie. He's trapped in this phone booth the whole fucking movie. That's the setup.
Wow, that's like a powerful fucking movie. I just acted.
It's really good.
So then what's Carry On?
So Carry On is TSA agent in the airport. Jason Bateman picks him up, gets a wee fucking hang in his ear. Listen, bro, we've got a fucking guy we need you to let through, and if you don't, we're gonna fucking kill your family.
Oh god, okay.
Like that's the setup.
So
He's
Jason
like,
Bateman,
what's in the case, bro?
Like you were gonna kill your family.
He's like, yeah, he's coming. You need to let him through. If you don't let him through, fucking bad shit's gonna happen to you.
Aye.
That's it, man. Let it fucking go.
And it's just drama ensues for there.
That's it. And it's good performances all round.
I'll have a bit of a sleep on it because I just don't know where it came from. Now everybody's like, "This is the greatest movie ever." Barking, one of the best movies, one of the top watch movies on Netflix.
So, a Christmas movie, good Christmas movie.
Hideo Kojima loves it.
Fucking, I would expect nothing else, to be honest, from the GOAT.
Oh, bro,
I love that Hideo Kojima loves it. I will say there's one scene that's like that just shouldn't have been in this movie, I think, and it's like a fucking car fight on the fucking motorway. It breaks immersion a wee bit. I'm like, why is this in here?
Furious action movie.
Literally, like it's wild. I was in, and then I was out for 5 minutes, and I was back in because like that scene finished.
The resolution of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're past that now.
Yeah, that was like the only crazy bit in the film.
To like wake up the dads in the audience.
Aye,
you know?
like everything in the movie is believable except that one scene. Like I just wouldn't.
Just becomes Mission Impossible for like a few minutes.
Fully, that just wouldn't happen.
Oh, bro, I might need to check it out because the buzz about it is so fucking strong. It's so fucking strong.
Yes.
I have next
Go on.
Dream Productions.
Fuck is that?
So Dream Productions is the limited series Inside Out spin-off created by Pixar, directed as Disney
Okay.
Plus.
Right.
Bet you never knew about that.
I did not, you know.
Well, it's because anytime I get any buzz,
No
they
one spoke
refuse
about
to
it.
like. Every time they're like, "Here's a trailer of that," we're gonna never tell you the release date.
All right.
And then I think they actually randomly one day were like, "Oh, we gave you a release date, but we're actually gonna bring it forward by like a month or something." Mental. This was supposed to come out after the Win or Lose, which is Pixar's like first original series,
Right.
which is not based on it's just their own story.
Yeah.
Although that's under some shit now because it's
Aye.
fuck it, that's the one that cut a transgender storyline and many other like seemingly issues according to staffers. So this came out first. I think it was 4 episodes. It's very short.
Okay.
Very stacked cast as always. Not just with like fucking Richard Ayoade just pops up.
Pixar on the phone, man. We go. We
All right,
move.
here we go. Maya Rudolph, like bang, sorted. This one is actually set between 1 and 2, so it's the only thing is we're talking a little bit how we want to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe this is the solution. Like, maybe rather than keep getting older, we just explore different facets of it.
I'm happy with that.
Because this is about the dream folk, which is they're referenced in both movies. That like
there's like dream emotions.
There's like a Hollywood studios where they make dreams essentially.
Right.
And this is just about like, all right, here's the people who make the dreams. There's like a pure edgy goth girl that does like the nightmares, and like a jolly guy who does like the funny dreams.
That's fun.
A sports dream or like a nostalgic dream. And there's like a director who's she's like the director of the kiddie dreams, and she's obviously not as good as she used to be because her dreams are too kiddie.
Right, yeah.
And Riley's getting older now, so
she doesn't really want those dreams.
Well, pretty much, she's getting like dreams about. She's getting reminded about things that embarrass her now.
Right.
There's a plot point earlier on where like she finds this toy that she had when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And she like, I went up to my backpack to school, and people kind of like jabbing about it because it's kind of young and cringy.
Yeah.
So she starts to put that as an embarrassment, but then the dream lass is like, I did those dreams about that unicorn character. She loved
that shit, yeah.
Because she was like 5, so we'll run that again because I want to make her feel happy tonight.
No,
and that it's a failure. And then it's essentially across a short period the director just gets steadily worse and worse as she's like forced to sort of grapple with the fact that she's not really got it how she used to.
Right, yeah.
She's not really good at quite making the dreams anymore. Even though she really does just want the best for Riley. Richard Ayoade's character is like a nepo hire who does daydreams and then gets put onto the things, and he's like, I'm going to do like wild fucking abstract shit that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's fucked up, isn't it?
And like also the original director's assistant gets like jumped in for a job. Like she's like, the assistant, she's my assistant, we're friends, but she's my assistant, and then she gets locked on as a director fully, and she's like, my fucking assistant's gone now. She's
no
a director.
longer my assistant.
I've got envy about that.
I'm the assistant.
Now my assistant's Richard Ayoade, who's a fucking weirdo, and it's just about the power struggle in there. I mean, the real culmination is like the sort of the message, the essence in regards to how Inside Out's obviously a reflection of a real thing is.
Right.
They sort of chase the idea that, like, as you grow up and go through puberty,
your dreams will change.
Well, yes, your sort of your dreams and your aspirations will all shift.
Yeah.
And this sort of takes a funny look at the back end, but essentially it talks about how you're going to think less about more childish and this, like, you're going to develop nostalgia more than active enjoyment of certain things. You're going to change your perspective and think about different things. Like, they start to introduce this. There's like a teenage Riley in this. Like a 16-year-old Riley. It's like, this is my ideal of what I want to become.
At 16.
She starts like getting involved in the dreams, and it's like, it's sort of, and she starts doing a bit more complex things. That's the main plot. Like, the boss of the studios keeps pushing for more complexity and more edgy teenage dreams. And they end up being too far. They end up being like scarring. Too deep and loaded with like psychological shit. But she's just doing, we're going to get the numbers, we're going to get the numbers up.
She can't handle that shit, man.
Eventually she gets like, They try and push this horrible psychologically scarring dream, but it gets saved by the nice lady director, and she ends up getting put in charge of the studio. So she's not directing anymore because she's maybe not got quite that aspect. But she does know what sort of is best and what would maybe make her feel better. And it's about like, your dreams might be weird and scary, and they might develop. You're gonna develop more mature concepts, but ultimately your subconscious might still be trying to keep you nice and happy, and might be trying to say something to you here, and it might be trying to do something nice. I think I'm waffling the explanation.
Who knows?
Because I think it's not as clean cut as Inside Out 1 and 2, and I don't think it was trying to be.
Aye.
It just has loose concepts. All in all, it was really just a fun little series that
Happy
just was
for
like,
it.
okay, let's go outside of like the regular cast and do like a different part of the brain.
Right.
The regular cast are actually still in it. Like all the emotions keep popping up,
Okay, yeah. Bit parts and stuff.
just like for little cameos and little jokes. And they're
Yeah.
also like the ones who are in charge. So like they're the ones who like fire the lady, like the Rudolph,
right.
like the bad guy boss.
Aye.
Like we have the authority. By the way, we were up in the control room. We locked this shit down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like kind of softly heartfelt. You do kind of feel for that, like, oh, she's not quite got it anymore, but she also kind of makes an embarrassment of herself. You want her to like learn to be better.
Right.
You're like a bit
Okay.
like we kind of accept that she's never going to get it back.
Right.
So you
But
don't want
she
her-
can't.
you don't want her to like do a good movie again. You want her to learn to grow beyond it,
Yeah.
and she eventually kind of does. They could have made that more clear, but I don't know if they had the time or really needed to because it just wasn't that deep anyway.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine and fun and beautiful because it's Pixar.
Man,
You know, like,
we'll get it in season 2.
maybe, I mean, they might. Monsters at Work got like a second season, and I just didn't realise that was a thing that was going to happen.
Man, there you go. Could happen. In this world we live in. Dream Productions, man.
So if
Sleep on
you're
it.
ever curious, 4 fucking episodes. You can back it. I think the episodes are like maybe 20-30 minutes each. It's short as well, so
Right. Oh, it's a fast one then.
yeah. It took me and Rebecca like no time at all.
Okay.
We're watching an episode a little bit at a time, and then we realised how short they were. We're like, we'll literally just watch all 4 episodes.
Like right now.
Aye,
Let's just go.
genuinely.
Alright. Easy one then. Not a problem. Well, I'm sorry to bring it back down, Ewan. Because the next movie I saw was Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, okay. You did actually watch that,
Yeah, we've seen that.
but we're bringing it down. Did you not like it?
No, I liked it, but it's like a scary movie now.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
scary, yeah. So that's fucking scary horror movie.
yeah.
I like how you said like Carry On was bringing it up, and it's like a guy whose family's gonna get fucking murdered.
Literally.
I'm like, bro, do you know what? Do you know what my next one is? Sonic 3.
Oh man, that's also flames. I'll give you that.
Although it is the edgiest of the Sonic films.
Oh, definitely. Shadows in it.
Was it good?
It was good, you know. I like the format. That was an interesting take. I really like how. So obviously, say like plot synopsis is late night talk show host failing ratings decides to bring on possessed young lady
Okay.
to bring up the show. So that's the kind of the setup. So when the show's live, like we're in colour, like that's the show we're seeing.
Alright, I always
And
wondered
then
what the differences were.
When they cut to commercial, it's like black and white, and we're like following them backstage and stuff. That was quite like nice to see.
That's actually a really fascinating basis.
Yeah, I like how it unfolded. They kind of set up in the opening kind of explanation section before we get to the actual show, kind of like the history of David Dasmalchian's character, the host of the show, and kind of what his life's like, what he's been through, maybe some shady things he was doing with some shady people.
Oh.
They do like fully go in like we're in Bohemian Grove, like more like the Owl God, like yes.
Oh, okay.
They actually like say that kind of thing.
Okay. That's
Kind of
did not
crazy.
expected to go that direction.
Me neither, Ewan, but I saw it and I was like, okay, this is where we're going
We're
then.
doing this now, I guess.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And then his wife dies, maybe perhaps under mysterious circumstances, we're not sure. And of course, the ratings are failing, so we need a big comeback.
Yeah.
That's why we've got
We've got a possessed girl on.
we've got a possessed fucking girl in. And the show is basically like, right, we've got a possessed girl, but that's later in the show. What we're gonna do, we're gonna warm you up with like some other like mystical people. So we get somebody in who can like speak to fucking spirits, and he's like, oh, I'm sensing David, and it's like, oh, David was like my brother, in the audience. And then they've got like
Classic
some,
Danica
aye,
Connor, like.
they've got like a skeptic guy who's like, oh, it was obviously fucking faked. This guy's an amateur. I hate him. He's not as good as me, and he's like a skeptic. Like he's like, I'll give you $1 million if like you can prove it's real right now in front of me.
Okay.
And like they do shit like that, like the whole kind of show.
Right.
And then they bring out the fucking like possessed girl, and she like does something like ludicrous, crazy thing that obviously couldn't be faked. And then he's like, oh my god, no way, this can't be real. Like, let me try it. So when he does something to like, he shows everyone how like a mass hallucination could be like perceived as like a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And he like possesses everyone, basically like makes them hallucinate. And like what would that be? Like when you get you go like on stage and he's like, oh, when I clap my hands you will fall asleep.
Hypnosis?
Yeah, he, like hypnotizes everybody basically. And he's like, oh, that's how easily it was done. And then shit hits the fan.
Okay, you want to see something fucked
Yeah,
up?
aye. And the demon girl like fully goes demon girl lady.
Possessor.
Yeah, starts speaking mad shit. Starts spinning heads, blowing people up.
Blowing people up?
Bro, the end of the movie is like truly, they just go wild. They go batshit insane, and it's great.
I love that.
But I would say it's more of like an experiment in like format than anything.
Okay, right.
Like the general plot of the thing is pretty standard, and like you could expect where the demon lady's gonna go,
Right.
kind of thing.
Okay.
But the setup was nice.
How would I feel with it?
I think you'd be okay with it, to be honest. There's no jump scares to like that I remember really. Nothing kind of outwardly
No egregious gore. I mean,
shocking
she's
like
blowing
that.
people up, but
Not egregious gore. It's like practical gore. It's like fun practical gore.
okay.
It's not like Cronenberg level.
Okay.
I think you'd be okay
I
with
could
it.
maybe try, actually. I really like Dave Dasmalchian.
He's good as it. He's like a really convincing, charismatic talk show host.
Like, not only that, but like I can imagine, like, but also in this format specifically. Like, I'm not saying he's not like that in the real world, but like,
Yeah.
he's a horror guy now.
Aye.
David Dasmalchian is probably the closest thing we have to a modern day Vincent Price.
Man, the GOAT, Vincent Price.
Like, maybe not quite in the same level, but just that type of like a guy who has his hand in like horror films all over the place, and you know will appear in different ways. Like, might make some, might star in some, might talk about
Right.
some. Like, he's just like
Okay.
in fact, he's like a horror guy. Like,
He's
if you
definitely into lots of things.
If you put a face on like modern horror,
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, all right, probably David Dasmalchian's one of those like guys who like is all
Okay.
about it.
Interesting take. I wouldn't necessarily say it, but okay.
Well, it's like it's not just like obviously like
I'm
horror-
not saying it's not.
No,
but,
no,
you
no.
know.
It's like a weird perspective, but it's like Elvira as well.
Right,
It's
right,
just
right.
like you're a person who represents the essence of like
Right, yeah.
of like the the you've got a hand on the cultural wheel essentially.
Okay.
And I love that. I love like this guy who's just like a representative. You know,
It's just like, I'm here for the horror movies.
literally he's like, I'm in horror movies. I'm talking about horror movies.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I love them.
I fucking write comic books. Like,
You know I do, bro.
you
I'm
love to
about
see it
that
a wee
life.
bit. You generally love to see it a wee bit. So I buried the lead with mine a wee bit. My next one is, well, okay, it's actually technically the Knuckles spin-off show.
Yeah, and then it's the
And
Sonic.
then it's Sonic 3.
Okay, I'll let you cook.
We are very late into this, and I don't truly think I have the time to properly talk about Sonic.
This was my plan all along.
To trap me.
Yeah, so you couldn't speak about him.
Like, shit, it's so late in the day I can't actually go off on one.
I knew it.
Well, warning, I will talk about Sonic in part
I'll do it.
3, 4, 5, whatever part the game section's in.
True.
Warning.
Because there's games in there that are Sonic related.
But I guess I will be able to safely just do my basic summary for you.
Happy to hear it.
So we also rewatched the whole thing. Me and Rebecca rewatched
One,
Sonic
two.
1 and Sonic
Yeah.
2. So Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is a really fun little like nonsense adventure. It's detached from the games in a lot of ways.
Okay.
It's kind of just a fun road trip movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Schwartz really embodies the character really well. James Marsden is fucking iconic whenever you put him with a CGI animal.
Love to see it.
And Jim Carrey does really like put a mark down as Eggman.
Commits, man.
But that one was more, both in like the way Sonic goes about it, the plot, everything, and Jim Carrey Eggman were more designed for a mass market. Because,
Right,
for example,
okay.
Jim Carrey isn't really Eggmaning properly. He's a
Right.
bit more psychotic and a bit more neurotic than you would think, and
Right.
he doesn't look like him until like closer to the end. He kind of develops as you go. So
Right,
by the
right,
end,
right.
it feels like they're doing things that are just rough visual cameos.
Okay.
Like, oh, he's kind of wearing an Eggman outfit now, and
Right.
Sonic's kind of doing this.
Uh-huh.
They don't like use any of the music either. Like they do like the Greenhouse Zone theme
Bit
at one
of a
point.
rip.
And you're like, oh man, because Sonic the Hedgehog.
Like one.
So it not that it felt embarrassed in the games, but it felt like it was. I'm going to draw a distinct line between myself and the games, so I
Right.
could make a sort of a bit more mass marketing appeal one. And
Okay.
it did work most of the way. I think it's like if you detach it enough from the movies, and you're like, okay, this is just the movie universe. Fair enough.
Fair, aye, sure.
It's fine. It's inoffensive. It's got some really good jokes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun sort of moments.
Right. But
But
Sonic
like
2.
it quickly improves.
Right.
Sonic 2 is actually a lot stronger. It starts to grapple the puts its hand on the wheel of the games a bit more. I mean, the post credit scene of Sonic 1 is just Tails pops out.
Okay.
Well, there's two
Right.
post credit scenes. There's Eggman gets sent into a different planet.
Right.
At the end of one, and he cuts to him, and he's been some time, and he's shaved his head bald, let his mustache grow. You're like,
Right.
oh, Jim Carrey actually looks like Eggman a bit now.
He's actually him now.
He's proper getting there.
Right.
And then Tails also pops out.
Man, so at least they knew in the first one that's what we're going for.
Pretty much. That's the one thing that people have always talked about. It's about like they've always had some concept of direction, whether they
Right.
knew they were getting renewed or not. They were always
Yeah.
a bit like the development was there. And I think this stems back to the fact that the director is actually a big Sonic guy.
Right.
His name's
You
Jeff
did
Fowler.
mention this last time I
I
mentioned
think
it.
I've talked about it. Jeff Fowler, who got his start working on the CG cutscenes for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Right.
So he's like a Sonic guy. He knows Sonic shit. So I think he maybe was a bit more like, I'll play it safe for the first one for mass market appeal, and then I can work my way towards the stuff later. And
Like
it paid
full
off.
Sonic shit.
It seems to have paid off for him because by
Okay.
Sonic 3, we're going to get there.
We're fucking here.
Sonic 2 is, it's more like Tails in this one full time. Knuckles shows up in this one. It's a bit more of a straighter adaptation of a game. Like it's pretty much just Sonic 3
Right, yeah.
mixed with Sonic 2.
Okay.
I think, like, because Tails is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But mostly... and the
Mostly
definitely
3.
robots in it. It's mostly 3 because it's like Sonic and Tails are friends who bump into like,
Fight Knuckles.
Fight Knuckles, who's tricked by Eggman into fighting Sonic.
Right, yeah.
And Eggman steals the Master Emerald. And then at the end, he goes Super Sonic.
Oh my god!
It's pretty cool. So I don't want to give a whole summary. I'm
Best.
trying my best to not go too deep. I'm gripping the table. I'm pulling my fucking fingernails off. Yeah, essentially, like, Tails finds Sonic, who's getting attacked by Knuckles. Knuckles came to Eggman's planet after Eggman sent a signal out, and he's like, I'm looking for, like, Earth shit, because I need to go back to Earth, because I've heard like, the fucking blue hedgehog's there. He's part of my thing.
That fucking guy.
Essentially, Tails saves Sonic, and Knuckles and Eggman are both trying to get to this thing where there's like they know where to go to get it's a bit Rise of the Skywalker. They get a map that leads them to a compass that will lead them to the Master Emerald.
Right, okay.
So they go to like a temple. They have a bit of lore dump about how there is this thing called the Master Emerald. It is the source of infinite power. The echidnas, Knuckles' race were baddies. The owls are goodies. The owls are like a thing.
Right.
In the first movie, they just completely add a thing to canon.
Like
which
owls
was
are cool.
Sonic had like an adoptive owl mother.
Aww.
Called Longclaw. And they're just rolling with it. Like, yep, the
Sure.
noble owls
It's coming back.
had the Master Emerald.
Don't worry.
It might be relevant, or maybe they'll fold it back into the games.
Who knows? At this rate.
They find the compass, and then there's like a fight where like Eggman and Knuckles get it, and then they all go to like where the Master Emerald's hidden. And then Knuckles and Sonic have a fight, and then Eggman steals the Master Emerald. Fun fact, during the Knuckles and Sonic fight is when they played the song. Okay, I can't remember the exact one, I need to double check, but one of the songs from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the what? You're sure it's that song?
Well, it literally says in the credits, like,
Man,
the name of the
that's
song
crazy.
by Christoph Beck from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Marvel Studios Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's wild, bro.
I have no fucking clue why they did that.
It just worked.
And it's on my fucking playlist, so I'm in the cinema the first time watching this movie, and I see that, and I'm shocked to my core.
Like, that's the song, right?
That's the song from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Why am I hearing the Ant-Man and the Wasp score?
We just felt like it was the one, Ewan.
Well, they feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp score's much more usable than the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog score.
Listen, did it work in the scene?
I guess.
Oh man, it didn't work then.
The problem is that I watched all these videos that were like just putting Sonic songs over the scenes from
And it
these
just
movies.
was better.
Yeah, there's one
fair.
scene when they get the compass is on a snowy mountain. So when they get the compass and like Eggman and Knuckles attack, they jump out and they snowboard down the mountain. And someone put this song called
Why
Be
are we
Cool.
not playing like Sonic Riders right there?
Well, it's a song called Be Cool, Be Wild, Be Groovy, which is from Sonic Adventure during the Avalanche sequence in Ice Cap Zone. And you could tell me that they actually designed that scene to have that song. It matches up that perfectly.
Wow.
Like,
but yet no.
But no, they just had like a generic, like, it's
So,
Junkie
like-
XL that does the score, like a
So
generic
like,
Junkie XL
is
score.
bro like really cooking? Director bro, is he like fully like we're doing Sonic all the way?
Well, this is the problem. I'm trying to figure out
Like,
what's
how
his
much
creative
he's in on it.
constraints.
Yeah.
Are Sega letting him use the music?
Well why wouldn't they? Because
I
they're Sega and
don't
they're weird.
know.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe
Honestly,
there's litigious
understandable.
stuff as well.
Right.
Maybe they're trying to figure out how much they want to go all the way in on being a Sonic movie.
Right, yeah.
So again, we'll get to it. Sonic 3 does show them that they're in the right path now.
Or willing.
They're on the right path now. There's a huge subplot that a lot of people malign though about James Marsden and his wife go to James Marsden's wife's sister, Maddie's the name. I don't want to like. I actually know the names of these characters because I'm an autistic person. James Marsden's Tom's wife Maddie, her sister's having a wedding. Her sister hates Tom. This was in the first movie. This whole subplot about this wedding, people fucking hate it because it's like it's all about the humans.
Like, why are we doing
this? The
this?
humans are annoying it, and none of the CGI was there. Fucking hot take. I actually thought it was funny. Fuck you.
Fair. Nice
It's
wee
relevant
break, you know.
because Sonic and Tails end up going to
the wedding.
see them. Yeah, to like
Right.
they have to get away. The Avalanche sequence, they get beat up. And like Tails is literally on the verge of death.
Oh man.
And also in this universe, the rings aren't collectible money; they're teleporters.
Okay.
Like, you can throw a ring in and it'll just take you wherever you're thinking.
Right.
Which I thought was originally weird, but if you look at extended Sonic canon
It's
outside
actually
the
how it
games,
happens.
it's more like they never can agree what the rings actually are.
That's
so if
hilarious.
the movies are like,
That is genuinely hilarious.
it's genuinely funny. Like some of the comics like just don't even acknowledge the existence of the rings. Like, the current run of IDW Comics has not mentioned the rings once.
That's wild to me.
It's fucking insane, isn't
Like,
it?
that's literally a core part of
It's
Sonic.
literally one of the most fundamental elements. So for them to be like,
That's
okay,
funny,
the
yeah.
rings are going to be in it and they're going to have special powers, I'm like, cool. That's actually...
Like, we can't decide what they are anyway, so...
Pretty
sure.
much. And, you know, by the third movie, they also don't even treat them with any magnanimous. The plot of the first movie is the rings.
Like, we're
Sonic
getting
has
the
a bag of rings. He escapes to Earth after Longclaw's killed. And it's like, oh, by the way, see if you get found out, escape with another ring.
Throw a ring.
And he accidentally loses his rings.
Oh, shit. He gets hit by a spike.
Well, no, it's actually fucking funny. Do you remember the trailers, especially the original trailer with the horrifying, ugly Sonic design, which definitely was an industry plant and was definitely like faked to draw attention to the movie?
Really?
There is no
That's
way
what we're
in
on?
hell they made that deliberately look so awful and ugly.
That we were really
and
doing
were
that.
then able to fix it so well. I don't believe it anymore. I believe it was a fucking industry plan.
Matt, you're on like full psyop territory.
Full psyop territory. Do you remember the bit where he's
it.
in the shed? He's like, meow.
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry to see that.
That's okay.
Essentially, Sonic runs away from Eggman when it gets first discovered. He hides in Tom's shack.
Right.
Tom
with the
comes
cat.
in. What?
With a cat.
Well, no, he just pretends to be a cat because Tom comes in with a fucking taser because he thinks it's a raccoon.
Oh, yeah.
And Mandy's a vet, so it's not a taser, sorry, it's a stun gun, trank gun, but he's Mandy's a vet. See, it's actually very well written.
Fair.
And he's like, we're gonna fucking track this.
I'm gonna get this guy
raccoon because I hate him. As established previously in the movie, because you see the raccoons eating out his trash.
I see.
And he goes in and Sonic's there, and he fucking freaks out
Meow.
because Sonic's like a fucking blue hedgehog man.
Yeah.
And he tracks Sonic, who's
Right
holding
in
the
the
bag of
ass.
rings. Sonic's literally getting ready to escape.
Oh, yeah.
He's holding the bag of rings, but remember, it works on you need to think about where you're going. And he's tracked. He turns around and looks at Tom, who's just tracked him, and Tom's wearing a San Francisco t-shirt.
San Francisco, man.
"Oh, San Francisco," and he like drops the ring. But that's essentially, and they work together. Like he was thinking about San Francisco as he threw the ring,
Right.
essentially. So that ring opens up San Francisco. He falls, drops the full entire bag of rings through the portal, which doesn't just go to San Francisco. It goes to the top of like this fucking skyscraper in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
And then the thing closes. And so that Sonic, like, you have to take me to San Francisco because
Right
it's
now.
your fault that I lost my own way
You
to get out
fucking
here.
shot me with a trank gun, bro.
Anyway, that's a complete.
Does it make the noise when you lose rings? Does it make the noise?
I think once they do that, I think it's
Okay.
actually in 2.
Right,
the rings
yeah.
get dropped and they make the noise.
Okay.
Maybe and they do it definitely once.
Okay, that's alright, I guess.
Anyway, so they use a ring to get out of the avalanche to go to the wedding. The sister gets angry because they crashed the wedding, but then there's a big twist that the wedding was a sting operation,
Oh my God.
and the FBI blow up Sonic with 100 bazookas.
No way.
No, the wedding was a sting operation.
That's
the guy
crazy, bro.
marrying the sister is actually an agent. They're all agents.
Agent Man.
And there's a fucking government official who was in the first movie who really
Right.
likes Olive Garden. He shows up and it's like, me, I'm Olive Garden
the
man.
goat.
We're part of Gun.
Gun?
Now the Gun being in it was the first time when I was like,
Sonic lore.
yeah, Knuckles and Tails in the Master Enemy here. Gun's like a pool.
Okay.
Gun's like from
Right.
a handful of games. It's a fucking paramilitary, like Guardian Units of Nations, like worldwide fucking task force who like deal
Right,
with
okay.
like Eggman and Alien
Oh
shit.
shit, we're fucking them up, boys.
And they're like, we're going to take you all into custody. This wedding was a sting up. You know,
We got you.
there's a fucking again. The whole wedding thing is justified to me because the sister is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is my wedding.
Like, this is my wedding. Like everybody, did you love me, Randall? My husband. He's like, no. And she's like,
I was like, no, damn.
well, he doesn't say no, but he's very like. He
I was doing it for the job.
Are you an agent? And he like sadly reveals his badge. And
I'm
like,
an agent.
Randall. Then she's like, who else is a priest? Who else is that?
Everyone there.
Who else is the priest an agent? And the priest is sat there with his Bible. She's like, are you an agent? And he just goes, and it opens up his Bible and there's a gun in it.
Oh my God.
And he's just like,
That's hilarious.
sadly nodding, and it's fucking like the best joke in the movie.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, the Maddie and fucking Rachel break the aliens out. That's probably the only scene that's maybe the most egregious because there's a whole cutaway where Maddie Rachel the sister gets pissed and goes and drives over Randall with a fucking golf cart. And
Oh my.
They realise they do actually love each other.
Aw,
People are like, go back to Sonic. Come on, go back to Sonic.
Please.
But yeah, I had to mile on that bit because I had to explain the stress of it. But I mean, for then on, the movie's like,
Bang.
they get to Master Emerald, Knuckles and Sonic fight, Eggman steals the Emerald, he fucks them both over, Sonic saves Knuckles, Knuckles realises that Sonic's not too bad, they work together to go fight Eggman, who's like a god now.
Right.
The Master Emerald in this one's like, it fucking possesses you and he's like green and he's hovering, and he's like, oh, I can fucking create fucking things with my mind.
Yes.
And he's got like a sycophant boy called Agent Stone.
Right.
He had the little guy in the first one who followed him a bit, and then this one he's like a pure super loyal follower. Like Eggman comes
Right.
back, and he's like, oh, he's back, I'm his loyal little follower.
And the boy.
So he walks about with him, he builds a big robot. The guys all fight. They don't quite do well, but they get the Master Emerald out of Eggman, although Eggman still has a big giant robot that he built.
Right, so not fully defeated
Not
yet.
fully defeated, but Sonic is like fucking, I gotta save my friends, they're about to kill like Tails and Knuckles, but also like Maddie and Tom and the humans that I love, and we've got the Master Emerald, and he gets like smooshed, and then it's revealed that inside, I mean, they mentioned this at the temple with the compass, that the Master Emerald is made out of 7 individual sort of
Chaos
chaotic
Emeralds. Oh my.
and the sort of Eggman's like, I crushed Sonic, and he's like, oh, my foot's shaking, and the foot goes up, and it's fucking super Sonic because look, it absorbed all the emeralds, and he just fucking goes up, and he quite literally murks Eggman. He just fucking runs spindles around him.
Love
just
that shit.
fucking nuclear bombs the guy.
Based
And
on Sonic Pilled.
he like falls into a big pit, and you're like, oh,
Right.
he's maybe dead, but possibly not because it was a comedy death. And then the
True.
post credits is like literally that. It's like, we're all gonna live in together as a family. We're all friends now. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. We all love each other.
More besties.
Meanwhile, the wreckage of the Death Egg robot, like Agent Stone's about. We're like, oh, he's gonna pick up Eggman. He's gonna save Eggman. Meanwhile, this one lady's like, here, Olive Garden gunman.
Yeah.
We found a file about some shit from 50 years ago, and the fucking Olive Garden guy's like,
You're not supposed to know about that.
that's Project Shadow. And then you fucking
Dun, dun,
cut. You
dun.
literally just cut to a different location. You just see Shadow the Hedgehog in a pod. You know, like,
Oh my one more. Sonic 3.
and that was the prelude to all of that. And I just want to say, the audience are probably annoyed. Rebecca's probably annoyed, and I could talk a lot more.
Damn.
The second movie got the characters a lot better.
Right, okay.
They slowly leveled up the maturity. Sonic essentially starts as a child in the first one, which people actually agree is a good idea.
Right.
Because it shows him developing maturity.
Okay.
Knuckles, Idris Elba's Knuckles is actually quite good. He's a bit dim, as in he's easy to fool. Like, he just accepts Eggman's word for it immediately.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's not like a himbo. Like,
Right.
some Sonic games depict him as like just a fucking idiot.
Right, okay.
But this one depicts him as like no, I just am a bit too trusting, and I'm a bit too accepting of things that
Yeah.
it's sort of bolster my current worldview, but I'm exceptionally wise and noble.
Right, okay, yeah.
And Tails is just very smart and loving, and maybe needs Sonic to coddle him a bit, but they're also really loving friends.
Tails is always my favourite.
Tails is really based, and also interestingly, Tails is not voiced by a famous person.
Right.
Tails is voiced by Tails' voice actor, Colin O'Shaughnessy,
Love to see it.
and she just delivers an exceptional performance.
Genuinely love to see it.
And I say, obviously, I think she is famous because she's the voice of Tails, but it's not
course.
like a stunt cast celebrity.
Well, yeah.
But then that being said, like, Benchwarmers are really good. Like, Idris Elba's really good.
Based.
And as we will see, the voice of Shadow is exceptionally good.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, who is referenced in every Sonic movie before he actually is the voice of Shadow in that movie.
I love that. That's weird.
He's also referenced in the next thing, the
That's
Knuckles
weird meta.
spin-off show.
Okay.
So yeah, we're coming at these movies and like, okay, we have 2 movies that actually depict a really good set of characters, reasonably good, fun action, good jokes. Eggman in the second movie, I barely ever really talked about him super much, but he's, again, much visually and much more psychologically resembling an unhinged but genius creator.
Right, okay.
So you have all the elements of just a good Sonic story. And then we're going to do a Knuckles spin-off. And it's about bowling.
You did say this. You have mentioned me.
So there's a
bowling in
side
the past.
character in 1 and 2 called Wade.
Wade Wilson?
Wade Whipple.
Oh.
He is he's like the junior, the deputy sheriff of the town.
Of the town they're in,
The town they're in Montana is called Green Hills.
obviously.
Tom,
Right.
James Marsden, is the
Yeah.
sheriff. He's trying to leave in the first one and go to
Based.
San Francisco, but he realises
Okay.
he wants to stay home and he loves all his friends and family.
Yeah.
Wade's the deputy. So in the Knuckles show, he's a bit like, I'm a bit bored on Earth. I'm here because I've got friends, and I'm also, at the end of the second movie, they all vowed to protect the Master Emerald and make sure like
Right.
they didn't get it for evil.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to stay, I'm going to honour my vow, I'm going to protect
Yep.
the Earth, I'm going to protect the Emerald, I
I'll
love my
protect
friends.
it forever and ever and ever.
That being said, like, now that I'm not actively in combat,
I don't really have much to do.
like, what am I doing with myself?
Aye. I'm just sitting about.
He gets a lot of brief pep talk from specifically Maddie, not James Marsden. He's not featured in this show. Although Sonic and Tails are there for a little bit as well.
Right.
And they're a bit like, you gotta like find just hobbies, you gotta like find something fun.
Yeah.
He sets up like a fucking Game of Thrones fighting arena, and they're like, nope, not that, not in the house.
Definitely not that one.
But he gets a fucking vision from his ancestor, the dead chief Pachemachek,
Okay.
who's voiced by Christopher fucking Lloyd.
Okay.
And he's
Right.
like, oh, you gotta like carry on our ways, you gotta
What the
train a
fuck?
warrior, and you gotta take a warrior on, and I know who you're
Train a warrior?
I know what warrior you're going to take on to carry on the ways of the
The
Kinder
Goat
Clan.
Knuckles?
It's Wade Whipple,
Oh.
who's a bumbling idiot. Quick sidebar, that character, Pachemachek, shows up twice in this series as a sort of ancient elder ghost, bit of a joke. Full genocider in the games, like full racial
killer.
supremacist, like
Damn.
like burn all the fucking weird chows, like
Yeah.
I've unleashed an ancient evil because I was so fucking blind and evil, like full supervillain.
That's crazy, bro.
It's insane, and it's
Nice
fucking,
repurpose, though.
it's fucking Christopher Lloyd as well,
Absolutely. It would be, wouldn't it?
pretty much. And yet Wade wants to do bowling. Wade likes bowling. He's like, my dad did bowling, and we essentially spend 6 episodes of a road trip. Wade's going to go to Reno to take part in a bowling competition because his dad's actually a cool bowler there, but his dad abandoned his mum. His family are actually Jewish. The 3rd episode is called Shabbat Dinner. Knuckles attends Wade's family Shabbat dinner with Wade's sister and Wade's mum. Knuckles watches Pretty Woman and discovers that he really likes gefilte fish. We're like, what is going on here? What are we doing here?
Yeah, aye. Definitely.
There's a bounty hunter. There's a bounty hunter.
Oh,
Wade's like was on a bowling team with a bounty hunter, and then they get kicked off because he's not as good at bowling at the start, but he gets better at bowling. Meanwhile, there's these 2 gun agents who go rogue because they're working with the fucking Hound from Game of Thrones,
oh shit.
who's
Him?
just an unnamed guy who apparently worked with
In the
Dr.
show.
Eggman, who wants Knuckles to power his mech, and Knuckles left Green Hill, so we know he's there. He's like leaving to go to Reno, so we've pinged him on the radar. He's outside of like the safe zone essentially.
Okay.
They had this thing where they're like, oh, if they all stay in that area, it's fine. But he's like, okay, they've left the safe zone, we ain't going and get him, we're going to go rogue.
Right, okay.
Knuckles gets captured, Wade breaks him out in a very silly way, Wade grows as a character, Knuckles is also present for scenes.
Sure, aye.
They eventually have a rock opera. The 4th episode's a rock
This is
opera.
insane.
Wade gets
This
captured because the people who are trying to get Knuckles put
Right.
Wade on the FBI wanted list. This is Jack Sinclair.
That's an interesting looking person, right?
He has like a motorbike. He also has Knuckles' hat. That's the most important thing he does. He has this cowboy hat,
Okay.
which is Knuckles' hat from like his original appearances.
Right.
And Knuckles takes it off him because,
That's mine, bitch.
well, pretty much Wade gets captured and Knuckles like, no, Wade has to break himself out. He has to grow as a warrior. So Wade goes into his fucking mind palace. He meditates like Knuckles taught him, and he experiences a rock opera explaining how Knuckles like unlocked his inner potential as a warrior,
Okay.
and Wade unlocks his inner potential as a warrior.
That's kind of based.
That's also the second appearance of Christopher Lloyd because he like appears to Wade in like his dream, and he's like, "We're going to sing a song about this." Fun fact: really bizarre retconning or like weird adaptation of Sonic lore in this,
Right.
because they talk about how Knuckles
Okay.
fought a demon to get a thing called the Flames of Disaster, which is power
Right.
ups to his fist.
Okay.
That is like a completely randomly different thing from Sonic 06. Do you know the
Okay.
bad one? You know the bad one?
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah.
2006, like the
Aye.
bad one.
I don't really know the games like that.
I
don't
honestly, don't know what happens in them. Just
Yeah, well, the plot in the games like is completely over my head. I have no idea what's happening.
bro, do you know what? See what we're gonna do? I'll date you like what we did with One Piece.
You just like sit me
Maybe
down
I'll record it for fun, but I will just sit there and I'll fucking
Just tell
shoot
me.
energy at you.
and
I
I'll
would
beam it
love
in
to
my
tell you
brain.
about the plot of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Let's fucking go.
In Sonic 06, again, I'm not going to believe you. It's also got one of the most overly complicated nonsense plots of a Sonic game.
Of course it does.
Essentially, there's an ancient fucking super demon, evil sun god.
Right.
I believe like it is referred to as the Flames of Disaster.
Okay, like the god does.
Yeah.
Right.
So like they just took that name from like Sonic 06 and
just
it's a
put it
really
in
weird
this.
addendum.
Yeah.
So that was just a wee note. I will say that episode is probably still the best one because it's a rock opera. They have a prolonged
That
singing
sounds
sequence
insane.
that Jack Sinclair, the Mighty Bush guy, sings.
Oh my.
Like Christopher Lloyd, I think gets a line or two in. Idris Elba might get a line or two in. But it's all about Wade. They get to Reno. Wade goes bowling. His dad's a weird British guy. His dad betrays them.
Cousin.
Knuckles is also there. The Hound for Game of Thrones just pops up out of nowhere and he's like, I'm here now and I'm angry at
here.
you, Knuckles. And
I'm
Knuckles
doing
punches
bowling.
him and he wins.
Oh my.
I had to
And
see
that's
all
the
that.
show?
Yeah, that's the show. And then Knuckles and Wade are friends. And I
a weird show,
watched
man.
it. Yeah, I watched it much later than everyone else, and everyone was like, "This is awful," because
Wow.
it is not based on any Sonic games. It is not even Knuckles is not in it.
We're bowling, bro.
It's about this guy who wants to go bowling. I watched the show and I came out and I'm like, that wasn't as good as the Sonic movies, and yet
I enjoyed it so much.
I'm strangely endeared.
Wow.
I was strangely endeared to the scenario. I guess that if you try not to take it seriously, you end up just being like,
I'm here for the
you're
ride.
invested in Wade. You kind of
Right.
like he gets some emotional moments, a bit like his abandonment issues with his dad and his
Okay.
complex relationship with his mum, and his mum has this really emotional talk about like, you know, like, oh, fucking kids are barely paying attention to her or shit like that. And there was a couple of solid laughs. Again, it's definitely the worst out of the entire like Sonic live action movie type universe thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely completely irrelevant. Like there's I watched a video that pointed this out today. There's a reference to the Knuckles show theoretically in Sonic 3.
Okay.
But if the Knuckles show had never existed, the reference would have worked the same as a joke.
Right. So, yeah, don't watch it.
I'd say don't watch it unless you really like Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not as bad as like people say, but if you really are just looking for Sonic stuff,
Like,
don't watch it.
Just the movies is
I'm
fine.
sorry to say.
Yeah.
Pressure them to get more though, because now that we've shown them how much we like Sonic 3, like they might do something better. There's humblings about like maybe getting Shadow on a show. Like just make it as an adaptation of a Shadow story. Give us like fucking Shadow the Hedgehog as a movie, or as a fucking show.
Okay.
Because yeah, that takes us to the fucking inevitable conclusion.
Insane.
That takes us to Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is undoubtedly the best of it all.
Okay, so we're getting better.
Yeah, we're now at a point where this is also just actively a good movie.
Right.
Like this isn't just like a fun kids movie or like a endearing reference movie. This is actively a good movie. It's a well constructed, well acted, fucking emotionally resonant movie. And they hammer it on this time. They like someone at Sega was like, just let them do shit from the games.
Yeah, like already, please.
So this is near enough a straight up okay, it's a full adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay.
It's like, okay, Shadow is released through fucking an Eggman. They edit it a little bit. An Eggman hacks the systems and releases Shadow from prison. And Shadow essentially enacts a plan to unleash a fucking weapon. And it's kind of complicated. I don't want to. I might have to describe it in comparison to Avenger 2, but essentially, Shadow gets unleashed. He's like a violent, fucking crazy monster. Sonic gets brought in. Sonic and team get brought in by Gun to deal with it. Although it's clear that some of the people at Gun still don't really like him. There's ups and downs. Shadow fucking murks them, just completely destroys them.
Offs.
He's got a gun. He's got a motorbike. He's Shadow. He's chaos controlling about the place.
Shit.
Keanu Reeves is the voice, as we said. Sublime.
No notes.
No, it's perfect casting actually. One of the best voices of Shadow out there.
I would have thought nothing else.
He apparently was really passionate about it. Apparently he was like literally playing the games and doing his homework. And he said in an interview he really described and it was in a joke reference to how Idris Elba was describing how good Keanu was. Keanu jokingly refers to what his thought process was, which is actually a perfect summation of like this Shadow. He's confused, he's lost, but his best friend has been murdered. He is lashing out. He's vengeful.
Right. Okay.
Because they capture the beats of Sonic Adventure 2, which was Shadow was an old experiment. After they get beat, the Olive Garden guy explains to them, Shadow was from like 50 years ago. He was a fucking experiment. He was like a super powerful person. In the movie, he is straight up an alien. They find him in a comet and they take him to a base on Earth.
Right.
In the games, he was actually made by Eggman's granddad Gerald on a space colony.
Right.
But we also find out in Shadow the Hedgehog
Still an alien.
Also still an alien.
Yeah.
They also hide the reveal. They bury the lead, but they also then confirm that the head scientist in the movie was Eggman's granddad, Gerald Robotnik.
Right.
And like Shadow was like eventually was deemed a bit too dangerous.
So like, why does it look like a hedgehog?
In the movie, it's actually more confusing. We genuinely don't know. In the games, they never explain it, but they recently retconned in a bit of fan lore.
Right. Okay.
In one of the, I think it's Sonic 3. In one of the palace zones during a boss fight, there's a mural in the background of Super Sonic fighting like Eggman.
Right.
And it's implied to be like, oh, someone in the past had a fucking future vision of like this fucking godly Sonic fighting this like evil Eggman robot.
Okay.
And someone was like, oh, well, Eggman does do archaeology. Like a bunch of Eggman's schemes have him like digging into ruins and shit and finding secrets.
Right.
So, and you fight Eggman in that ruin.
Okay.
So, like, Eggman's family might have done that because we also know that Eggman's granddad Gerald did do that. He did the shit he retrieved from ruins. He has like chaos animals and shit. He's like, I dug these up. So maybe he saw that mural at one point in his travels
and was like, yo.
Well, he's like, I'm designing, because in the games he's designing the ultimate life form. He's designing the perfect, like most strongest, most powerful thing. He starts with a lizard because lizards can regenerate, and it goes fucking horribly wrong, and that's how you get my boy the bio lizard.
The boy
catches up my boy, or my girl. I think she's actually, I think it's a she.
From Sonic Heroes?
No, the bio lizard's in Adventure 2.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm thinking about the crocodile.
The crocodile is Vector.
There you go.
No, the bio lizard is not like a funny Sonic character. It's like a fucking mutagenic horror.
Oh shit, boys.
Like, it's a fucking nightmare creature for hell. And then he's like, well, I gotta do something else. People are now like, maybe he saw the mural and was like, well, okay, if a hedgehog is prophesized to be some sort of like beautiful, amazing creature, I might as well base it on a hedgehog.
Let me go hedgehogging.
Again, that was fanning until the most recent game,
right?
Where they essentially gave a full journal to Gerald and they wrote it all out. Like, because in the games he has a journal, and when he's introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, literally the start of that game is Eggman being like, "Oh, I found my grandfather's journal," and he says that he made a Shadow the ultimate life form. I'm gonna go break him out.
Okay.
They actually wrote a journal now. There's a real journal you can collect it in the game, or I've got the physical version because I pre-ordered it on day one edition. And that one has a bunch of extended shit, a bunch of extra knowledge, and it adds in a bunch of fan shit. One of them being, "Hey, I'm Gerald and I went to Angel Island. I saw this mural of a hedgehog. That's interesting."
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool, beans. First off, for the record, that's the Biolizard.
Oh my.
The Biolizard is a fucking wretched abomination, an affront to God, and it's also Shadow's big sister.
But you love that shit.
Oh, I'm obsessed with the Biolizard these days. Fun fact, so the Biolizard is not in the movie.
Right.
Because they don't really do that whole creation thing. Shadow's just found as Shadow.
Right.
But, so, in Shadow's backstory, it's revealed that, much like in Adventure 2, Gerald's joined by his granddaughter, Maria.
Oh my.
In the movie, she just really loves her granddad and follows her book because she's curious and smart.
Yeah.
In the game, she does also have that, but she's also dying of an incurable disease. And Gerald takes her to his super science place to try and find a cure.
Yeah.
And Shadow and Maria become friends. Maria is essentially Shadow's rock. She teaches him humanity.
Right.
She sort of shares joy and love with him. And finally, unpull that pin from
shit.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Oh my god.
Layla Brown's back. That little fucking girl, mind I said, oh, the girl who plays young Furiosa, I'm going to get back to her. She's Maria in the movie.
Oh shit.
Exceptional job.
Man.
People
Does
are actually
she get
saying,
killed?
Well, she does fully get killed, yes.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
good.
A lot of people are saying she's actually a really good version of the character because in the game she doesn't really get a lot of time. She's just given the basic, like she was friendly with Shadow and she dies. Because they don't fuck about with her being ill in the movie, she just has this montage. Like later on in the movie, Shadow has a flashback and it's just a montage of them just
being
spending
besties.
time.
Yeah.
Like the one point where she like straps them, like she like puts like a lasso on him and he speeds to the base and she's on roller skates and it's just kids having fun. They watch movies and dance to music. They watch a scary movie at one point and it's like the evil alien monster and it's the Biolizard.
Oh my god.
Like it's a fucking puppet of the Biolizard.
That's
like,
fucked, man.
There's a reference and we'll get back to that concept. Although Shadow's a bit like, oh, do people think I'm like an evil alien monster?
Oh no.
And she takes them to like the surface and they have a beautiful moment where they talk about like, oh, like Earth's beautiful, I love the stars. And she's like, you know, stars are just like suns that like went out a while ago. And there's a really powerful arc words in this movie, which is like, you know, like the light may have went out, but you know, we'll still see it for it. I don't remember the exact quote, but it's essentially the light of a star has went out maybe 1,000 million years ago, but we'll still see that light for a long time to come. That the light persists, even though the original star went out. And that's going to have a bearing on Shadow's character arc because he's out and angry. He meets up with Gerald, but we don't know that yet. Sonic meanwhile meets up with Eggman because there's like a fucking terrorist attack on the Olive Garden guy.
Right.
He gets blown up by like Eggman robots, but then Agent Stone shows up and kills the Eggman robots, and then it's like, they weren't our robots.
Right.
He takes them to see Eggman. Eggman's like, yeah, those weren't mine. They were hacked. They were possessed. Shadow wasn't released by me. It was a different guy.
Eggman.
We need to go figure out who's the imposter.
Yeah.
So Eggman gets suited up. They give him a new suit. He's now fat because he's been sat eating food after Sonic 2. He's now getting proper Eggman. Big boy, proper mustache.
Yeah.
Perfection. They track it to this base, which is the base that Shadow was in. They explore a bit. They all eventually get captured. Eggman gets led towards Gerald and they meet back up. The critical difference here, in the game, Gerald is fully dead at this point.
Right.
Gerald is not alive.
Okay.
And this is one of the biggest contentious points about the movie, is that Gerald is alive and is also played by Jim Carrey, and they play it for about 80% laughs.
Right.
It's just constant jokes, and they're funny enough because it's Jim Carrey doing really well. But sometimes I'm a bit like, oh, there's one point in it that is completely ruined, like because they undercut an exceptionally cool moment with like
a joke,
a hard cut to like Jim Carrey spanking himself.
Very nice, love it.
But the majority of it's still,
yes.
it's kind of like okay, I expected this to be not as dark as the original Sonic Adventure 2. Not that the original Sonic Adventure 2 is like evil dark, but it's still like it's got some edge to it.
Okay.
Like in the original one, oh god, I can't even spoil too hard. Okay, essentially, Gerald's like, join me, Eggman, we're gonna resurrect a weapon. I built a weapon for gun. The reason, essentially, Shadow gets shut down. He was too expensive and too dangerous. He was blowing up fucking power diodes. And basically, gun, like, storm the base. There's a bit of a weird record here because they very clearly make it gun and they put a capital G gun on that. But in Sonic 2, they specifically said that they only made gun after the events of Sonic 1.
Right.
So I don't really know what that's in reference to, but
it's okay. Don't worry about
it. They basically, Gerald and Maria and Shadow, we're gonna go out. We gotta bounce out of here. In the movie, they're all escaping together, and the gun soldiers are like, we gotta get them, we gotta like fucking shoot them. And one guy who's revealed to be a young Olive Garden guy is like, no, don't fucking shoot a child, you fucking imbecile. And one of the pure gung-ho soldiers is like, I gotta do something, and he sort of like fucking lets off a round in mistake, and it hits an explosive canister, which fucking blows the fuck up Maria.
Oh man, she's dead though.
But here's the thing, you obviously know this, in the game, no, they put a 9mm Glock between that girl's eyes. They shoot that girl dead.
Yeah, they do,
like,
man.
The same thing happens. Maria's getting Shadow in a pod. Like, Shadow, you gotta get out of the ark. And they're like, oh, little girl, bang, 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 Uzi. Like, fucking die, motherfucker. Like, they shoot a little girl dead ass.
That's crazy, bro.
And in both the continuities, Gerald goes a bit nutty. He gets captured by the government and goes a bit nutty.
Right.
Now, I'd say in the movie, he's still alive. He gets let out because he designs a weapon.
Okay.
For the government called the Eclipse Cannon, which
Right.
can like shoot lasers.
Okay.
Obviously, as in everything, the government are just a little bit evil. Like Gunn are a little bit evil.
Yeah.
They'll take a big space laser. You know, I'll take a wee space laser. In the games, I can't remember how exactly they iced this out. I believe he designed the Eclipse Cannon before all this happened as part of the arc to satisfy Gunn. I think that's in the diary. However, he goes fucking mental, and then pop that pin out from Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh no.
He's executed by firing squad.
Oh my god, no.
With no bazookas, I'm afraid. Yeah, he's like shot dead. He's the fucking D dead. But he leaves behind the plan that essentially the movie one actions, which is, I'm going to get the Eclipse Cannon going and we're going to like threaten Earth with it.
Whoa.
And then like, yeah, I want to take over Earth. Let's threaten Earth. Now, I want to make a quick aside here.
Okay.
There's a little joke they go back to twice where Eggman's watching like a fucking telenovela.
Right.
And Shadow watches it and he kind of
Is
has
this the fucking lizard aside?
No, this
Okay.
is like fully just human beings, like in a
Right.
telenovela, like, oh, I'm the evil twin of Hermanos, I'm Hermano, and oh no, who's the lady going to pick? And Shadow's like, oh, she shouldn't have to pick between them, she should be able to choose herself. It's funny, it's endearing. The guy in the telenovela, and who plays his own evil twin,
Right.
it's the guy from Ted Lasso,
Right.
who is in Venom 3 as the bartender, who also, I've got a letterbox list of this.
Yeah.
The fucking guy for Ted Lasso. Fuck, it's not going to load now.
I can't remember I don't know his name, but I know the guy speaking about.
Movies released in 2024 where Cristo Fernandez plays two mirror versions of the same character that is distinguished by one of the two having long hair.
Wow.
How did that happen twice?
Man, I
Within
don't
like
know.
2 months of each other, by the way.
Typecast.
Typecast. But they carry typecasting because one of the movies was like both movies were made at the same time. Do you think they were just sharing it between each other? Like Jeff Filler was on the set of Sony, and like man, Christopher Fernandez playing a fucking twin version of himself.
Mate, he had 2 scripts and they just turned up on the same lot, different days or something. I don't know. He was just there by accident.
He had one script and he was on both. He was on both lots, and I was doing the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Fucking bizarre to me that happened.
But here we are. We live. Move.
So the gist is we're gonna get the keys to the cannon.
Okay.
They already had one. The Olive Garden guy gave one. He dies, by the way, the terrorist attack. He dies fully, and he gives Sonic one. And he's like, by the way, there's like another one.
Find it.
And that's in the gun headquarters in London.
Right.
So, like, essentially, you have Sonic and the humans that are breaking into the gun headquarters to get it from themselves. They can't quite walk in and get it because they gun at this point kind of hate them.
Okay.
Like, Jessica Jones, Jade for Breaking Bad, Kristen Ritter appears as just an angry lady.
Okay.
Director Rockwell, she's just an angry leader of a gun who's like,
just an angry lady.
Don't trust aliens, don't like you.
Bye.
So they're like, we can't work with her because she's like genuinely evil. But we also need to beat the Eggmen into doing it.
Okay.
But this also features one of the most incredible scenes in the movie, which is a prolonged dance break.
Why not?
They're breaking into a laser vault, and Eggman designs like fucking skin suits that reflect lasers, and he puts them both on him and his granddad, who remembered as Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And they sort of can walk through the lasers without getting hurt or triggering any alarms.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, well, you could dance your way through this.
And then we do.
Challenge accepted. And then they play Galvanize. You know,
Oh my.
Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's a
dun,
tune,
dun,
man.
dun.
That's a good vibe.
Jim Carrey hits the cleanest running man ever known to man.
Actually.
The most, and also this is him. This is Jim Carrey doing the dancing.
Yeah.
It is a full, like, the entire song. It's like you're talking like 2 minutes, like a minute and a half.
That's-
Of just these two dancing.
That's insane that they allowed that to happen.
Well, I initially thought, why is this happening? See,
Yeah.
upon reflection, it's peak cinema. Like, it's one of those incongruous things you would just put in a movie that I'm going to remember it till I die. Because you just reflect on it more and more. Again, Jim Carrey, twice, because he's playing both roles, hits the cleanest running man I've ever seen. And then, like, you also then start to grasp,
man.
like, this
That's
entire
hilarious.
dance sequence is Jim Carrey on Jim Carrey. And then you start to realise,
Yeah.
how is this movie so good at seamlessly having the same actor play both roles? Like, there's one or two scenes where it's like, okay, you can see where they would draw a line. But
Right.
there's some scenes where it's like, what was the budget?
Bro.
Like, this is insanely seamless.
I love that.
That's the one point. I see when they first meet, they literally stare directly at the camera and break the fourth wall.
That's
They're
hilarious.
like, you look a lot like me. You've got the same wrinkles. And they literally both go, it's almost like we're a character in a movie being played by the same actor.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, you get that one.
I love you. I let you have that first one.
Anyway, that was peak.
That's hilarious.
It's one of the things where I'm like, you could argue it's a notch against the film and how it's a bit too silly. But again, it's charming silly, you know?
Wow.
Anyway, they both get to the vault. Director Rockwell pops up and she's like, ha, actually, I've trapped you all here. I've got gravity shit. And I've got like the key card. Knuckles like busts in. He was the backup and he saves them. There's a bit of an action sequence. Shadow also breaks in and gets involved. Essentially, Tom gets the other key and runs out. Now, he's got a disguiser on. Part of their plan was a disguiser. And we got a little cameo by Maddie's sister and the gun agent that she's married to. That's how they get into the building with disguises on. But he's on his way out and he disguised himself. He disguised himself as Olive Garden guy who Kristen Ritter doesn't know is dead.
Okay, right.
So he's just like, hi, it's me, I'm healed. Like, you have to give me the key card. And she's like, oh, and he's like, I'm fucking your superior, give me the fucking key card.
Come on, right now.
She's like, fair enough, aye. And he walks away and he's like, I got it, bro. Shadow pops up, sees him, and goes, I know who you are.
You're dead.
You were the soldier that was there when Maria died.
Yeah.
Fucking full force punches him clean in the gut.
Dead.
Which near enough kills him.
Yeah.
Near enough kills him.
Full
And obviously
dead.
the disguise face is like, oh shit, I just punched James Marsden.
Yeah.
Sonic shows up to him like, James Marsden, are you okay? Sees Shadow like, bozo.
Yeah.
So Sonic goes on a rage arc. Sonic's like, okay, we need to kill Shadow the Hedgehog.
Right now.
We're going to murder him.
Murder him right now.
So
Don't care.
they're a bit late. Shadow takes the key to Robotnik. He get the other one that Sonic got first when they captured him in the base, and they go up in the Eclipse cannon, like, oh, we're launching the cannon now. And Sonic's like, well, we lost it. We can't fucking do this. And Knuckles and Tails like, we'll figure it out. We're a team. We'll figure it out. Tom's on the fucking way to hospital. Sonic's like, nope. I'm going to get the Master Emerald. I'm going to go Supersonic, and I'm going to kill people. And they're like, no, we literally said we weren't going to use it because it's too powerful. And he's like, nope, fuck you. There's a really excellent scene where him and Knuckles are like squaring the fuck off.
Yeah.
And Knuckles is actually wanting to say, I'm actually going to let you do it because you know what?
Damn.
We're friends. We're teammates.
Wow.
And I have to respect this decision. But you have to fucking heed my warning as well.
Oh, shit.
And that's the Knuckles show reference when he goes, I've left it with my greatest warrior. And it hard cuts to Wade on a fucking rooftop playing fucking hockey with the Master Emerald.
That's hilarious.
And you know what? It's peak.
Wow.
So and Wade's in it for 5 seconds and he's like third top billing in the cast, by the way.
That's
the actor.
Insane.
Sonic shows up, we're ringing, he's like, I need the Master Emerald. And Wade's like, you're going to have to get it for me. And Sonic's like, okay. And Wade's like, well,
You got it, I guess.
tried. Sonic goes supersonic. It looks like he's fucking Maverick, rage, fucking eyeballs. How does that happen again? I can't. Shadow, he's fucking going up to the station. Shadow's like, I gotta go get him. I can't remember. I think Sonic literally smashes straight through the station and grabs Shadow, and they literally they have this ridiculous fight across the earth. They're like, Sonic slams into a volcano. Shadow like grabs him, and then he's like, oh, I guess I can just go super as well. Sucks the super out of him. Well, doesn't suck it out of him, but he becomes Super Shadow. And it's a Super Saiyan fight. It's just full Dragon Ball Z.
Love it.
They just punch each other crossing continents.
That's some great shit.
Tightest fucking shit on the planet.
Yeah,
do you know
absolutely.
This is like the only time I think they've ever done this in this entire franchise?
That's mad.
They've ever had a super on super fight.
We should knock out more like that.
Genuinely. In Sonic Adventure 2, they go supersonic at the end.
Right.
To like save the day. Supersonic and Super Shadow, but they're like friends at that point. No, they're full fighting. They go to the moon and Sonic is about to fucking kill him. And then like Shadow's like, yeah, you can fucking kill me, you know? Fuck you. Like, I fucked up your Tom. And like, you know, it's very tragic. Because this is exactly like what happened with Maria and like how I lost my best friend and I became vengeful. And he's like, oh fuck, I don't want to lose my best friend. The flashback tale in the movie, my best friend told me to not become vengeful and not lose my heart, so I'm not going to do it. And so I was like, why are you being a pussy? He's like, because bro,
humanity,
we can't lose sight of ourselves.
Remember what you learned from Maria.
You know people might die but they're still affecting us.
Yeah.
And Shadow's like, a star might go out but the light carries on.
Oh shit, man.
And Shadow's like,
bars.
Oh, this is not good. Because I know the secret plan.
What's the secret plan?
Well, the secret plan is revealed on the Eclipse cannon. Gerald and Ivor are like, they get new suits. Perfect screen accuracy. Eggman now gets a final form. Like Jim Carrey's Eggman is now complete. He has a top level fucking perfect screen suit.
Gorgeous.
And
Gorgeous,
Gerald's like, well, we're going to do it. We're going to shoot the Eclipse cannon. I told you I was going to destroy gun headquarters.
That's what
that is the start of the plan.
Yeah.
However, the laser is a bit more powerful than that.
It's going right through the Earth.
It will go right through the Earth and destroy the entire planet, and also destroy the Eclipse Cannon and kill me and you right now.
Well, you know what? We might as well go out with the biggest bang.
He's pretty much like that. He's like, yeah, turns out I am actually fucking loopy.
Obviously.
Because they killed Maria, and I'm not forgiving them for that.
Yeah,
and
why
this is where the click turns. Like, he still has silly moments after this, but see when he gives the serious, like, Adventure 2 moments, perfect, pitch perfect, he's genuinely right on it. He's like, no, do you know what? I'm going to fucking kill us both. Like, I'm crazy, I'm gone. In the game, this is also what happens, even though he's already dead.
Right.
Essentially, Eggman and Shadow put all the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, plans in place.
Pretty much. They put all the Chaos Emeralds in, and Eggman thinks he's going to get control of the laser just to threaten Earth. The fucking entire colony begins falling to Earth. A video comes up of Gerald in his cell being like, hi, I went fucking mental. I hate all humans, and I'm going to blow up the fucking planet.
Yeah.
That's when they go down to like fight the Bio-Lizard and stop it. And then the resolution of the game quickly is, because this will become relevant, but I might as well just lead it out here. They think they're going to stop it. It doesn't stop. The Bio-Lizard teleports onto the nozzle of the Eclipse Cannon and forcibly pulls the arc down. Sonic and Shadow go Super Sonic and Super Shadow, because Shadow's like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. Because like both in the movie and the game, the memory of Maria and the belief that the remembering that Maria actually was full of light and life and wanted to protect humanity and preserve like joy is enough to make him go, oh, I was aware of Gerald's secret plan, but now I don't want to do it because Maria would be fucking upset with me if I literally blew up the entire Earth.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
So in the game, they go Super Sonic and Super Shadow. They fight the final hazard, which is the Bio-Lizard with his arsehole on the fucking nozzle, Eggman's nose nozzle of the Eclipse Cannon.
Right.
The Space Colony arc is shaped like Eggman.
Okay.
Because
obviously.
also Gerald looks like Eggman. So it's like a big circle with like two eyes, a big fucking pointy nose, and Eggman, like, instead of a mustache, like whiskers. They actually reference this in the movie as well. It's like a weird sort of like Halo type laser. It looks like something been like a game like Halo. But when it's charging up, it like pops open. There's two fucking eye ports, and then it's got like solar panels that are like the mustache. I'm like, cool, peak. So Sonic and Shadow defeat the final hazard, but it doesn't fully stop it. So they both try and use their super energy to stop it. Sonic has to get like taken away because he's failing. Shadow uses the last of his power to do a big fucking chaos control.
Oh shit.
And like teleport the arc just far enough away that it's no longer in orbital pull. It's just floating there. But it completely drains his superpowers and he falls to Earth and presumably dies. Spoilers, he's immediately alive in the next game.
Obviously, duh.
Now in the movie, essentially, Eggman first off is like absolutely fuck the not.
Yeah.
And in the game, he's like, no, I don't want to fucking destroy the Earth. I'll help you guys win. And this one, he's more proactive, like, fuck you. And he starts fighting Gerald. They have a big fight. Meanwhile, Sonic and Shadow are like, bro, we got to go stop the Eclipse Cannon. And they're like, Jay, do you know what? Let's fucking rock. Dab it up.
Bang. Let's
Dab
go, boys.
Up. Immediately go super. Like they both clap hands and they just return super.
Yeah.
Then Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2 starts playing.
Right, okay.
I'm just...
And you've ascended.
I'm fucking hitting
to the ethereal being.
Whoa, and they fucking flat there. They do this big fucking wild super fight in space. They're destroying gun robots. The robots come out the arc, and they were like gun robots from the game.
Right.
Which would make sense because Gun constructed the arc, but they're like designed from the game. Excellent, cool, bash. They do the pose. There's like a pose that Sonic and Shadow always do, where they cross across a moon.
Right.
They look back at each other, and they do it in the movie.
Oh,
and
right.
it's like
Actually, like I've come.
Literally, I've come. Then it hard cuts to Gerald spanking iPhone. Like, oh, okay.
We had to get a joke.
We had to get a wee joke to undercut the moment there. I don't need to accurately assess it. Essentially, first off, Gerald like fully puts Ivo down, and again, even though Jim Carrey's been doing jokes, he then suddenly turns around and goes immediately cold because Ivo's like, why the fuck do you want to do this? Like, I'm your family. Do you know want to keep me alive? Do you want to be around me? And he's like, you're not Maria.
Damn.
And
Bars.
it's like someone was like that. It's
Bars.
literally colder than anything that Gerald's done in any of the fucking entire game. He says like either you're not Maria or you're no Maria.
Wow.
He's like, you'll never compare to her. You were a tool in my plans.
That's crazy, man.
And he's like, well, fuck you then, bitch face.
I'm gonna kill you.
Like, they have these, like, nano machines, so, like, they put on, like, different forms. So, like, Gerald's a fucking scorpion and Ivor's, like, a fucking praying mantis. Then, essentially what happens is like, Gerald kind of gets the upper hand, knocks Ivo off, destroys the console, so he can't just regularly turn off the laser beam, because the laser's just charged up, it's going to fucking shoot at Earth.
Aye, we need, like, some sort of manual crazy override.
We need something going on inside and outside. Tails and Knuckles teleport in with the rings.
Right.
Tails like hover picks up Eggman. Eggman he has a quill of Sonic's in all the movies. He keeps like licking it like a fucking, he's getting high off it. It's kind of actually a funny joke. It's even funnier in the third one when Gerald shows up and he's like, oh, I've got one of Shadow's quills and I lick it and get high off it.
It's weird.
It's super powered because Sonic's super now. Jabs it up his granddad's arse.
Oh my.
There's a really weird zoom in on his face. It's very comical.
Like he's in it.
He goes, no, but he kind of gets like a shock. He's like, ugh, goes flying up into the fucking energy beam, immediately disintegrated and killed, immediately fucking evaporated.
Man, fully
Human being
murdered.
atomized.
Fully murdered.
Like,
Wow.
Oh my god. I don't know if that's worse than the firing squad in the game. Like, the guy
possibly.
is fucking literally, it's like a bug zapper. It literally makes like a...
Yeah, that's crazy.
So essentially, you've now got Eggman inside and Eggman, Tails, and Knuckles inside, Sonic and Shadow outside. They're like, right, we can't stop it. We have to move it.
Mm-hmm.
So Eggman and Tails and Knuckles are inside, just trying to manually steer it away from the Earth. Sonic and Shadow are pushing it. And it's like the game. They just keep exerting their force. They don't do a full chaos control. And in fact, Keanu Reeves never actually says chaos control in the movie.
Right.
But he does in the DLC.
Okay.
You know, the Sonic and Shadow Generations DLC level.
Yeah.
Weird little note there. But they sort of have to push into the laser to get it to move. Because it's also like, what's going to happen is the reactor's going to go critical and it's going to blow up. And that'll fucking coat Earth in like fucking acid radioactive hell rain. So we can't just push it. We have to get it away.
Right, yeah.
So they're doing all they can. They're doing like, we're putting the best work in.
Aye.
What happens is both Shadow and Eggman go for the hero sacrifice. Eggman's like,
shit.
I'm going to go up to the reactor and I'm going to like fucking try and control the explosion. So it isn't like a super explosion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like Shadow's like, bro, I'm going to like, Sonic's starting to fall and Shadow's like, bro, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking put my work in. I'm going to fucking save the planet for Maria.
Mm-hmm.
I love Maria, miss Maria. And yeah, they both sort of do it together. Like Knuckles and Tails have to like leave to save Sonic. Like Sonic's falling, Tails jumps after him, Tails passes out because of the atmosphere. Knuckles grabs them both, and yeah, Shadow and Eggman work together, throw the arc away. Eggman has this last declaration. He pure hacks the computers and he's like, "Hello, I'm speaking to like everyone in the world." Agent Stone's been in this movie and he's been following along, but he's not trusted Gerald. And he tried to warn Eggman, and Eggman's like, "No, you don't like me being with my granddad." But he's like, "Agent Stone, it's me. Actually, you were my one. You literally, you were my one true friend."
Yeah.
He makes a reference to the first movie about how I love your lattes, like I love the way you make them. They kept making this coffee jokes. Just gay lovers. These
just
people
gay
are full
lovers.
homosexuals. Like,
I love that.
They made Eggman just a gay boy, and it was the best development. Well, I want Stone in the games. I want Eggman to have a little gay man who follows them around in the games.
Beautiful.
Now, yep, the arc, the Eclipse Island blows up far enough away. Shadow and Sonic, Eggman presumed dead.
Yeah.
We're all back on the Earth and we're like, "Do you know what, Shadow, thanks for being so based."
The best. The GOAT.
And at the end, they're all back together. We had a big adventure. We're all celebrating being together. We're going to have a nice, friendly race. You know, it's a crazy adventure that happened to us, and we're going to have a race.
On the greenhouse zone.
Well, they started the movie by celebrating Sonic's like birthday, which was the anniversary of him coming to Earth in the first movie.
Okay.
And they have a race, but it turns out to be a distraction by Tails so they can set up the birthday event.
Okay.
So they're like, "No, we're actually going to have a race now. Look, who has faster? It's probably going to be me because I'm Sonic the Hedgehog." And the movie ends, and it's cool and it's good. The movie ends, and we have a credit series, and then we cut back. Phew, Sonic's like, "Ran a bit too fast." He's in New York State Park now.
Right.
Fucking, what's he on about? And he's like, "Oh, what a silly fucking goose I am." And then fucking behind him, fucking like Terminator entrance.
I'm back.
Well, he doesn't do that. He's like, "Oh, I'm in New York. What a crazy thing." Who emerged in the bushes? Just a fully game accurate Metal Sonic. Just completely designed for the video games. Just Metal Sonic.
Oh my.
Walks out. Hedgehog spotted him. I'm going to shoot him in the back. And then Sonic's like,
Kills him.
"No, fuck you." Teleports around him, slaps him. "Fuck you. Eat shit. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Fuck you." And then Metal Sonic's like, doesn't say a word, but he's like, beep, beep, beep. Okay. Yeah. And then like 15 million copies of him like emerge out the forest as well.
Oh shit. Bro's cooked, bro.
Well, at least 10. At least 10. A lot of them. And he's like, "Okay, maybe this one will be a bit of a problem." Oh, I gotta,
Run.
What's gonna happen? Oh, hammer. Boomerangs around. Hanger. Bang, 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 hammer, hammer, hammer. And I'm pissing myself. I piss myself with Metal Sonic and I say hammer.
It's Amy.
It's Amy. Fucking cloaked figure jumps down, catches the hammer. They've clobbered all the fucking things. Pulls her down. It's fucking Amy Rose.
Damn, man.
And then we watch all the way through the credits and we cut to a crater site on the Earth.
Right.
And I initially thought, oh, we're going to get alien shit because when they show the flashback of Shadow getting found, they show the thing that he was found in, and he's just fully formed in this pod as Shadow the Hedgehog.
Aye.
But the actual thing he's in is the shape of the black comet, which is the thing that the aliens that Shadow is live on.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you any more than that. I'll wait for the sort of thing.
Fine, aye.
Essentially, it's just they're very directly referencing Shadow the Hedgehog and his alien origins.
Okay.
So I thought we were going to do that, but no, we pan up and we see that the crater's actually an impact from the explosion of the Eclipse cannon, and one of Shadow's bracelets is there.
Right.
And then, like, Shadow's shoes step on, and Shadow's hand comes in and picks up his ring and attaches it, and it fucking plays the Chords 11 Lamb.
Bro's alive, isn't he?
The bastard's alive.
That bastard. Unkillable hedgehog.
Peak cinema.
Ewan stated.
Sublime. I talked about it far much more than I should have. And that was me being restrained.
He kept going.
I'm so fucking sorry.
He could not be stopped.
I'm so sorry to Rebecca and to the listeners.
Wow.
I had a great time with the movies. 4.5 stars. Like,
damn, cinema.
Purely powerful emotional shit.
Okay.
They hit all the beats for the games.
We're
Exceptionally
down for 4.
Exceptionally loaded with game references. I mentioned the Biolizard, the gun robots, the Eclipse cannon looking like it, directly lifting plot points, directly lifting quotes. Right when they go to fight Shadow the first time, they're in a gun helicopter, and Sonic, like, they're about to do a fucking Halo jump, and the director's there, Chris and Richard's like, "Oh, you're stinking, I don't like you," and he's like, "Alright, check out this fucking sod," and he's like, "Fucking, you know what, like, talk about a low budget flight, you know, like no movies or no snacks, I'm out of here," something like that. But that's essentially, he directly quotes the start of Sonic Adventure 2 when he's getting arrested in a gun helicopter and breaks out, stuff like that. They occasionally play snippets of songs, like Live and Learn I mentioned, but there's actually like at least 5 or 6 songs from the games now that isn't just the dumb obvious Greenhouse Zone. Like when the Eclipse cannon comes out of the water, they play Eggman's theme for Unleashed, which is different than the one they were using for like regular Eggman.
Okay.
Like, when Eggman gets a phone call from Stone, trying to be like, "Hey, watch out for Gerald," it plays approximately 1 microsecond of Eggman's theme from Adventure 2, but it was still up when I'm like, that's Eggman, that's the song.
Right.
Stuff like they use like the guitar chords for like City Escape, stuff like that. It's just, this is it. This is the blueprint now.
Right, okay.
Take the game as a basis, take the core plot elements that create a thematic and interesting narrative.
Go with that.
And then run for there. Cut out what doesn't need to be there. Like, when I was thinking about them adapting Adventure 2, I'm like, okay, well, they need to do the space colony, they need to do the Biolizard, they need to do like Maria has an illness. When I actually watched the movie, and I was like, oh god, they were able to just skip all that and still have it work the same.
Right, yeah.
Like, as long as you just hone in on what's needed, like Maria bonds with Shadow, and Maria's tragically lost. It's tragically killed, which gives Shadow a revenge complex.
The reason to become a little bastard.
So yeah, Sonic 4, let's go.
Damn.
It's probably going to be Sonic CD and maybe Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes.
Now Sonic's going to be the villain. We don't know if Jim Carrey will come back, because Jim Carrey said after Sonic 2 that he was retired and would only respond to a script penned by angels in golden ink. And then perhaps 5 days later he was confirmed to come back for Sonic 3.
Because he saw it.
Someone did. I think someone said to me, I saw someone say this with no source, but if it was, I hope it's true, that apparently they did print his script in gold ink to hand to him, be like, "We want you back for the third one."
That's hilarious.
If they did that, I think it would be peak.
Yeah.
Although he also did joke on the red carpet that he likes playing a genius, and also he wasted a lot of money and needed a paycheck.
Fair. You know, give him the money he needs.
Please. I don't know. I think they could probably leave him where he is. Give him that big heroic last moment where he doesn't become like a hero, but essentially is like, well, if I can't take over the world, I might as well like die saving it.
Sure. And
you know what? Fuck all of you losers except Stone.
The goat.
And then he dies. They could leave it there. I think Eggman would work for some of the stories to tell, especially like where did Metal Sonic come from? But they could shuffle him off, I think. Although I watched one of the videos I was watching about the Sonic movies did make a really good point that like they need to have a big name still attached. Not that like Ben Schwartz and Idris Elba aren't, but like Jim Carrey Eggman is bringing numbers in. Like people are looking at that.
Right, okay.
So like that would mean that either it'd be safe to bring him back, or you should probably keep Shadow in more directly, because Keanu Reeves is also going to bring numbers in, especially when he did so well.
Right, yeah.
So we're at a really interesting point now. We need to see where they're going for here, but I have a lot more faith and strength. You know, the Knuckles show was a bit weird and silly, and even though I liked it, I'm like, I don't know. But then you see Sonic 3 and you're like, fuck, I had no idea that they would go this hard.
Like, we're cooking.
Like, they really
serious gas right now.
The fans, they were really like attentive to what the fans were doing. There's just like even individual shots, like the Jeff Fowler working on Shadow thing comes full circle, because there's a little shot when Shadow's beating him up the first time, where like he knocks Sonic out and Sonic sort of stumbles and falls in front of him, and it's a direct copy of the intro cutscene to Shadow the Hedgehog. Stuff like that. Like they're just doing these little things. They're fitting them in now where they can.
Right.
So like stuff like the Biolizard getting a little cameo as like a fucking evil monster movie puppet. Perfect. Excellent. No notes.
Damn, man. Love Sonic. So I like just sort of appeared, Ewan. Like we've never really spoke about Sonic before the movies appeared, and then you're just like, I'm like a Sonic guy.
Well, the movies made me. They made
the Sonic
me what
man.
I am.
Because, you know, Sonic's a dangerous thing. You can't really like search Sonic on the internet without seeing things you don't want to see.
No, Sonic, horrible things.
Do you know what I mean?
The price of Sonic games has went up since 1997. If you'd like to know more, search up Sonic inflation.
You
know?
Please do.
You know, in the original handbook for Sonic, there was a series of rules for gameplay, Number 34 was actually quite surprising. If you'd like to know more, search up Sonic Rule 34.
Oh my. Run away.
It's autism bait as Sonic. It's too easy to just cling
It's
on
just
to.
autism.
It's got so many little facets that keep an autistic person's brain moving. And I knew I liked Sonic, but I never devoted my life to it.
Right.
And then when the second movie came out, I was like, oh, Rebecca's going to be big on it because Rebecca really likes Tails.
And Tails is based.
We went to see it on her birthday and she wasn't really having a great day. And I thought, but she's going to love this and it's going to like make her happy. And she was like, it was fine, but it didn't, like, I'm still kind of sad because I've had other things going on. And I was a bit like, but I'm really passionate about this. And I was like, oh God, I'm the one who's in on it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Rebecca's
like super
into it. And she is into it. She happily watched rewatched everything, watched Knuckles movie, watched the third movie. She loved it all, but like, I'm the one who's like violently beating my drum about it.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm like seeing like, oh God, all the Sonic shit I
100%.
own, all the Sonic things I want.
Yeah.
My Spotify rap for this year.
Full, just number one Sonic.
Literally, I was like, oh, who's going to be my number one? I listened to like Brat a lot, maybe Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
I get really big in Chappelle Roan at the last minute. Sega Sound Team.
Based. Here we
It's
are.
just all Sonic songs.
Ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
I was like, oh God. I was like gripping my temples.
I've
like,
become him.
Oh my God.
It's me.
I'm the little kid screaming about Sonic Boom. Your actions have consequences.
Oh, Sonic Boom, why? Why would you do that, Ewan?
Oh, fuck, I don't touch that.
That's okay.
I made this playlist called Sega Sound Team Jams for Autistic Bams.
That's a great title for a playlist.
It's all my favourite Sonic songs. It's got like 80 songs on it.
That's fucking pretty good, man.
On Christmas Day, they put the Shadow Generation soundtrack out on Spotify. And
Every
it was
one of them on it.
Pretty much, yeah. It was literally like the best Christmas present. I was like on the verge of tears. I'm like, I can't believe they would do this to me.
For me, thank you.
For me personally. That's as much as I'm physically able to say without spitting up blood.
Fair.
We will talk about this again.
Probably. One day.
I will literally, we'll sit down at like a Weatherspoons, we'll have a drink and I'll sit and I'll explain the entire fucking lore to you.
That's a lot of lore. There's like 20 games.
Well, yeah, but some of them aren't super deep. Like I could summarize Sonic 1, 2, and 3 in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're pretty basic.
2006 is like one of the only ones where it's like an actual, like it might take a bit of time. It will take me less time than One Piece did.
The werewolf.
Unleash the Werehog.
Yeah.
Again, relatively quick. Or Graeme will not. You sat through the One Piece lecture with me.
That's true.
Like it does not take that long. It's just there's a lot of names and a lot of things to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Although that one's a lot more streamlined because, like in One Piece, obviously I've not read it, and also there's so many characters and things always going on that I can't mention everything. Sonic's very straightforward and has a lot of characters, but still every time characters are always relevant. Like I'll bring up a character, I'll explain how they're relevant to that moment, and then you don't need to worry about them again. When I talk to you about One Piece, sometimes I just don't mention things because there's either a lot they do that doesn't feel directly relevant to the main point, or I don't know if they're going to be relevant, so I'm like, should I mention them?
Aye, that's okay, man.
Oh God.
Damn.
Do you have something to talk about? Because I might die. And
I do have some things, but I do have to use the bathroom.
We're going to hit the pause.
Pause. Loading.
Okay,
man, that was scary.
We're back from a protracted piss break.
Yes, we are. Okay.
And the last hurdle as well. We are very nearly there.
We are so close, ladies and gentlemen.
Funny because while on the piss break, right after talking about the Knuckles show, it was announced that Rory McCann would be replacing Ray Stevenson in the Ahsoka season 2.
Yes, the Hound shall become.
I said on Twitter,
Balin?
Yes, Balin.
Balin, yeah.
Rory's a good actor. I love him a lot.
Uh-huh.
I guess they had to have a solution. I guess he's just that important to the plot that there had to be a solution.
Yeah, ideally, like we would have just like waved them off into the sunset.
Pretty much.
It was obviously still had shit happen.
Also, pretty much. Like, it just seems to be like how it had to be. There had to be something, so we'll see how that pans out. It's
probably going to be in the movie if he survives season 2.
Maybe. I'd in my head, like, Balin and, like, all that shit on Peridia is going to be, like, the Ahsoka plot.
Right, yeah.
And all the Thrawn stuff will be reserved for, like, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we can only wait and see how that pans out. Not interesting nugget there for all the people who are listening to this. About 9 hours of content.
You know, just straight into your eardrums. Love to see it.
Oh, that I don't. Do you know who doesn't love to see it? Rebecca.
Yes, the editor.
So. All right. What have we got left?
Well, next up for me is an ending, Ewan.
Oh, next for me then as well.
Yeah, it's Craven the Hunter.
It's Craven the Hunter.
Craven.
What to say about
Thoughts,
Craven?
Feelings, emotions. I had a good time, man.
You said you had an actual good time.
I feel like it's a laugh.
I think it was nowhere near as bad as I was told it was.
Yes, I agree.
But it was still pretty bad.
Sure, yeah.
Where's my letterbox review? I can't remember if I summarised my actual thoughts on it.
I was doing that for my Goodreads, and then it like deleted the review that I had fully wrote out and was like, well, I'm just not doing that anymore, am I?
I was gonna say, like, I guess I've reached my limit on that.
I might do it one day because I quite enjoyed like formulating my thoughts in some sort of coherent vision.
That's what I was saying really at the start of this when I mentioned like sometimes I'm doing like fucking joke reviews and sometimes I'm doing like review reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a fucking review for this one. I did.
That's fine, yeah.
I thought it was the same type of shit that the Sony movies have been at.
Uh-huh.
Just like bizarre plot decisions and
Right.
insane adaptation like pools. And like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And like, for what end goal purpose? Like, why are we getting a full fucking Craven that just is completely unrelated to Spider-Man? Like, I like Craven, but I like Craven in the context of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Who's the foreigner?
The Foreigner is my thing here. That's what I read in my review. Like, the way that they deploy the Foreigner in this movie
Is
like,
incredible.
they're like, bro, that is the Foreigner. He's in, and he can just go like,
bro.
1,
What?
2,
2,
3.
3.
And I'm like, who is this fucking guy and what is his fucking
Foreigner?
power? I actually don't even know what he is doing when
Me
he's counting down the
neither.
numbers. Is he like
Like,
fucking Zawara? Like,
Is he like slowing time or is he like
is
just
he like teleporting him?
Yeah, what's he doing?
And I'm like, bro, it's the Foreigner.
He's a foreigner, man.
And then I Google it later.
Just
It's like,
knows
the Foreigner is just like a character in a comic once.
That's what
And I'm
they're
like,
doing, man.
bro, they're just really nobody that could be a Craven villain.
They had somebody in the archives being like, find somebody.
Like,
Now.
literally find something out. Like, we'll chuck in Calypso because she gets associated with Craven, and then I think we'll just kind of not do Calypso how she is.
Right.
Then we'll make his villain the Rhino, I guess, because he's a Spider-Man themed animal villain. And do you know what Craven does? He hunts.
Bro hunts. Bro's the hunter.
And then they were like, I don't know, get the Foreigner in there.
Yeah, why not? Hey?
The fucking Foreigner, man. I'm obsessed. I mean, it's the only thing I remember because it's so
like,
out of calf. Like, who gives a fuck?
You will never see that happen.
Who is this guy?
Who is the foreigner?
I mean,
I'm unaware.
this one, it's probably in the upper tier for me, actually.
Yeah, like, honestly, Aaron Taylor-Johnson is a good Craven.
Yep.
He's great.
Yep.
He's certainly having fun with it.
Fred it's like Heimdinger or Heidegger. I think that's the guy for League of Legends. But the guy who I mentioned earlier, the chameleon from Craven, who's one of the emperors in Gladiator 2.
He's good.
I think he's actually quite good. I think he sort of stands to be a reasonably interesting chameleon that will never appear again ever.
True. Russell Crowe's hamming it up.
Russell Crowe's hamming it up. He's getting his paycheck.
Absolutely.
But then like some of the plot stuff's like just weird. Like Fred fucking hates the dad, but then hates Craven for leaving the dad. But then when the dad dies, he hates Craven for killing the dad, even though he hates the dad.
Aye, that seems like just sort of like weird, fucked up family trauma. Maybe the reason for that.
There's so many like issues to some of the parts of this. I remember we just kept turning to each other and just being like, "What is that?" Or like, "Why did they do that?" Like, was it not like fucking like Calypso like fucking literally teleports off the Jeep? And then, like, at the start, when they're in the flashback, and, like, she's, like, looking about, and then the parents, like, look forward a little bit, and then look back to check where, and she's completely gone fully.
Yeah, and then, like, 5 feet away, presumably, in a grove is, like, the big lion.
Yeah, there's a humongous fucking omega lion that everybody's trying to hunt, just with a fucking, like, a boy in his mouth. And she's just like, man, just have my potion that my ADR Gran gave me.
And take the card.
Yeah, here, just have the card.
Yeah, and track me down later with that.
Track me down later with that, just figure me out.
Yeah.
I also...
I really liked when he was staying with his brother for his birthday, and then he slept outside, and then the villains walked right by him. And
yes.
They somehow got up before him.
Yes, the villains categorically had to go right past him to get to where they were to find out that he wasn't where they were going.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, okay. And then they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just take the other one anyway. I was obsessed with little performance like specifics. You know, there's the scene that's going around and how of like, when they tell the Rhino that they failed to kill him, and he just randomly out of pocket like goes like screeches. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to do this about Craven. I'm like, why did you do that? That wasn't in the script. Why did he make that noise?
Just a fun choice.
That what was the purpose of making that noise? He did not. That was not in the script.
It just felt like
cry of pain.
I'm just gonna add a bit of flavour to this here.
That guy was like, I know what I'm in. Like,
yeah.
And then they keep taking these ridiculous swings. They're like, oh man, do you know what?
Hold up.
Oh,
Rhino's henchman, bro, that was just in a shell suit the whole time.
Bro, the Rhino just had an actual jobber. Actual fucking like true Cockney geezer.
Absolutely.
In a fucking shell suit the whole time. He just kept walking up and telling Rhino things.
It was just Danny Dyer, like,
literally. And he just is there the whole time until at the end. Does he not just get fucking suddenly flying peeled by a Rhino?
100%.
Like, great. Oh, sorry, then he goes there, shell suit bob away.
I love that, man.
Insane, but like, why? Like these aesthetic and character choices are just baffling.
Yeah.
I was gonna like. I mean, we the foreigner we brought up, and we kept remember we just kept bringing him up every time something like the foreigner would pop up, and I'd turn it to Graeme in the cinema and I go, bro, that's the foreigner.
That's the foreigner, man. Like, there he
Let
is.
him watch it. The foreigner's up to this now. Bro, he is the foreigner for he is like of no place or whatever he says.
Whatever he says.
Like, just shockingly baffling choices, and yet somehow it's probably like my second favourite.
Yeah, because it's just like fine. It moves at like a brisk pace.
It's got like at least a cohesive plot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it fucking weirdly bumbles about certain things, but you still just get the core concepts that have been presented.
Yeah.
I think the best one probably is Venom 1, and then this.
Probably.
And then I hesitate to say that I think the third best one's Morbius,
which is so funny and goated.
That's insane.
Matt Smith brings it up a lot.
Matt
Let's be honest.
I mean, you know what they say, Graeme, have sex, excess.
Excess.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't hate it, but
me neither.
It was just a completely expected failure.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, the overall review of the fucking universe.
Yeah, there's a fucking. I might even come back and do maybe another full video, but honestly, I feel like I do have less to say. It was just a series of bizarre movies. Made
even more insane by the choice that they actually could have entirely used Spider-Man the whole time.
The later reveal that they could have used Spider-Man the whole time is fucking mental.
Yeah, like
they just chose to make bad movies.
Aye, even if you were like not using Tom Holland, like you could have had him.
Literally. And then you had, was it like Avi Arad or someone who was pure like, actually I thought they were all good, and I don't know why you don't like them, they're actually really good movies. I'm like, bro, see this guy, fire him.
Bro, you literally can't. I'm sorry.
A guy did leave the day that was like the guy who apparently like masterminded the wing. Like this is like the guy, the point guy.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, man,
finally,
Godspeed. Like back to hell with you.
Yeah. Enjoy your life, and literally not good.
I did also say they should have ended this one with a Maroon 5 montage for the last dance.
That'd have been cool.
And for like fucking I top the hat to the Sony villain universe.
Incredible.
A failure from start to finish.
Nah, well, I had the one at Venom. Venom was good, but
it was alright. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like
they should have just like literally sucked Venom out of those movies and just dropped him into the MCU. And then that's it. Like the rest of it could have been burned to ashes.
Here we are, though. That's what we got.
That's what we got.
El Muerto found dead.
We're never gonna get El Muerto starring Bad Bunny.
I'm so sad.
I'm gonna die upset about that. They're gonna carve it on my tombstone. Never saw El Muerto featuring Bad Bunny.
We're never seeing El Muerto in MCU, so it was our only chance.
Are we getting who was it like Childish Gambino or whatever is the Disco Dazzler or whatever?
What?
Bro thinks that this starts with El Muerto. Is it Donald Glover? Sony?
I thought bro was going to be like Prowler, and I was like, yeah, probably, because that's who he is, right?
Disco Dazzler movie? It's Disco something or other. No, not that. Okay, I put Dazzler and then you just get fucking Dazzler, obviously.
True. Alison Blair, there you go.
Sony.
Singer-songwriter supreme.
Spider-Man disco movie. I swear to God, they literally we're going to do a movie with a fucking one-off character that appeared in one fucking single solitary comic book page.
One panel of one page.
That's going to annoy me until it fucking swings back around.
It's okay. You'll it'll hit you like a beam of light in 20 minutes.
A beam of light.
And you'll just be like, say the name, and that'll be you.
We're cancelled El Muerto.
Oh, rip.
R.I.P.
Big rips for the boys. And El Muerto.
I was just on a wiki page and I'm still not finding it. Maybe I'm wrong. We are really close to the end, Graeme.
We are literally on the final stretch, probably 3 left or something.
I've got 3 left.
I have 2.
So I've got something that we can quickly mark out because you've not seen it.
Oh.
What If Season 3?
What If Season 3, yeah, sure.
It's a shame it ended. They could go so much further with it.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it at the time it was on. I thought it's just fun and interesting and wacky and doesn't directly affect the main continuity, and it was just fun to explore the parameters of the multiverse in a way that doesn't feel directly tied to what's currently happening.
Okay.
A lot of people really hate it and that sucks.
People really do dislike it. I think it becomes from... I see a lot of takes it's not what if enough, or it's not...
Yeah, it's why are we getting fucking just silly ideas explored to the depth? Why are we not getting every fucking crazy moody idea, and why are they not just throwing in characters that have never been in things? Why are we not just getting What If Spider-Man featuring MCU Doc Ock, MCU Green Goblin? And I'm like, bro, you gotta fucking pick your battles here.
I suppose this one's obviously first season, we're trying to get like a Cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy thing happening, kind of thing.
Yeah, the first season was the pure Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah, so it's actually got like some sort of plot from episode to episode,
Pretty much.
as opposed to What If as like a general concept, but it's one-off stories about what if this happened.
Well,
differently.
that's the funny thing, because season 2 and 3 are more like that, where like the plot only kicks in towards the end.
Right.
Although I don't know, season 1 kind of had little stingers in that, but it wasn't so egregious. It was just setting these spin balls up and then knocking them down.
Aye.
Like, what if Tony Stark did go to Sakaar? Oh wait,
Bro.
season
Wait
2.
a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, season 3 was a lot like that. It was just a series of like funny little concepts, and then as they get closer to the end, they start to just introduce like more activities happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just end with a really grand explanation of like the fucking grand scale multiverse, like the Watchers,
The Watch.
Jeffrey Wright Pog,
Pogging.
Jason Isaacs pops up. He's like the final boss.
Fucking.
Um,
Who?
Jason Isaacs, Lucius Malfoy,
Oh my
the
god.
guy with all the medals and Death of Stalin.
Yeah. Who's he play?
He plays the oh god, is it the emissary?
The emissary.
Or the
Big name.
he plays
The Beyonder.
the head watcher.
Okay.
There's like 3 top watchers.
Yeah.
He plays like the head of the fucking watchers.
Okay. Based, I suppose.
The Eminence. I think it's the Eminence.
The Eminence.
Or the
Your
Eminent.
Eminence.
And he pure like gets angry because like Jeffrey Wright watchers like fucking
Man's meddling.
gets involved with things.
Man's like no just watching.
And
He's
he gets proper involved with some of the things, and he's like, right, I've fucking had enough of this.
like Uatu.
And that's
Fucking
they just have
sober.
a big confrontation of ideals and of violence.
Ooh.
Like Peggy
pretty
Carter
cool.
pops up, and like Storm Thor pops up, and they essentially have an Exiles team.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a bit like, oh, I know what the Exiles are. Those are a thing from a comic, and it's cool. It just has a lot of like funny energy at the end, and I think by the end of it, it just kind of defines an aspect of the shape of the multiverse essentially. And
Right.
I've always said, like, as obviously the MCU multiverse has so many layers, you can get a bit confused, but I actually have a reasonable understanding, I think, of how it works now.
Okay.
And the what if stuff is essentially just, look, here's the shit that's out there, like, you're just never going to fucking need to worry about seeing.
Right, but it's here.
The Shang-Chi cowboy universe just isn't going to be relevant to an MCU movie. But it's
Right.
cool that it's a thing that exists. That shows you
Okay.
the depth of this. And it shows you that, bro, there is, like, a fucking grand multiverse, and there's people that, like, exist beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know, it was cool, it was
Fairs.
fun, it was interesting, but I just didn't, it doesn't feel super necessary, but in terms of the MCU right now, that's not inherently a bad thing.
No.
It's fun enough how it feels like the actual content is high stakes, like the people are fighting, like throwing planets at each other, like this is
Aye.
probably technically some of the most powerful people in the MCU, like the highest
Yeah.
fucking strength shit,
Aye,
but
aye.
it feels low stakes because it's not going to
It's
affect
fucking
anything
over
directly.
there. You know what I mean?
Literally. Like, the only
That's
person who would care
fine,
about
you
the
know?
events of what if's like Loki sitting on the fucking tree holding the things together, like,
Aye.
fucking stop it.
Like, bro, I'm fucking trying to hold this together. What you doing?
Literally.
There's an incursion next door. What
The
you doing?
only thing I'm disappointed about was that they don't directly show him. They show the tree at the end of season 2, but they don't.
Okay.
I kind of would be fun if, I don't know, like at the end, like
We just
Uatu
like,
pure walks
winked at him.
like Peggy past like like fucking
Aye.
like Tom Hiddleston looking, and they're like, bro, here's what's happening. But no, I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. It was fun. It's interesting. It's not an all timer, but it's a solid, enjoyable watch that gets far too shat upon.
fair. I'll need to watch it. Come back to you. I liked season 2 less than 1, I think, but I've only seen it once, and I can't remember really a lot of the episodes.
I
Anyway,
did think about going back through it. To be fair, I maybe should have rewatched it. Honestly,
it's not a hugely big commitment, so
no,
could be easily done.
It's easy going.
Yeah,
Right, the last things I've got, one of them we watched together,
of course.
and one of them we didn't watch together. So what's your
Okay.
thing that's not?
That's not together or that is together.
Yeah, it's not together.
Well, the last film that I saw last year was Conclave.
Fucking Christ, you did watch fucking Conclave, you prick.
Yeah, sure. Catholic Church probably hate this movie. Do you know what happens in this movie?
Was it not like the Pope dies or the Pope something happens and they have to just pick a new Pope and they all get like sealed
And that's
in?
all
and-
you know.
Pretty much, aye. They all
Okay,
get like
right.
sealed in, they all get
Okay.
locked in and they have to like fucking pick a new Pope, but there's like fucking,
Would you like to see it?
yes,
Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you then.
thank you.
I think it's based on a book,
Okay.
but we definitely should do like some research afterwards because the Catholic Church definitely should hate this film, I think.
My God.
But let me tell you, as we mentioned earlier, old men acting their
Bro,
tits off in
this
this
is like
movie.
my finds. This is like fucking,
Ralph Fiennes,
this is John Lithgow, that was the one.
John Lithgow,
Fuck, I forgot.
the Trinity Killer, Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci, yep, he is in this one as well.
Fuck man, they're all just fucking Isabella Rossellini,
What's the Bella Rossellini in this one?
understated Isabella Rossellini in this movie. everyone's just like measured. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Ralph Fiennes, like they're all. It's a high stakes situation. Like you've seen Godfather 3.
Yeah.
You've seen The Conclave. You know what happens. The parameters of it. So Pope dies, and then they fly in like all the big like bishops, priests, whatever it is, cardinals,
Yeah.
into the Vatican City to vote for the next pope, and it needs to be a unanimous vote for the pope to be like elected.
Yeah.
And it takes like fucking 3 weeks or whatever for them to get to this point, and it's just all political fucking like dialogue and like issues
people
getting dealt with.
Swaying votes, fucking.
Exactly. So you've got like Ralph Fiennes is like the fucking leader. He's like trying to like conduct it, manage everybody, and make sure like nobody like kicks off and stabs each other, sort of thing.
Thank God.
So he's under like extreme stress the whole fucking movie, and there's moments where he like unleashes, and like you can see he's like fucking cracking apart a wee bit, and they're like really good moments because just like Ralph Fiennes has like been the whole movie, he's been like quiet and like diminutive, and he's like just trying to like get along. And then he'll just fucking like freak out for 2 seconds, and you'll be like, right, okay,
it's completely lose composure.
like calm down, okay, we got that out of our system. But everybody's like sort of, he's the lead obviously, but he's like the sort of moral anchor of the movie, and he picks a side fairly early, and then you've just got like the other people who are kind of vying to become the pope, trying to win him over because they see him as like if he's got the vote, then other people might follow him, kind of thing. So you've got Stanley Tucci, who's like the more liberal side, who's like, here's my views on gays, here's my views on marriage, here's my views on like all this, and it's like, I'm obviously going for like, I want to continue the through line this Pope had before us, which was more on the liberal side, and then you've got the like Italian guy who comes in and he's like, listen, we should have an Italian Pope. How long has it been since we had an Italian Pope? We've got all these fucking like Syrians and like all that, like those people coming over. He's like, we should fucking stop that, shouldn't we?
Benito Popolini.
And they're like, well, okay, interesting. And you've got John Lithgow, who's like doing some underhanded things in the movie, just trying to get like by, and they're all just like vying for power. And it's really
are any of these popes a spotlight?
Well, no, which I found interesting, to be honest.
Shocking.
I thought I might see some of that. I think they maybe refer to like things like that because they speak about like. Well, at one point, Ralph Fiennes is like, don't let them see like the papers or anything. Like they can't be like influenced by anything happening outside the Vatican right now, sort of thing. They need to be like really insular, and they're all staying in like the fucking hotel like weird rooms they've got. But I can't really say much without spoiling any of it.
Of course.
And it's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, the fucking like twist it takes at the end is insane.
Really?
I did not fucking see it happen at all.
God. I think this is one of those Oscar bait movies that just sort of came out of nowhere at the end, and everyone's like, "Yeah, probably best movie ever made." Like,
it's really good. Like, I love these movies. Like Spotlight, you mentioned it there.
Yeah.
Like just like fucking crazy hard thriller movies. Like they're just great.
Crazy hard thriller movies.
And I love the subject matter. Like there's some like kind of like, oh, we're struggling with faith in X way kind of thing. There's not much of it though.
Yeah.
It's more like, we're just trying to get this done. It's more like a political thriller than like, say, a religious, we're dealing with a religious themes issue thing.
Okay. Interesting. That's interesting, actually.
Which might be more easier for you to get into, I guess.
Well, I actually am fine with religious issues, even though I'm a religious guy. But yeah, I mean, a political thriller is a lot more accessible than a religious sort of breakdown. I was actually unsure about how religious it got, which I'm sure it's religious, but like, yeah, if they're leaning more on the actual political thriller aspect, that's a lot more easily accessible.
It felt really brisk as well. It didn't feel like 3 hours long. I don't know how long it is, but it didn't feel very long. It felt quite contained and quite focused.
Fair enough. Okay.
Good time, man. Would recommend.
I'm very keen. I probably will try and watch it quite soon, actually. It looked really quite good, and again, also a type movie where everyone's just so like, it's out now and it's amazing.
That's it. I mean, we'll probably try and get to the Brutalist at some point.
I'd love to watch the Brutalist.
That's later in January, but that'll be in the 2025 recap.
Yeah, definitely.
Or in the Oscar chat episode.
I was going to say, actually, Christ, if we get an Oscars, they delayed the Oscars announcements because of the fucking situation.
That makes sense.
Bro, all the fucking celebrities might die in California, might fucking burn down before we get any other movies.
Damn,
Fallout Season 2 filming has been postponed.
Bro, they should be filming it. It's like literally happening right now.
I was going to say, bro, Jonathan, get out there, like, this is live fucking apocalypse. Come on, bro.
If Kubrick was alive now, he'd be there on the front lines.
He would be. He would have started it to get it going, to get the footage.
He could have.
My last one separate is Moana 2.
Oh,
And
damn,
this
man.
is like the closing the look finally on the thing I
Man's
mentioned.
brought them down there.
Near enough, like I was going to say, somehow more fucking disturbing than Conclave. It brought the loop on what I said really early on about how like Disney animated movies just aren't good anymore.
Well, this is a special exception because it was meant to be a show, right?
Yes.
And then they just like
so
fucking jam it together.
Okay, what is seemingly happened here is like Bob Iger's come back into power.
And went, lads.
He's like, I'm just going to start fucking doing anything to make money.
Aye.
And like, he was like, what we want to do? And somebody's like, well, we've got a couple episodes of like a Moana show. And he's like, fucking pro Atlantis to it. Like,
Make
fucking
it a movie.
Beauty and the Beast 3 it.
Yeah.
Like, cut them together and turn it into a movie.
Please.
And put that in cinemas.
Right now.
So they announced this movie like less than a fucking year ago. Like, it was
And-
this year they announced the movie.
Right. And it's like out.
And it's they were like, by the way, we've got a Moana 2 coming out. Here's a quick 2 snippet. You will get it in November.
Right.
I remember being record like, what? You just had a Moana 2 sat there ready to go.
I guess, aye.
It's not going to be good.
It
It
wasn't.
can't be good. It wasn't good.
Oh, damn, man.
It
Well, I've not
is.
seen the first one, so.
Moana 1's exceptionally good.
It's peak, aye.
a modern fucking Disney cinematic classic. It's a modern. That's why they're rushing a fucking live action, because it's exceptionally profitable and it's just a really good fucking Disney princess type story. Moana 2 is just like half the time I feel like it is actually occasionally tickling on beats for the original. Half the time you can just tell it's a fucking TV show. You can see where the
Yeah.
episodes start and end.
That's
It's
crazy,
got
man.
a fucking colourful extended cast of like fucking silly companions with very little characterisation beyond the bare minimum like of their character, and then like I have to be brave, I have become brave. I have to stop focusing on my tools, I have stopped focusing on my tools. I can't swim, I can swim. And then it just also, I don't know, I feel like it kind of just ends a wee bit as well. Like, Moana's a very direct, like, I have to go accomplish this thing, and then she goes and accomplishes the thing.
Okay.
There's even shit like a villain halfway through that turns out was never a villain, but she works with a villain, and she might be a villain again later, because they also just fully, like, the villain in this is like an obstacle, and then the main baddie at the end is like a storm, which they just sort of beat, but they don't actually show the villain until there's like a fucking full Thanos Guardians of the Galaxy post-credit scene.
Oh, my.
Like the actual villain, like, it's me, I'm the villain who created the storm. And I
Moana
have
3?
you, the Bat Lady, who was a cunt earlier in the movie. Oh, I'm very angry at you.
Yeah.
And then like Jermaine Clement Crab pops up for a wee cameo, and it's like, oh, Moana 3. Oh, well, I'll get that Moana, yeah. And it was just thoroughly underwhelming in
Awful
every
sequel
capacity.
baiting right there.
Genuinely.
That's crazy.
Like, I think Moana 3 would be better because it might actually be planned as a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moana 2
You might
just
get it.
fully suffers from that factoid.
Wow, man.
And yeah, no, it's again, it's just it's not even bad. It's just mediocre. Like, it still looks great.
Yeah, sure it does.
Just-
Sounds great, probably.
Well, it
Just
sounds
some
great,
good songs.
That's a contentious point. People fucking loathe the songs in this one. I don't,
Right.
but I just won't remember them in like a month.
That's fine, I guess.
They weren't done by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Right.
He was too busy working on the live action Moana, which like they should just already have the songs for that.
I guess doing some new songs.
So this is done
Rewrites, I don't know.
by different folk, but I don't know what he's up to. And these, I don't know, I don't think they were that bad, but you go online and folk are like, oh, worst music ever made in my ears are bleeding, I'm fucking
Bye.
dying of fucking music exposure.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just not that bad, is it?
Like, I've heard worse, guys.
Like,
Come on.
Get a break.
Get by.
Guys.
Get by.
Yeah, like,
Moana 2, aye.
as I say, as like I knew it was never going to be great, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, shamefully, it's made money, though.
Yes, scarily, it made a lot of money.
So,
like,
you know,
do you know what?
Bob
Get
Iger
ready,
works,
get
I
ready
guess.
for 100 more sequels like it. Like,
cool, catch you later. Oh, my.
Pixar might be alright because, as I say, Inside Out 2 was at least good.
Aye.
Toy Story 5,
I'm excited, man.
I'm scared.
Well, it could be poo-poo, but it could be good, dude.
Yeah, it could be good too. I mean, Toy Story 4 was good. It just
It
was like,
was.
why are we watching this? Like, why did this get released?
But it was good.
Toy Story 5 would be like, I know this is getting released so they can make money,
Yeah.
so it just has to be good.
It's going to be TikTok brand, man. I'm ready.
It's going to be what?
TikTok brand.
Well, I mean, the
It's the
villain is like,
iPad.
the villain is like phones. Well, the villain's like Buzz Lightyear's, but the phones are also like in it.
Okay.
It's going to be like a TikTok brain movie. Those kids going to get off their damn phones.
Come on. Parents get involved.
Come on, parents get involved.
What are we doing?
Oh, okay. And we're there, bro.
We're here at the end.
The last fucking movie we watched, well, the last movie I at least watched, I guess.
Yes.
One of the last movies we watched in 2024.
Was indeed.
The original 1920s Nosferatu.
It was, Ewan. Symphony of Horror.
What are we doing here, bro? What a closer.
Well, I'll tell you where we are. We're in the land of thieves and spectres.
Bro, welcome to the land of thieves and spectres.
Yes, Ewan.
Bro, this entire recording, Graeme, I am plagued by mosquitoes.
You have been plagued by the mosquitoes.
I thought the 1920s Nosferatu Symphony of Horror
Yes, Symphony of Horror.
was really cool for the time.
Yes.
I remember we watched it because we're obviously prepping for the new one, which you'll have to wait a fucking year to hear us talk about, probably.
No, you will.
I think, it's very, our modern sensibilities.
It's true. It's always something when watching an older film you'll have to tackle, but it's especially true when watching something like a silent movie.
Yeah.
Which is so far out of like any sort of reference you have for any cinema, because the only things you've seen are like animated movies which people in the 20s couldn't have dreamed of. Or like actual like normal movies, I suppose you'd say.
Like colour movies. I mean
exactly.
Black and white movies but have audio. This is the furthest out of our frame of reference.
It's like the rawest form, maybe you would say.
Yeah.
And that brings its own sort of beauty and like its own techniques that have obviously evolved since then, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd say so. It was good. It was a very flouncy like plot. Like I criticised like her for like kind of just being a bit like silly about everything.
Right.
Though we reference like some of the dialogue is like, again, for the time it might have been on the nose, but like again, we're watching it and he goes to his wife like, "Oh, my darling wife, I've been sent on an amazing job. I must go to the land of thieves and spectres." And it's like, why would you fucking say that,
bro? Because he's going there.
Or like he's in his note like, "Oh, I have had a great time at Castle Orlok. I am plagued by mosquitoes."
Yeah, what the hell is that about?
They just speak so weirdly.
Yeah,
I think actual Max Schreck Nosferatu Count Orlok is really cool though.
Yeah.
He just has a lot of scenes where he stands and stares, and the black and white actually accentuates it.
Yeah.
He just looks so unnatural.
Definitely.
And
unhuman.
The way he moves and the way he acts, yeah. I actually really do think they nailed it.
Like bro was cooking a bit.
But that being said, there's also just this bizarre physical comedy to this one. Like,
well, I don't think it's played as comedy.
Well,
sometimes it is.
Yeah, I think it's not really super played for it, but at the same time, I'm like, even then, I can't think like.
Yeah, like him on the boat isn't played for laughs, but it's hilarious for you right
literally. Well, him on the boat. Him on the boat is like a bit silly, but like, oh, I'm fucking Nosferatu, I'm Captain Nosferatu.
Yeah.
But the bit when he's running about town with his coughing, how could they have not found that funny back then?
I don't know, Ewan, but maybe they did.
Sheer slapstick, like they don't even film it in any spooky way. It keeps like they fast forward the footage. I mean, maybe that, I don't know if that's a consequence of the remake or the remaster type thing.
Maybe.
But he just keeps looking around and like, oh, don't catch me, I've got a coffin in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, alright, Nosferatu has been stood in the fucking door panes and like freaking out. Now he's like actually strong enough to just fucking mack a coffin over his shoulder and fucking zoom a bit down.
Like, Laurel and Hardy's not a mile away. Charlie Chaplin's obviously doing his thing, probably about this time.
Genuinely.
Like, what would
the only thing I've got to take inspiration of it.
I'm just saying, man, like slapstick was in its prime era. Buster Keaton was doing shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's truly bizarre. I mean, I wish I could understand what the intent for some of those things were. There was novelty to it. It was worth watching because it's so seminal. You know, it's such a Nosferatu as a horror character, so referenced.
Think if we're watching a lot of these older movies, silent era stuff, it probably has a lot of it going to be for novelty.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard for us to like review it in any sort of way like it should be. Like we sort of just have to take, like when we watch Nosferatu, we have to just accept that, man, this probably is a masterpiece of the time.
Yeah.
But we have absolutely no way of judging it properly.
Like for this to have had its cultural fucking hangover, like it must have just been regarded in certain ways that it's not possible for us to regard it in.
Yeah, when we see Fritz Lang's Metropolis, like, we will have to accept that it does not suck Megacopolis.
It does not suck Megacopolis. This shit sucks Megacopolis. Fritz Wang's Megacopolis. Oh, it's actually, I feel like that's the end.
That's a beautiful way to end, Ewan.
Yeah. Nosferatu was good. It was interesting, and it was at least fun watching it in comparison to the 2025 one.
Yeah.
Which you get next year.
You'll get.
Fucker.
Yeah. Ooh.
Spoilers, it was good.
That was really fucking good, guys.
Fucking good,
really good.
But not as good for me as it was for him because he's a horror fan and I'm
That's
not.
true.
But I didn't
That's
get
true.
super spooked, but I got a little scared.
That's okay. You know, we're allowed to be a little scared.
We you know what? Yeah, we can all be a little scared sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're marking it at 9.5 hours.
That's a big boy. That's a shift.
And that is
right there.
part 1.
Part 1 of part 2 of part 3 of part 4.
This will definitely be an Attack on Titan season 4 scenario.
This could be, the
like,
final chapters, part 5 the final chapters.
Yeah, like fucking the 2024 summary, part 3, the final part 1.
Yes, absolutely.
That was the movie and TV of the year.
Hope you enjoyed.
A very good year.
It was.
A very fun year.
Like we said at the start, we kind of stay winning, we evolve and get better every year, it seems like.
It's been really quite strong.
Mm-hmm.
A bit, pardon me, other than Disney animated films.
Yeah, I guess.
And the Sony universe, the DC, the
but
things
we did
that
kill them.
died.
Yes, exactly. And we're glad they died.
You know, let the flowers grow.
Exactly.
Let the earth, all things return to the earth through which they came.
What was that from?
I wasn't really quoting anything. I was sort of just being pithy.
Definitely feel like I've heard it though.
It might be, probably. I essentially, these things will fucking decompose.
Mm-hmm.
They'll become dirt, and
become energy
new fertile
for new
flowers.
lives.
Hopefully, will grow.
That's it.
We will see.
Place.
We've got Superman next year.
Superman.
We've got a cadre of Marvel movies that might be good or might be Captain America 4: Brave New World.
We've at least got 2 ones that have potential to be positive.
Yeah. That we got Fantastic Four. We got Thunderbolts apostrophe. No. Asterix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The energy is good and positive.
I would say so, man. It's looking good.
But we are not done.
No, you will have a part 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Sure.
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see.
But we're going to mark a definitive pause.
Yeah.
And next time we'll hit you with a probably not as short as I think it's going to be as always, but definitely shorter.
Definitely won't be 9.5 hours. Yeah.
Definitely won't be 9.5 hours. Little look at some of the games we played and some of the books Graeme read.
Yep. And maybe some of the games I played if I remember them.
Yes,
I don't really think I did.
I definitely didn't read a book this year.
I've played at least one game that we can speak about. That's
okay,
it.
That's fair. That's one more book that's one more game that you've played than book that I've read.
And if I've played more, I guess we'll learn about it.
We might have a thought. Well,
we do have a game section, but it won't be a fun game section.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mamma mia.
Papa Pia.
We'll see you guys then.
Scenes is a fan-created podcast. We have no affiliation with any of the brand studios or properties mentioned. All views are our own.
Produced and edited by my partner, Rebecca.
Music is provided by Epidemic Sound, and the cover artwork was commissioned by Rhiannon Kagoe on Twitter or Instagram.
In